आवाज आ रही है? लाइक करो गाइस, यस लाइक करो
for them, but also for PaperX. Not everything is sold, and of course they had the time to fix all of those small mistakes. But EDG is going to be, or at least try to be,
कर
on
दिया
top of
लाइक
their game,
आपका,
following
थैंक
every
यू।
single
तुम
thing,
लोग
every
जो
single new
लोग
thing that they put
वैलोरेंट
on.
फॉलो नहीं करता, जैसे सिजी एंजल है, आप वैलो फॉलो नहीं करते, और देवांश आप वैलो फॉलो करते हो, तो बेसिकली मेरी आवाज ऑडिबल है?
loomed over them this entire time. And yes, that is certainly going to be a case here, but my goodness, have, you know, the turntables, to quote Michael Scott, because we've seen some really wild things, you know, take place this season alone. And now we're seeing a wounded, weakened PaperX here, but could very well catch all of us off guard. Here's the agent select, and let's see what we get here on Sunset.
The same comps that they last ran on this map, and you know, PaperX comp, it was so good the Sentinels ended up copying it when they were getting absolutely ruined by them and rinsed during the Afrika event in scrims. Sentinels copied that comp. PaperX run this so well. It's amazing with the execution.
Hello Durjoydas, how are you?
It adds a lot of nuance to it.
So
Chichu can get these
basically,
lovely live timings.
जो
You've
लोग
got the
फॉलो
double
नहीं करते हैं
initiators
वैलोरेंट
where
को,
they really
जैसे
sync up flashes and darts all at the same
चैंपियनशिप्स
time
होती
to
है
try
ना,
and fight
वैसे
aggressively
ही
for a
इन
lot of map
वैलोरेंट
control
की
and can get on the
चैंपियनशिप
raise
है,
as well. This
जिसमें
guy's adding
आप
that
भी
nuance to his
आज
playbook.
बहुत
He looks
दो
really,
बेस्ट
really
टीम खेल
sharp
रही
on
है,
that
एक
role.
पेपर एक्स है जिसका अभी हो रहा है एडवर्ड गेमिंग के साथ, और दूसरी है सेंटिनल, उसका टीएच के साथ होगा मैच। तो ये इसकी वजह से मैंने लाइव आज दोपहर में की थी, और आज हम इसे देखेंगे। तो अगर बोर हो जाए, मतलब वैलोरेंट का वो है, मैच है, टूर्नामेंट है। ऐसे अलाउड है वॉच पार्टी करना? यार मैंने फॉर्म तो भर दिया था, बट मैंने थोड़ा लेट भरा है फॉर्म, तो मेरे को पता नहीं, क्या पता उसकी ब्लॉक कर दे, so I'm just taking a chance. आप बहुत क्यूट हो, थैंक यू a few of them.
I guess a slightly shaky aspect to them. Actually makes me think it's going to be more exciting, because in the past PaperX have been in great form even when they've been running with a stand-in. Now, well, they've lost their region again when I think everybody expected them to win it. And on the other side of things, EDG looked like they could bleed, which normally in China wasn't really the case. So I think we're going to have a brawl on our hands today, and we're kicking it off on Sunset.
It's a real litmus test for both of these squads, and kicking it off with a bit of pace. We expect this from the side of PaperX, as they're quickly taking control over this A site. And it looks like that control's going to be given up. EDG content to play a retake. There's going to be a wall break on the way through. They're set up with their 5v5 as the spike goes down.
One of the few teams that is still going to be running a Sage pretty much anywhere, but especially in pistol rounds, it's
Who are you rooting for?
more of an irritation.
Nick Cambo ऊपर top right में कर दे।
As they now look to set back into this retake.
Yeah, a lot of stuff still to work with. That nade already going out to clear an angle. It's allowed them to
यार इतने में तो मैच चला जाएगा जब तक मैं करूँगी।
the paranoia a little deep.
भाई क्या
Even
कर
though
रहा
he's
है?
passed it now, catching multiple kills on nobody. It's left all down to Divine emerging from the smoke. He's only good for one. That pistol round win goes to
Delete कर दिया
EDG.
भाई।
Yeah, I respect it, but the fact that they've sort of given up the site almost completely and just happy to play off that utility, it was something
यार मेरे पैसे लगे यार, अज़ुल भाई मेरे को डर लग रहा है।
in their interviews before. They had that raw firepower. They came in as a team that, okay,
Who
yeah,
will win?
he might be able to just frag you out of the surface.
Rooting for
Okay,
PRX.
ridiculous clutch, but
But कुछ भी हो सकता है।
get their way back in like this. And already
I
a pretty
hope
clean start.
PRX जीते।
Yeah, a very clean start, even from the
और
get-go.
उसके बाद वाला
Playing retake
Sentinel
on the site,
जीते।
they're letting PaperX take the space, and then they're able to fight back through because they've
देखते
kept
क्या
their
होता है।
youth
मैं
solid.
total
They play the
gaming
game
हूँ।
the right way this time
हाँ।
around. For EDG, they get the reward. We can see that they're stacked up. In fact,
Angie?
one pistol is all they're going to be carrying.
Total
through.
gaming
Keep
आए?
it light, the rest of the squad
On
investing
total
very
gaming आया
heavily.
है, कहाँ से आया?
PaperX have
कौन से
decided
वाले?
to
कौन
take
total
the
gaming
shares
बोलता है
for
भाई?
the most part.
Total gaming को नहीं जानते सर भाई।
Open fights should
अरे
favor
भाई
their
ऐसा
opponents
मत करो।
unless the numbers
मजाक
advantage
कर
come
रहे हो
through.
ना आप
We are
दुर्जोयदास?
seeing the exact same strat from them, same run through. This time, we're not going to get a Sage wall down to block off, so it could be even easier for EDG to fight their way back through.
Also,
Unique subscriber only हटा दे।
because obviously they're the team at the buy,
Subscriber
so
only है ही
they now
नहीं।
have still that paranoia, multiple flashes. Like they're gonna have to make a pretty severe mistake. And again, there's that initial sort of setup from Chichu just to get them the information. The only real danger is just aggression, but
Okay,
it's so
40
easy.
million subscribers.
Anya doesn't manage to get
Total
anything. And
ठीक
well,
है।
they have managed to at least find themselves a kill, but they need
मैं
to get
Mr.
so
Beast
much in
हूँ।
this position, even dying to a blast pack. And Divine,
भाई
his
देख
late
लो
lurk
तो
may
यार।
not be
अबे भाई
expected, but he needs to buy such a ridiculous amount of time.
क्या हो रहा है ये?
Gonna be happening.
No, not quite close.
No.
This Mike does quicken its pace, ticking towards the end.
अभी अटैकिंग है ना, अभी अटैकिंग है, अटैकिंग है.
They only had the one pistol on Can.
बोलता मैं ऐसी ब्रेक हूँ.
भाई वो दवाई बहुत
अरे
बढ़िया
भाई
खेलता है.
ब्रेक आया. Oh my god. What a crisp fame. वही तो masterpiece. मैं गरीब हूँ.
अभी ये जीतेगी TRX.
हाँ अब आएगा ना राउंड इनका.
अभी बाय राउंड है, सही बात है, बाय राउंड.
उनका बोनस राउंड है और इनका PRX का बाय राउंड है.
अब कोई ये भी बोल दो कि वो ट्रिगर्ड इंसान या कैरी में आती है या मिस्टर इंडियन हैकर है. हाँ मैं हूँ भाई, मैं हूँ.
This is an attempt to try and hold rotations in onto that B site, and that is exactly what it's done.
Yeah, again though, from EDG's perspective, this is very similar to what they've been doing, just fully stacking up towards one part of the map, gambling that if they take A, they'll play the retake. Obviously, they've got some very well-drilled retakes lined up for us, and I think here's where we're going to get to see. You know, this is nasty from Anya. Expecting to see something from EDG, but they might not have much of a chance. If they expect this one, I will be flabbergasted. A free kill for sure. Maybe even a second now. They know his tricks. It's time to fade down.
बात तो सही है.
मरा है. कोई एक मरा.
Divide up close already doubles up their advantage, not allowing this retake to even really begin. Leaving just a couple remaining, and well, the potential flawless might be gone, but it's damn clean on the side.
बोला था जीतेगी. Wall must be.
आपका राउंड बढ़िया हुआ क्योंकि सबके पास.
Grim
ट्राई करेंगे, अपन भी ट्राई करेंगे.
Being up top, in fact, even as we go into this replay, this same
Crazy
position that Munyet's in is
XYZ
being pinged like crazy by the side of EDG. They're telling each other, this is where he is. He's going to be there. Watch out on the rotates. So everyone knows. They pulled the trick.
क्या है
I
यार?
don't think they'll get away with that again.
I'm really surprised they do it in the bonus.
मेरे को इनका ये जो सेज है ना दवाई ये बहुत बढ़िया लगता है. काफी से क्लच में डालता है.
Ridiculous confidence of PaperX, and let's be real. If that's the only cool thing we see from PaperX in this map, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I'm surprised, shocked, and disappointed, just like yourself. For
इसका नाम है
EDG, on this
चीटो.
defensive side, bit of a change up this time, not wanting to
पता
play
लग गया.
retake on A. They got a bit aggressive, haven't seen anyone, and in fact, Thrash is coming in on the exact other side of the map. As we can see, oh, I like this idea to try and punish. Actually caught one tag onto something, but that's all they're going to get for it. With the res in, they might want to get aggressive, but being up close, he will come to the side of his weapon. He'll only get the one, but at least he got the one.
Teleport and wall. Yeah.
At least it's not the worst scenario. It looked like it could have gone a lot worse than already.
But क्या फायदा
Has
फ्लैश
been able to
करने
find
का?
another. Kankan
वो
looking to
ऐसे
try and
गया.
break the game, but the timing
Oh,
couldn't be any
एक बार
worse, and now
अरे.
Soggy is all that remains.
ट्रेड हो
1
गया.
versus 2. I don't even think
कोई नहीं 2v1.
has the ability to really
कैसे
clear out this
ऊपर
Pyro
चढ़ेगा?
corner, just trying to check, but this Sage wall just being irritating, and that's enough for him to have to back out of the round.
Yeah, at an eye test, you know, you probably can't jump
Save
there, but I don't
करेगा.
blame him for
save कर रहा
trying. Maybe he could get the element of surprise if physics was going his way. Unlucky for PaperX. They found themselves around, and you know, on EDG, burning up the Hunter's Fury, they commit quite a bit. Their economy's quite low as well. This is not an ideal start, as it looks like PaperX might be able to get away with a little
हो
lead.
जाएगा
Yeah,
PRX
and
का.
something just to mention, obviously we have seen
ये
both
देखो
these
ना
teams
PRX के पास
played
एक भी
already,
वो
very
नहीं है.
close game for the
एक
side of
भी
EDG, so I'm not
डोलेस
overly
नहीं.
surprised that we've seen this pick actually come out from PaperX, and also the
दो
one time they played
controller
it
हैं, एक
specific against
initiator है.
Gen G, they had a 10-2 defense. So that's something you have to be wary of, is they have already shown that they're going to be problematic with aggressive takes. I think
पूछना
some things
क्यों
you
है?
do
दो
आ
ही
जाओ.
set
आना
really
DC
gonna have to
आना.
watch out
क्या
for
कर
that, 'cause
रहे
I
हैं
feel
यहाँ
like
DC
Gecko
आ.
thrives when it comes to this map in particular.
DC पे
And
भी
for
लाइक
now, at
कर दो
least,
साथ के
okay,
साथ.
couple of hero weapons.
DC
Smoggy still
में तो
has
चल
a
रहा है ये.
Guardian
अच्छा, ठीक
invested
है.
into for Kankan as well. But how much can they really do in this round?
आ जा IC.
PaperX have decided against even showing their presence towards this A site. I think knowing, like, in most of these fights you're taking, you have a heavy
Chewing-gum से मारने
advantage
से
in terms
focus
of
बढ़ता है
weaponry.
क्या?
And the one thing EDG can do is group up.
नहीं,
So they
नहीं,
don't throw the
कौन बोला?
flasher, they sneak
बहुत
up on
लोग
A, they
तो
play
आते
it
हैं यार
slow.
ये
But EDG
खेलते हुए.
rotated in. Just look at that mini-map. 4 players very close
हाँ,
by.
ट्राई
try
करते हैं.
On the way.
वही
They've
बोलो,
made the
ट्राई
right
करना.
read. The info denial as well. They know there's one player
one
towards
नहीं लगा है.
the side of PaperX. That's not enough
That's
to really make
Wall's
a move.
round winner.
Devi is disgusting.
Ew.
He's making a lot of dangerous plays, but in this round, that might not have been the right call.
गलती हो गई.
If they can get the rifle back especially, that would be an extra pain that they have to deal with. Also, every player being revealed, no hidden
One,
lurks
two,
can really be happening. Paranoia is good, but nobody's actually able to capitalize off it. Counter
Yeah.
flash is just a little bit too late, and they're being picked apart. Just a couple remaining. Mind Freak has been able to bring back the deficit a little bit.
Oh, nice.
As he's just popping head after head, but it gets a little bit shaky.
Nice.
Leaves it onto something in the 1 versus 1.
हो गया
Nice.
That's good. That's good.
It was a little bit too close
Concentration
for
बना रहता है वही ना मुझे भी यही लग रहा है
time, just one sheriff shot away from disaster. As I said, coming out of the last round, you think that Paper X have everything set up to claim a decent injection of rounds, find that one, being an economically
पढ़ाई
advantageous
करते
position,
टाइम
which don't get me wrong,
भी
you still
चलता है
have a
क्या
player
ये?
like something at 7K.
हाँ पढ़ाई करते टाइम भी
Oh my God.
चबानी
No
चाहिए
reason to
क्या
have this guy's
जी
jersey
आप
at
कैसे हो मैं बढ़िया आप कैसे हो
Just
आप
brought it.
कैसे हो
Yeah, that was clean. And taking out the showstopper as well, I feel like that would have been something dead. for
अगली बार से
sure
कोई
if he
टिप
was able
मांगेगा
to
ना
get
कि
it a
भैया पढ़ाई
split
नहीं कर
second
पा रहा हूँ
earlier.
यार
So,
चिंगम चबाया
round
क्या कर रहा है
for Paper X, but
अरे
आई एम सो कूल
साइंटिफिक
यस
लॉजिक है
यू मस्ट बी अरे आ गया
क्या लॉजिक है?
च्युइंगम के पीछे लॉजिक है जिस फ्लेवर के च्युइंगम
अरे मोनियत मर गया
भाई ये क्या
4 सेकंड में मर गया
For one, that's it though. Shut
Okay.
down, and this round has crumbled pretty quickly. If you're Paper X,
किसे cross पे बैठे
they might have
थे ये
shut
लोग
down a showstopper.
ये
The
round
last
तो
ठीक
round.
है चलो गया
It looks like
नाइस
Can will be
वो
dropped
यार
again.
कोई भरोसा नहीं है
Something tagged. Low HP on Mind Freak.
कोई नहीं कर
And they
लेंगे
know where
पीआर
both
एक
of
की
these
तरह
players
गया
are.
गया
अरे
ये
पीछे
अरे
देख,
शिट
अरे
भाई
Seems to be
Timing
a
देखो
formality
भाई,
at this
timing.
point, unless
Timing
something has
यार।
an incredible 3K up his sleeve.
ओके ये खा लिया वो
One of the
ये
most
रोटेट हो
audacious changes in pace I think I've seen in a long time. Because think
PRX
about how
में
Paper
सबसे
X been
बढ़िया
playing
कौन
so
है
far.
अभी?
It's been slow,
इन 500 में।
defaults,
ये
normally
सारे
ending up on
बढ़िया
the
हैं
A
भाई।
side.
सारी बढ़िया है यार लेकिन मेरा
Miles
मेरे को
Bridge
मतलब
लगाए
मोनियत और 4 सेकंड
And
बहुत
the thing
ज्यादा
is,
पसंद
EDG
है मेरे
have
को
been
भाई
playing a
Samsung
lot
के साथ
around that
खेलते
mid
हैं
area for the fast rotations for retakes. So it's interesting
भाई
that he
इंटर
thought there
नहीं
was a
हुआ
gap there. I'm
साइड और
not sure
रोटेशन
what
भी आ
piece of
गई।
information
क्या
they
लगता है हो
had that
जाएगा क्लच 3v1
they
है
believed that that was
नहीं,
going to be
नहीं,
clear
उसके
enough for him to
मैं
take
तो
such a
पढ़ाई
risk,
करता
but
हूँ
यूटिल्स भी
hasn't
नहीं है
worked
उसके
out.
पास अपने।
Something still
गया
ever
ये फिर
dangerous.
से गलत
timing
जगह
में
देख
मर
रहा
गया
है
ये।
गलत जगह देख रहा है
See if he can make this one at least a little bit costly.
फिर
He's
गलत
looking
देख
fine.
रहा
He
है
knows that planting at this stage, allowing them to
गया
rotate together, won't quite work out.
अरे
But
यार
Smoggy is patient as he hunts down something in the end.
ये लोग भी ट्रेड करते हैं
Yeah,
गन
the right call to try and thin the herd a little bit, but this is a head scratcher of a play. I mean, the
Angel है
sound cue
क्या
is there. The
Angel आई
kill
थी
is easy
फिर
to
चली
claim.
गई
With the smoke close, I guess the
ये
idea is
crossing
even
अच्छी
just
थी
thinking
ना
to the round before. If I'm not mistaken, we had 3A, 2B. That was a gap in the previous
हाँ,
round.
रन
who
भाई
wants to watch third map
Wasn't this time.
जो
So an
जो
unlucky
च्युइंगम
gamble.
का फ्लेवर
As we end
जो
up
फ्लेवर
3
की
to 3.
च्युइंगम
हाँ,
आप
वो
Quick
मुझे
check in with the
पता
economy
है
sees that we've got enough
हाँ।
money for everybody to buy. Utility is going to be
इनको
pretty
बता दो
healthy.
आप
And
आई सी
something has got an operator.
मेरी मम्मी बोल रही थी
He's
तू तो
stealing this
भगवान
one
का
out of
बंदा
the book
निकला
of
रे
Kankan, the gecko
क्यों
art.
भाई
That was something we saw back on
मेरे
Binds.
दिमाग में वो भी
Not
आया
too
था
long
तो
ago.
देव बहादुर सर है
For now, though, back to the slower
अरे
style
अरे
default.
थैंक यू
Maybe expecting a
रीजन नहीं
little bit
पता
of
पर
aggression.
I'll accept it
Especially with how easily they've got into the post plant, I really don't mind the operator. Just allow him to sit on an angle.
थर्ड
try
मैप
and
देखने
shut
में मजा
things
तो
down,
आता है
Mind
देख
Freak again.
मास्टरपीस
He's had
मास्टरपीस आ
a
जा
decent
ना
amount of success
डीसी आ जा
in some of these
ऊपर
early
चले क्या हम
fights.
लोग
For now, though,
उसको ले
you're
आना
doing
चाहिए।
well just to try and
Aja.
slow the pace a little bit,
Masterpiece,
using their
join
smokes.
kar.
And again, you can see it's basically a retake setup over on that A site again, just with a little bit of extra info off the trip.
क्योंकि फिर ऊपर चले गए तो सारे इधर ही
The
आ जाएंगे
fake.
तो स्ट्रीम ऑन
But the attempt to sell a
अरे
fake
नहीं
on the
मैं
B
लाता हूँ,
side
मैं
is
लाता हूँ।
decent. Especially when you've got a Vipers pit online. They can't afford to give this ground up and play
Okay,
behind
nice.
the wall.
शॉट है
As they play in front of the util on A. Price is paid. Smoggy down. And a null command used for Paper X as they claim control of this
मेरे
site,
को KO की
presumably
exact target
unchecked.
अभी तक नहीं पता
Remember,
क्या
also a
सीन
Vipers
करती
pit
है
for post plant, and this op is still
Suppress
lurking
कर
around.
देती है।
There's a
सारी
lot
सारी
of
एबिलिटीज
red
को
flags
डिटेन कर देती
flying
है
for
पूरे
EDG.
मैप पे
You might find the space though.
नहीं नहीं
They're
पूरे
gonna
मैप
go
में नहीं
for
सिर्फ
it
उसके
because he
रेडियस
was
पे
already past the angle
Okay,
initially.
nice.
shot
He
है।
at least finds a slight gap. Already though, Thrash thrown out will give an awful lot of
Viewers
information.
like
They're
दो
going to
कर
spot
दो
at least
हाँ
one
guys
player in
like कर दो
that back line, and look at Divide.
No
Slowly on
Bulan,
the
no.
wraparound, he was following him, but the shots might have just
I
given his
filled
position away.
form
The
very
operator
late.
going to hold the gap in a wall. You'd expect something to hit this shot all
If
day
it
long, and
goes
he
to
won't
Shot.
miss.
left, I'll come
3
on
kills
DC.
already to his
Done.
name. Little bro going to be sent out just to try and claim some
Oh,
extra
yeah,
space.
yeah.
But for now,
Yes,
there's
I
still a
got it.
lot that EDG need to do, and not a lot of time to play with. Kankan, the last man
Nice.
standing, and he will
Shot
get the same
यार।
fate as the rest.
कंफ्यूज हो
kill
गया
निकाले
वो
भाई
उससे जैसे
Something to
पीछे
do.
वाले को देखा सामने से जा गई
Something on the op,
Nice,
but I wasn't
nice.
wasn't really seeing that coming.
that one down.
भाई तो
Yeah,
टीम
actually,
वर्क है
I'm trademarking that one.
पैनिक हो जाते हैं ना उसमें
Calling
फिर
a pause after that, and then you can understand why. This is
ये
just
shot अच्छा था
one man finding all the space in the world,
Oh
despite some
भाई
decent plays
साहब
for them to try and break their way back through. I think the harassment
ये
from
तो
Divide
Thunderblader है.
played a big role as well. The fact that he goes up on the thrash,
Hey,
takes
excuse
the
me,
angle,
मैंने भी मारा
fires a
था.
few shots, and he just
सही
runs
बात है,
away.
सही बात
Just
है.
lets them know, I'm behind you, by the way.
अरे
But now they've
मैं
got to worry about
कैसे
that.
आया?
It slows them down. It gives time for the op to position. And the shots are there every time.
So you can't see it.
OPPRX बोलते हैं वही तो पहले 2 राउंड तो डर लगा बट अब बढ़िया है अब पता है जीत जाएगी
जिनको मैं स्पेनिश ऑमलेट खिलाया है.
I'd love to see
ये
it go
जिंग जिंग
toe-to-toe
खेल
with
रहा है
someone.
इसमें.
We are talking about two of the best operator players in the world. I think Kankan has been someone that has
PRX जिंग है इसमें.
consistently been
नहीं.
mentioned
नहीं
with
जिंग
this
तो
नहीं
नहीं
है.
खेल रहा.
भाई ये कैसे लिख रहा है?
Unfortunately for them,
कौन
finances
लिख
are
रहा है
not
जिंग?
amazing. They would have to take a risk.
Masterpiece.
That's the thing. It's whether they
मैच
want
से
to try
पहले
and bridge
जिंग
the
को
gap
स्पेनिश
of
ऑमलेट
him
खिलाया
being
है.
who
अरे
he
जिंग तो
is.
खेल ही नहीं रहा.
See, this is the thing, though.
जी
This round
क्या
just
हो
might
रहा
not be the
है
one
मस्ती
for
की
it.
पुड़िया
Just
ये
because
ना
you
वो
don't have
चल
any
रहा है
teammates that have
चैंपियनशिप चल रही है
they
लाइक
don't have anything to
वैलोरेंट
back you
की
up. So unless
तो
it's
दो
even a
टीम्स
gamble
है
on the defense, because
जो
you're going to
वर्ल्ड
sit on
में
B with
बेस्ट
that
है
op, if they go away,
वो लोग
like they
खेल रहे हैं
have, what are you
साथ
going to do?
8
It's-
टीम्स है 8
I
में
don't
से
mind it, because if you lose it, the
Eco
cost
पे
is
है
just too high to
EDG.
pay.
He
Instead,
won't because it's Kankan.
well, that's the theory, right?
Huh?
But he's 5 and 7. So he's got a Guardian.
No,
He has a
like
help. He's got a
that.
Stinger, a Guardian. He's not sure yet, and he's sticking on the Guardian. Okay, so a decent rifle to fight with, some
Chances
range
like
potential,
Adios,
and nothing
Adios.
but sheriffs to back him up. It's not a round I expect EDG to win in, but it is one that carries a lot of danger on the side of Paper X, because we've seen before how strong EDG were on a retake with weaker weapons.
Again, they've switched up. There's been so much presence on that A side that they gambled in that direction, and Paper X, they've had solid reads so far. One defender, Chichu, he has been
I've already
the
told
point of
you to
contact
like it.
in almost every
What?
single round, but an afterplant, even a Viper's Pit expended here. You mentioned that some of these rounds got close. Well, Paper X don't want to allow that
तुम
to happen
भाई
again.
अब नहीं आ
Yeah, with
सकते.
Divide finding a kill, popping a heal on his teammate as well. Everyone's
पूरा ही
sitting
खत्म
pretty.
कर दिया.
There's still some util to play with. Going through that Viper's Pit, being on low
Sheriff
HP with the
लेके
Sheriff
retake
is the
करना
only
मुश्किल
thing
हो
worse than
जाता है.
having to take that fight out in the open when there's this many rifles on the other side. They're trying to play the RNG, but the wall is helping, blocking, absorbing some of those shots, even though there's a gap in it that EDG are now going to
क्या
use as
चल
they
रहा
make their way
है?
through. There's a
Oh,
TP
huh?
out.
Huh?
Kill! A real chance for EDG
Okay.
to fight back in this
Interesting.
round. It's something left. Low HP on Smoggy with the decay. And it's an op
Oh,
to work
oh,
with
shit.
for something. Now the
Shit,
heals
shit,
come through. That op needs to
Shit,
land
shit.
its shot. The
Let's
time's
go.
already running. Can something even save the round?
Nice.
At this point, he's got to run fast. Looks like he'll
गया
just
अरे
about be
shit
caught.
ऑफ गई
Yeah, they've got rid of it.
कोई बात
That's so
नहीं है,
much
वो
damage
उठाई थी
done by
शायद इसी
EDG.
केस में.
And honestly, I don't know how Dong managed to do as much as he did, pushing into
Insane.
a Viper's Pit, finding a gap, and getting 3 kills off the back of it.
भाई
Again,
सही
that's
block करा
another
इन्होंने
low
पूरा
buy round
सही.
for EDG. Okay, well that one, yeah, fair enough.
Lucky kills
Going
भी
What?
into a
है.
shot.
Why
ये
said Jing
बहुत
mind freak
भयंकर था.
okay.
Very
क्या
quick
लगता
shots
है
when you're
2 राउंड में खत्म कर
essentially
देगी
nearsighted. Not bad at all.
Yeah, the thing is though, it's whether or not they're able to now capitalize on it. Because they have done that a couple of times, where they've made
अरे
things
अरे
a
अरे
lot more
अरे
costly. Either way though,
चिल्ला
it's
रहे
going
हैं
into this slow push
Okay, आप आ गई
towards
है
the B site.
उनके पास.
A death ball coming out from the side of Paper X. They have managed to sort of play with their opponents. Bear in mind, they've only seen Mind Freak. Now they'll have the information and can finally start getting that rotation in. Kankan is going to be nowhere near the action, and
ये कहाँ जा रहा है?
Lubro is going to be
ये भाई,
making
ये
sure
कहाँ पे
that
कर रहा
plant is
है
in. I don't think they're going to be able to deny. Oh no, they have.
Ew.
Okay, that's something
गलती
that
से
will at
हुआ
least buy a
होगा.
bit of time.
Yeah, no operator to play with for Paper X after losing it last round. EDG on the retake. Kankan's going to be a big factor for them. If they can open up some of these sight lines, have to get past the Viper wall, the
Let's go.
util down from Omen, and they're actually
Nice
passing it
flash.
on the Paper X
Nice.
side, running it down, taking fight after fight with nothing but success. And we talked about this operator. Well, it's now all that's left of EDG's defensive side. This retake will not happen. He might not get out of here. Just
Save
about
करेगा.
making it around in the spawn, but they're hot on his heels. He will
बात है.
क्यों नहीं देंगे से उसको 5 HP है
Oh.
भाई. Classic से बढ़िया.
मोनियस को देख रहा है.
Unlucky.
भाई 4 HP में मारा है
He's
उसको.
on the wrong side, and by the time he gets to the right side, there's no
Oh,
one
big
left
guy.
to help him.
Yeah, they've done really well with just these
इन्होंने
Yeah.
ऑप नहीं उठाई
pushes. Like,
नहीं,
not
नहीं,
that
नहीं.
this is different to what we've
True,
seen
yeah.
from Paper X already. A lot of their eco rounds have gone towards the B side. But
वो
more
दूसरी बार
importantly,
eco
they've
कर रहे हैं.
sent Mind Freak there pretty much every single round. So logically, when
Every
EDG started
हारेंगे
taking
तो
that first fight, they go, Well, this is the lurk again. This is the guy on the other side of the map. We're not going to pull any rotations. And then the full execute comes in. And by that point, you have just too much control available for PaperX. They are doing a great job in these sort of mid-round calls, switching things up each time. And thus far, EDG haven't really been able to catch the smoke of PaperX.
Well, Mindfreak denied what would have been a terrible thrifty for the PaperX side if EDG found it. Oh dear, nobody's not going to have a chance.
Oh, almost.
Something on the off win around with a 4K.
Close
out around in that 1v1. PaperX have had a couple swing rounds go their way by a barrel margin. This one, though, it's been widened up a bit. Mindfreak on the flank, beautiful play.
अबे भाई यार ये क्या मारा बे?
I'm Monian now barely any of them left standing.
For second more Monian.
Who looks like Mindfreak has some spidey senses tingling.
ये तो लक वाला
He's
हिसाब
on
है
his way
भाई.
back through.
They picked them apart again. This time the low buy not looking likely, and again. Just trying to catch Smoke. He doesn't even realize where his opponent's gone. Just trying to catch them, and will finally meet his opponent. It took it long enough to get there. It won't matter. 7-3. PaperX after the first couple of rounds have been nigh on dominant, and for a team that, as I said, we watched them kind of get battered when it came to the game versus Gen G. They've come into this, I think this morning saying, we're at a 6 out of 10. I'm sure EDG don't feel that way.
Yeah, and even if we can argue that EDG have had some closer rounds, some opportunities to pull it off, it doesn't matter. When you're facing down the barrel of a 7-3 scoreline, it's time to show up here and now. Now, a big round for EDG, not just in their buy and their credits, but also in their ult orbs. They've got a lot online to work with. This has to be their safety net.
EDG के पास.
This time, nobody is going to be battling once more.
भाई ये कौन सा
You
बन
can
गया?
see an immediate rotation from EDG.
एक
Just being able to get that little bit of control is enough for them to try and just pull rotations. The retakes over the last few rounds just haven't been working. They need to try and get some of those early fights in, and they'll win one. Khan's removed Mindfreak. He has been the biggest thorn in their side thus far.
I like this position from Smoggy. Good shots last round. The nade is down, but they're a little disjointed. The 1v1 taken against Haodong doesn't go well. For EDG, no smokes left to play with. No, from the shadows. And Mindfreak's right back into the fight. The shot doesn't land. And finds bullets coming back at him from Mindfreak, who was dropped moments earlier. This is a disaster for EDG. They're losing players, but nobody. He doesn't want to lose this round. Holding strong. And the smoke is good. It's only Munyet left. He's made it to A. He'll find a plant, but he doesn't know where these last two players are.
Maria 4 seconds.
Won't be able to join him. Low HP. Fury, they're watching to see if he's going to go pushing round the back, but instead, these angles slowly being cleared. Looking to try and pair back up as he just sits patiently waiting in the corner. Not quite looking the right direction if a wraparound comes in, but actually, both players meeting back up. The time starting to tick down. They really need to get a move on. Paranoia through, TP'd now to get into a much stronger afterplan. Monya getting tagged further and further. They need to get some more. And he's just buying their time.
हो जाएगा.
अरे हो गया I guess.
It's a tall. I think it's going to go off. They just can't find themselves around.
1 second से बच गया.
Less than a second in it, Tom. Like we say, no matter how tight that margin is, PaperX steam further into the lead, and with a Red Bull clutch from a player who was low, who missed the first couple swings, he couldn't land the headshot, and it looked like they had it, but in the end,
it's not even that
time that cost them. 1 second, like 0.93 of a second.
But that's the thing, they were very, very slow at and I love the reposition from Monya. He realizes in that corner, there's a chance to get overwhelmed, someone could get on the defuse. Instead, he just looks to take those fights. And
अबे भाई
again, this time Mindfreak is waiting.
खुद का वन में खुद पे
These
भाई.
battles have not been going their way, and something roaming with that operator. Ready to clear.
Beat तो.
Paranoia will catch him, but no chance for a trade.
It's not even an ability that gets him out of there. It's literally just the straight up take your knife out and run. Now, Kan's gone through mid. There is a lurk waiting around here, but it's waiting for the B main aggression, not for the mid push. They weren't expecting this.
इसका हर बार timing हो रहा है.
A little off, and the shots didn't land initially, but Munyet's recovered it nicely. Mind Freak down, big player for the side of PaperX. He's been
rotation
huge in a lot of these rounds. Now they have to close it out without him. But it's a 4v2.
दोनों
Only
side
Chicho
पे
and Haodong. Should be easy.
Still
हम लोग कभी ऐसे झुंड बना के नहीं चलते ना
नहीं एक एक आदमी जाके मरता है
हम कॉल नहीं दे पाते
left out on his own. He's had a couple of amazing moments so far, but this would
ओह शॉटी
भाई लोगों को पता है ट्रेड कैसे लेना है
leaves it all up to
कौन
one,
वेट
and it is
बनेगा
dominant.
दोनों मार गए भाई
3 half for PaperX coming in onto Sunset. Doesn't get much
9-3
better
हो
than
गया
that.
क्या
No,
हुआ
it really doesn't.
कुछ
I like
वैसे
the
नहीं
idea as
छोड़े
well
उनको
to knife close. They suspect he's there. Swing it
Chicho.
with a short. He didn't even grab
Okay,
the
right.
headshot kill for their trouble. PaperX just
अरे
looking
वो
so clean.
round ही वो
This
हो
is just
गया
a matter of
half हो
timing.
गया
The paranoia doesn't come out. I think the idea was to play off the contact, but they just didn't expect it to be an op. Like a rifle will take an extra half
ऐसा
second to get
gaming
that kill,
partner चाहिए
and it's
मुझे
easy peasy. You're going to at least trade. This time,
अकेले मैं हूं ना ऐसे
they have to trade a lot of rounds.
9-3 हुआ है क्या बोलते हो क्या
आज लाइव के बाद
नो कर्स नो
बैठेंगे
कर्स कल देखो दोनों टाइम पे कर्स नहीं चला तो ये भी नहीं चलेगा नो
कल
टाइम
थोड़ा
फॉर
थोड़ा
कर्स
चल पड़ा
Pulled the
था
telestrator here for one of the rounds in
कल कहाँ
particular,
चला
which is
कर्स
round number 3
और
bonus.
थोड़ी देर के लिए
round.
भाई
This
थोड़ी देर
one
के
was
तीन चार
particularly
मैच
interesting as
जीत
well.
गए
Just
थे
the
वो
overall
आज
game plan
हाँ
going a
बट
bit
हारे
amiss
तो
here.
थे ना
With this
एंड
PaperX
में
comp, what you want to do is you want to bleed the utility out as much as possible. And they were just giving the A side
वैसे
entirely for
थर्ड
free
टाइम
most
का
of the time.
चार्म
I mean,
होता है
PaperX
पर
not being forced to use many of their util
नहीं
tools,
चलेगा
like a paranoia flashes really at all. And part of the benefit of the
Yeah,
geckos that you can
camera
pick
तो
up the flashes as well. Once you use them, you can pick up forms of the util. But it was going to miss here for EDG. And when you give up this much space, it's one of
Run
the
को
worst things you
drag
can do
कर
because you set up PaperX to do things like this. I mean, they
मगर
get quirky
कोई
with the
start
walls. They
नहीं
set up
कर
the
रहा।
sage wall up here onto this high
Masterpiece
ground
गया।
angle. And they're really making sure that their game plan is to try and fight for this area as well.
कोई नहीं
Run
Those
away
link
नहीं है
areas as well as backside control, making sure they're getting really proactive in those moments. And it just completely dismantled EDG.
ये
are
बढ़िया
speeding up
था।
as well, as you can see. It takes out the players here.
Wall
They're
की थी ना जो
making sure they set Divide
हाँ
up
ये
into
वॉल
positions.
ऊंची हो रहा है
And it's
अपन
the
ट्राई
major strength
करेंगे
with this comp.
हाँ।
I mean, being able to fight and really take space
कस्टम में ट्राई
proactively.
करेंगे
But
पहले
EDG, you were seeing it go missing. I mean,
डायरेक्ट
what
मैच
they
में
should be
करते ना
doing
चल
is
भाई
fighting for extremity control, trying to at least get it.
मैसेज
मैं मैसेज लेता हूँ नहीं मैसेज लेता हूँ तो ओमन ले पर टीम मार मैं तो चढ़ाता हूँ
ओमन तो हो गया मेरा फिर
They're going to use that util to push you even deeper when you're trying to set up for your retakes. We're going to go to the other side of the map now, and PaperX might be even better on their defense side. They are so damn well drilled with their executes and their retake protocols with all of
Jian
that
है आप।
utility. EDG cannot make
Jian
the same
है आप।
mistake again.
सुनियो है आप।
To mention Tom.
अरे
Thank you so
गुलाम
much,
आ जा
Brad. Yes,
डिस्कॉर्ड आ
an
जा मैं
interesting
ड्रॉप
look at
करता
how this has been going so far for PaperX.
गुलाम शायद
Tom,
शैंक्स
what I
की
was
भी
going to
वो
say
देखने
before we
गया है
tossed it
लाइव
off is that you were mentioning this defense for PaperX. It's not exactly a weakness that EDG can hope to lean on, is
हूँ
it?
लिखा चैट
No,
में
but we've seen them play it once within the
कोई
regular
बात नहीं,
season,
है
and
नहीं
they
तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते।
absolutely battered Gen G, who obviously ended up winning the series. So, not a great sign. But now they can look to set up Kankan, a player that we already know can ruin any story set up by the
अच्छा ये
PaperX
स्वैप
side.
हो गए ना
It's not happened yet, but we know they can have that rise
भाई
back
बी पे
up.
देख रहे हो 4 लोग हैं
Just
बी
getting
पे अकेला
themselves,
एक
I
पे
feel like back in the seat a little bit,
ए
ready
पे
for
भी
buying,
नहीं है
because
वो मिड साइड है
even though EDG is strong on that map, I'd
इतना
never want to play
कॉन्फिडेंस
PaperX
कैसे
on
है
Light.
इसने यहाँ पे
it's a
क्यों टैप
scary
किया
battle
अच्छा यहाँ से जाएंगे
take on this squad and for
मिड पे
EDG,
3
a slow approach, much different than what we saw from PaperX, who
15
lean
बुलेट है
heavily on finding open space on the A site.
वो
which they
दिखा
do so
दिखा
often. This time PaperX are leaving A open, looking more so to fight into middle, and that's exactly where they're going to find that scrap. Already good stuff as the heal comes through. That initial fight almost negated it for Forsaken.
हवा में हेडशॉट
But
मारा
didn't
उसने
find the kill on something. Now the numbers are thin slightly. And for EDG, they can take advantage of this. Same sized map, but less players to defend it.
I'd still feel worried pushing into Mind Freak. He's definitely been the player to watch so far, but with the push coming in from Divide,
Thank God.
there's a good chance they're boxed in. Now
हाँ
there
भी
is a
सुन रहे
trip,
थे
and that
भी
means that he can just keep the rest of his teammates sat within this site. Still a paranoia available as well for Munyet.
कूद जा
Could cause real issues.
वॉल पे कैसे
Slowed
है
them down, but they found Mind
मैंने
Freak.
ध्यान नहीं दिया
They
फ्लैंक
know
का
that Munyet's around here. They've got to deal with him. They want to
किसी
get
ने
this
देखा
one.
नहीं ना
Oh.
Munyet with a beautiful shot.
नहीं नहीं फ्लैंक नहीं देखा
Oh.
Divide easily closes that out. His flank saving the
नोटिस नहीं
round.
किया फ्लैंक का
And
Damn.
PaperX sealing the coffin of EDG
तो उसको मेन की जगह फ्लैंक क्यों बोलता है?
क्योंकि डिफेंडर जब अटैकिंग की तरफ से आ रहे तो उसको फ्लैंक ही बोलेंगे।
मैं तो मेन बोल
अरे पीछे से घूम कर
ये
पीछे से
बहुत सारे
घूम कर
टर्म है यार, बहुत सारे टर्म, जैसे कि एक लर्क हो गया, एक फ्लैंक हो गया।
लोग तो फिर
वो भी
बात ही
बोले।
अलग है ना।
हाँ
प्लान तो
तो
मिलते ही
बेसिकली
करता
रोटेशंस देखने के लिए होता है ना कि एनिमी टीम
हाँ 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 हाँ, एनिमी रोटेट करे तो तुम उसके पीछे पीछे जा रहे हो। ओ शॉट है यार,
ओह ब्रो
कई भाई।
गया, एक और गया, एक और गया।
ये डेड है,
हाँ,
डेड
dead
है,
है।
डेड डेड डेड
दैट दैट दैट
भाई ये क्या हो गया?
Yeah, they had a paranoia come through the wall just to make sure that there wasn't really any opportunity for the player on the other side to survive.
चैट क्या
That's now
अटक
8
गई है
rounds
क्या?
in a row for
चैट आ नहीं
Paper
रही
X.
है, मुझे दिख नहीं रही है।
There needs to be
ऑनलाइन
the
है
same
चैट
kind of
कोई
back
कर
again.
नहीं रहा है।
That's
लास्ट
how
चैट क्या दिख रहा था तुमको?
desperate a position we
अच्छा
find
आ तो
EDG in at
रखी
this
है।
point.
तरुण PRX
Yeah,
will
gonna have
win
the
for
buy.
sure. Yes, who win? PRX. अरे
Investment
सॉरी यार,
available.
मेरी चैट नहीं
And
चल
actually,
रही थी,
to be honest,
जस्ट
looking at
बात
the weapons on
बदल
the other
दी।
side of
इतना
Paper X
स्मूथ
actually
हमारा
scares me
गेम
more than a
चले तो
normal
बात और
round.
होती।
Because you got a
सॉरी
Judge, you got an
गाइस,
Outlaw,
सॉरी
you got
गाइस,
an
I missed
SMG.
all
That means
these
they're probably
chats.
going to do something spicy.
PRX for real, PRX हाँ. You can try 10
भाई क्या
minutes
डोमिनेट
for
किया
watch
PRX ने
parties.
भाई 3 मैच
Prospectively,
के
you're
बाद
just capturing your
सही
browser
बात,
in
सही
OBS.
बात।
No heavy graphic. True. अभी जब वो होएगा ना, चेंज होएगा, सेंटिनल खेलेगी, उसके बीच के टाइम में कर दूंगी। ये मैप तो हो गया खत्म। I wanted to watch this split. नहीं यार, split तक तो नहीं जाएगा। I don't think.
Yeah, that's a big fight to have because it also gives them a lot of space over onto the site. Outlaw in position and the slow.
Sorry guys. नया बंदा आया था, उसकी चैट भी मिस कर दी।
Falling back, but Divine has now retaken that space and we'll just wall it off, even if it's just a little piece of information. That's something that can be brought through.
अरे ये
They
क्या
are
बॉल
now
है
going to
ये?
start building up though. The thought on EDG's
कुछ
side is
तो है।
okay.
My
Well,
kind
if
of
they
wall.
walled this, it probably means there's no one here.
हाँ?
चढ़ गया।
Over the
चढ़ गया?
top of it.
That's what I was wondering. Like, it seems like that left side's jumpable, but they still hear the sound cue with how close they were.
अबे नहीं,
And Forsaken
PRX
hasn't
मरा।
quite
गया
managed to
गया
get the
भाई
damage
ये
done
कौन है?
on the outlaw, and the flank
Ah!
by Cheat Shoes being lost. He's beautifully positioned, but the jumping judge wasn't quite
Down to
anticipating
गया।
even still. That's the only kill for Paper X so far, and it may well be the only one they find.
ये
Both
देखो।
players on 45
क्या
HP.
timing
Nice
है?
uniform.
गया।
It's about
No,
पता लग
भाई।
गया, बच गया।
become one player. Never mind. Divide perfectly dodged
ओह,
that. Not the second time.
लैग तो
On the other side,
रहा
something
है,
is just
स्प्लिट
decided
तक
to
नहीं
be
जाएगा।
safe,
हाँ लग तो रहा है,
छोटी
नहीं
छोटी
जाएगा,
बात-
स्प्लिट तक नहीं
छोटी
जाएगा।
I do like the
मास्टरपीस।
fact that even though EDG are
अभी आ
down,
जा, मैं कह
they're
रही हूँ
definitely not playing
डिस्कॉर्ड
like
पे।
it. They're taking
थर्ड
their
मैप का
time,
वेट
making
मत
sure they
कर।
clear everything properly, trying to play with the
सेव
rotations
कर
of
रहे ना?
Paper X and really giving themselves the best possible chance to
देखो
start
आ रहे अब सब
what will
इकट्ठे।
be a mountain comeback if they manage to do it. For something,
वो
it's whether or
चार
not
लोग
he
सामने
really wants to
दिख
go
आ
for
रही
it
है
in
आगे
mid-game.
भाई।
Financially, the team could afford it.
मारा है
It's already
ऊपर।
been ahead of the small
Oh.
game. Just look to try and fall back, send out,
शॉट तो था भाई।
चूहा
wings
बेच
up to
दिया।
try and just deter them
I
a little
like
bit from pushing.
lurkers.
Hey, made things at least a little bit more
Okay.
costly.
Yeah, Menti didn't have to go running in towards mid either and risk there being a player there. Knew his back was secure.
हाँ।
And this is very nice by Chichu. Again, the fact that you
इससे
have
वो
a
मीम
jumping
में आता
judge
क्या
coming
बच्चा
around
जो
and he's kind
चलते
of low,
चलते पीछे मुड़ जाता है।
it's unlucky to say the least of it. But for EDG, we
ये
need some
बचने का
big
तरीका
rounds
अच्छा था।
to fall into place right now. 11-4.
मेरे से बनी हुई नहीं होता यार।
This one, it's more or less
Same.
fine that we're going to be thinking about for EDG.
बनी हो बननी है ना, मैं तो जिंग बन जाऊंगा यार, मस्त रेस लेके उड़ूंगा।
बनी हो खिलजी सिखाता था मेरे को, फिर भी नहीं आया।
Straight up mid pushing, 4 players
बनी
on
हो
this
क्या
part of
चीज?
the map. A is left wide
अरे वो
open.
ऐसा मूवमेंट में कूदते ना
They
फिर
don't get contact, so they fall back.
Oh,
But it
अच्छा
allows
वो।
them to be ready on B
ऐसा
much
होता
है।
quicker than EDG should be ready for.
There are so many players ready and waiting. They've been able to take out at least a little bit
ये साइफर क्या कर
that
रहा है?
utility.
लर कर रहा है।
But I think the hesitation is right from EDG. They're just going to stop. I think they saw so much
Lurk तो
utility
नहीं
flying
कर
through
रहा
on the
है।
other side.
अरे
Can't cut it. He just has
माउस
something to say
स्क्रॉल
in this
यूज
game.
करना पड़ता है।
Something
वो
given
बोल
an
रहा है
opportunity
माउस
to take
स्क्रॉल
that
यूज
fight
करना
and with
पड़ता
your
है।
duelist, your
खिलजी।
entry, your space
2
taker
राउंड में
down.
खत्म हो जाएगा, फिर ब्रेक सेकंड
It's not
मैप
going to
पे
get any
आता
easier. Now the A site
हूँ।
is open for
हाँ ठीक है
business.
ठीक है।
But I
अरे
feel
जाओ
like
जाओ
someone
ये जाओ
almost
ये
needs
जाओ।
to be left behind to try and catch someone on the rotation. Because if you allow
अभी
Paper X
मिड
to
पे गया
retake,
स्पाइक तो।
I don't like those
हमारे जेट शॉट
odds.
नहीं
Oh,
लगते।
अरे
He's at
यार।
least going to be able to find one before trying to back away.
4 सेकंड मार दिया भाई.
Because you know, PaperX obviously happy to play retake on A from the start of the round in a 5v5. In a 5v4 without Concon, even better.
ये चले गए सारे और बस
Now
ये
the
जो
numbers have changed hands a little bit. The advantage no longer sits towards PaperX, and there's 2 players on the B site still with a lurk from nobody, active in mid.
पीक लेगा तो मरेगा वो.
अरे यार.
Anything. These last 2 players even splitting up. Oh, this could be dangerous. They don't check the close right corner, which I mean, you wouldn't really think to check this late on in the game. Well, the punishment.
भाई 4 ले गया भाई ये.
Nobody. Massive round. He's had some big rounds like this before, but we can't rely on that every single time, Tom. 11-5.
Oh, that was huge from him. Just taking some of that space back into mid, being able to fight the player in market, and then win a duel of, I think it was 2 players peeking him from top mid.
Nobody ने somebody
really
को
shouldn't
मार
have gone their way.
मैं ऐसे ही खेलता हूँ इनकी तरह ही थोड़ा सा ही
तो अपने सपने में ऐसे खेलता है. बिल्कुल बात सही है. बिल्कुल सही है.
Gonna take a moment to try and
19-20 का ही तो फर्क
the
है.
team, because that's the thing. Even EDG just getting themselves a little bit pumped up. We've seen this team pull off miracles in the BCT before.
19 लाख का.
So I think we'll stop this before it gets any legs whatsoever.
It's definitely time to pump those brakes, take a
4
second look at how these coming rounds are going to go. Because remember, the first one,
4 सेकंड का जीजी कर दिया nobody ने.
क्या ही टाइम आउट ले रही है एडीजी
but
पता
they're
है
going to have ults
नहीं.
online soon, even in this
कोई
round.
नहीं, दिखाना पड़ता है. दिखाना पड़ता है.
अरे नहीं
Start है.
पीआरएक्स ने टाइम आउट लिया है भाई.
क्या अजरल भाई आप क्या कर
They
रहे
better make
हो?
sure that
अरे
arsenal
भाई.
isn't disbanded for no reason.
क्या पॉइंट पे किया मिड टॉप पे है ना.
In the following
टाइम आउट वाला.
round of
हर हाफ में इनको 2 टाइम आउट मिलते हैं.
अरे नहीं वो गेम में कैसे डालते
See how much
होंगे.
they actually invest in
Extra
this round, because
तो होता होगा ना कुछ सेटिंग
at
होगा.
something
जैसे
at the
एक बंदा टाइम आउट लेता है तो
Again,
उसमें दूसरी
he
टीम
is
बात
someone
कर
who could
सकती है क्या.
definitely pull off miracles. He was fantastic with it even on the attack.
पता नहीं.
ये तो नहीं पता.
There's just no way. Like, if you wanted to throw...
इस सेम
There's just
पार्टी
no way.
में होंगे
I
तो
mean,
ऑब्वियसली
he has
बात
a
कर.
Thrash for next round. Maybe he buys it
अरे
now,
Cypher
to get
है,
a
तो
weapon,
जल्दी कर
and then just
सकता है
decides
क्या?
to use Thrash next round. He'll be
Yeah.
back contact. He's
6
gonna
पॉइंट
do it.
रहता है ना.
I
6
mean,
अल्ट और में हो जाता है.
he's crazy. On defensive side as well, it's a
बाकियों के
risk.
काफी
Maybe he
ज्यादा
can save it if things go
हाँ
wrong, but
बाकी किल्सोवा के तो
really
9
the hope
पॉइंट
here, the
लगते हैं.
gamble, is that he's able to
Jet
find
के
some
भी
serious
9 है ना
value, and
शायद.
as we can see,
हाँ,
well,
Jet के
EDG
भी 9
were
है.
backing off.
केओ का 8 है.
It looks like they won't be coming near beam. Oh, never mind. The danger zone has
Omen
been
के
entered
भी
by
8 है.
Chichu.
गया ये गया
He's gonna
ये.
go for a pick.
ओवन के साथ.
So far,
अरे.
it
के
would have gone
सबसे
down
कम है.
immediately.
Fan
That
out
was the
में.
thing. Either you had to get value with the
Oh.
operator or save it. This is the worst of both worlds, as he has gone down with the
राउंड निकल
operator.
रहे हैं भाई.
They know
क्या
exactly
क्या
where the
हो रहा
players
है.
are rotating to
कोई
as
नहीं
well.
होता है होता है. 2 ही तो
Whether or not-
चाहिए
yeah, I
हो
was about to
जाएंगे.
say, I think EDG have been so calm in just
Come
going
back
for these
भी हो जाता है
rotations,
कई-कई बार.
claiming
नहीं
space.
होगा,
अरे
नहीं
बहुत
होगा.
बहुत
अरे
मार
यार.
Going to be stopping any chance of rotation. He's even going to shut the door on them. Now, what that might mean is, unless it's been thrown away, they might actually be able to save the operator.
ये पूरा खाली है.
It's actually a very nice recovery, I suppose. They carry this weapon through to the next round, and I have nothing negative to say about it. It is just the risk that they run of it being dropped, of one of them picking it up, or of that weapon going down. And if
ओवन अभी भी बी पे
EDG
बैठा.
decided to take B, then you're not getting it back.
स्टार्ट
It's
दिख ही
gone.
नहीं रही है.
Save
बार
कर
बार
रहे हैं
रिफ्रेश
कैसे.
करना पड़ रहा है.
And an op carried through to the next round. This is the idea.
ऐसे
Like I said,
सपोर्टर
they needed
दैट
to
गर्ल्स
didn't get it.
मिले तो
Instead,
हम भी अच्छा
so he's got
परफॉर्म
a res
करें.
to work with. When might not have the from the shadows, but I doubt that's going to ruin their plans. So
Real.
realistically, they have a lot to work with.
सुनियो है
Maybe
आप.
he'll get a kill with the operator. I don't think he's in the right place at the
No,
right
he's a little
time.
far
ये कुछ तो
away.
कोई जैको
If there was
वाला
a
भी
Leon,
आता ना
I'd give him
जैको
a
है.
chance. But no one's getting to his neck of the woods anytime soon. Mind Freak, oh, you're in danger.
You-
They put the paranoia through, but I
उनको
don't
कैसे
think
पता है
he's
पीछे
डायरेक्टली
है?
जैको बोल
pushing
दिया.
too far on it.
जैको.
Mind Freak will already
अरे
get
हमको
one.
पड़ी
There's
है.
how much
अपने
more
में
he
ऐसा ही
needs.
होता है.
Oh, Mind
Oh.
Freak is just hitting every single shot. Okay, he
Nice
loses the gun,
try.
but even the extra credits will put him in a spot where
भाई
he's
ये
not
क्या हो
rifle for the
रहा
next
है?
round anyway. So
They're just throwing.
मेरे को
वो
तो
तो
ऐसा
सेव
धक
कर रहा
धक हो
When
रहा
you
है.
got Mind Freak on your team, 2v5, just go for it. Just go for it. Look at this guy. It's unbelievable. Let's get that one in a replay. Oh, yes. Oh, I like that. Oh, he even blocked the nade. Our observers are fantastic. Thank you guys so much for showing us that. That's so cool.
just body block it.
Yeah, just block it, duh. Come on. Take the kills.
11-6. The thing is, though, the economy doesn't really matter so much for EDG. They've built up a lot of extra cash. Howdong even with 8,000 credits post-buy. And if they lose 2 rounds, they're done anyway. So ultimately, it was worth trying to remove that extra weaponry, something will have the operator, as you said, the ults have come
देख रहे
online.
यार ये लोग स्मोक से
You have to think
एंट्री
that
के लिए
sooner
नहीं
rather
रखते
than
हैं,
later, PaperX are going to eventually get this one over the
अटैकिंग
line.
के लिए
But for
कर देते
EDG,
सीधा.
they are now starting to build into this. Still with the
वो लोग
showstopper.
कहाँ
Hunter's
स्मोक
Fury
ब्लॉक
for this
करेंगे
round.
विजन तब जाके
And again,
प्लांट
just
लेंगे,
a
ये लोग कुछ
slow,
नहीं.
tempered approach to trying to
Pick कर रहे हैं क्या?
gradually take space. They're not really giving any information over onto the PaperX side, and well,
B पे start
something
करवा रहे हैं.
one of the players who could find it
एक
is
लड़का
just sat
था
with his
ये पे.
operator in hand.
हाँ.
Single-handedly maintaining the control of the A site where they've been so happy to play retake before. Something's got it on lockdown, but EDG are not looking to take any risks towards that side of the map. Instead, it's the B site that they're currently targeting. Now, there's some utility being expanded to run that clock down 40 seconds, as we're going to see, oh, even a deep flash thrown through. They're really trying to stop this squad, I guess send them back to A, or at least make it so that they have to blitz in, and with the showstopper, that's not really risky. Okay, it's ended up fired at a corpse. And no! Con doesn't stand a chance. Now Divide can do some serious work. Arez online. We mentioned that earlier.
Defense वाली side है.
but still उसने करी क्यों नहीं?
Taking every single kill. And with something only now making it to the B side.
Fire in the hole.
Now it's time to save.
क्या ना?
Save Tom, isn't it?
गलत जगह किया वो.
It is something. I don't think he's going to go for this.
मरेगा भाई आउटसाइड
थोड़ा
इसके लिए.
चेयर करो PRX उसको चेयर करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है मास्टरपीस वो वैसे ही जीतेंगे.
That's why they start just blitzing their utility, and they knew that they were coming in that
ओमन से
direction.
मरेगा.
अभी भी 4 राउंड का मार्जिन है.
Taking space and then just solid trade work from EDG. It also seems like every time we've had an operator for the defensive side, it has not been in the right place. Both teams have managed to avoid the superstar player for the other side, and now I'm just looking at how
पीछे देख भाई, पीछे देख भाई.
पीछे तो देखो.
टाइमिंग यार.
How long's going to get the kill anyway? Another round building credits for EDG and a 4-round streak on this attack side. This is starting to look possible.
Yeah, you know, a large part of why I started to lose hope is just the promise of PRX on the defensive side, but well, the paper dinosaurs ain't doing too well. EDG are looking fantastic, and momentum's definitely on their side. Sure, the ult economy is swinging towards PaperX for now, and that is kind of all they need, right? Just a couple trickle-down rounds, and they're good to go on map number 2. But from what started out as a very dominant a couple of close rounds for EDG that could have swung it a little bit more.
देखो मैं काला
It just seemed like we were going to
करता
leave this
हूँ
with the idea
EDG
that,
जीत जाएगी
EDG need
फिर.
to wake up for map 2. It looks like they've woken up for
कौन
half
कह
2
रहे
at
हैं?
least.
बैन
It's
कर.
a good sign.
फिर नाम चेंज करके क्यों आ रहा है?
As well with different players like How Long Nobody was starting to step up to the plate.
अरे भाई.
टारगेट नहीं.
It's not everything they've got. They will still have a buy for the next round, but they've got a few bulldogs to play with. The ult's still available, and the drone. Again, I think EDG are doing a fantastic job of either using Kankan or Nobody to just sell a roost. They start throwing utility, be it a boombot, be it a drone, and just get them to stick around in that position. Even catching him with the knife, okay, maybe that wasn't intentional. But you can look at the other side of the map. The only player there is going to be Monya, and they're going to get the information finally that they are not around this position anymore.
हुआ
They
वो.
haven't cleared Nobody, and he's
नहीं
been
नहीं.
nuisance in the
अबे
past.
3 लोग मरेंगे क्या सुबह से?
Such a good spot, but
that's
बच गया.
फ्लिक देखी भाई.
longer, maybe he could sneak his way through. The snake in the grass has been found.
गलत टाइम पे वो हुआ ब्लाइंड हटा.
As we said, a lot to work with. One is a res in terms of ultimates. Viper's Pit online. If Mind Freak finds one kill, this could get very dangerous for EDG. Flashes a lot of
Nice flash, nice flash.
एक ही नहीं दिया कोई.
अरे नहीं.
अबे भाई की भाई.
ओ भाई.
To try to pull this back, swinging into
खत्म.
was that one hell of a round.
वो अकेले 4 बंदे ले गया.
EDG 3 rounds behind on a map that not long ago was looking lost.
Yeah, they lost the pistol.
अब मेरे को ऐसा धक-धक हो रहा है. Where is popcorn?
अबे यार वाइट भी लेना
चना, I have चना.
वही ब्लाइंड करने के बाद तो लेना चाहिए.
Damn, वही तो भाई.
Either by their own util or by a counter flash on the other side. I think it was. I think it came
भाई
out from
साहब
Smoggy just buying enough
थोड़ा और
time.
चिल्ला देता तो
And then just having that firing
यार मेरा
squad
चिप्स
coming
खत्म हो
from
गया
a
इनके चक्कर
different
में
direction. And,
अरे भाई
well, they managed to hold the line versus
भाई
पहले से
लिटरली
उधर
2
ही
मिनट
a
पहले खोला था
decent
2
क्या
मिनट
ही
पहले
मारा भाई तो
They had a
भाई
couple of ultimates used up for
वहां से
Paper
चबाया
Rex.
जा
It's
रहा
not
सिर्फ
like they don't
फटाफट
have
खा
that
रहा हूँ
life
मैं
stack anymore to just try and get them to OT.
यार मैं पता है
Just
जीतने
to
की
have a
खुशी में
few
बिरयानी
together.
मंगाया था
अरे भाई कोई
अरे
नहीं अभी बहुत टाइम है
होएगा होएगा होएगा
अरे मेरे को भेज दे लेजेंड से
where they're still going to have a decent economy, they're going to have full util to work with.
वो तो ऑर्डर हो गया आ रहा है
हाँ ट्रांसफर कर देना
रायपुर से भेजने में सड़ जाएगा तब तक
नहीं नहीं जोमेटो लेजेंड चलता है यार आएगा कल आएगा मेरे पास एकदम फ्रेश
क्या
यहाँ पे जोमेटो नहीं है मतलब
यहाँ के ठेले वाले से जाता है फ्रेश
जोमेटो लेजेंड
हाँ
नहीं उससे तो नहीं जाएगा
मैं रेस्टोरेंट वगैरह से नहीं मंगाता यार स्वाद मिलता है ठेले में
बात तो सही है वैसे भाई मेरे को बिरयानी भाई किलो बिल्कुल नहीं पसंद
अरे
भाई
ऐसी भाई मैं बता रहा हूँ
भाई
क्या
बिरयानी
पता
भाई
है
किलो की
मैंने
बिरयानी अच्छी होती है
नहीं अच्छी होती है क्या बात कर रहे हो
ये
अच्छी
बोल रहा
है
है नहीं ये
भाई,
गलत जगह
अगर-
से खाया नकली खाया हुआ था ना
अगर तुम्हें बिरयानी खानी है ना तुम जाओ मस्जिद चलो मेरे साथ
हाँ अरे
वो
यार
तो
तो
ओजी प्लेस है ना वो तो
भाई
कोई चैट नहीं कर रहा है फिर रुक गई
रेस्टोरेंट्स की इतनी अच्छी होती नहीं
लास्ट चैट में खुल
ओ
गई
भाई
घोड़ा है
हाँ हाँ वही है
ओके
सेंटिनल्स और पीआरएक्स भाई सेंटिनल और पीआरएक्स ऐसा सवाल मत करो यार
अरे सेंटिनल मास्टरपीस
सेंटिनल्स और पीआरएक्स
मैं यहाँ पे थोड़ा पीआरएक्स की साइड
मैं खुद ही पीआरएक्स की साइड लेना चाहूंगा बट
मैं दिल से सेंटिनल्स के पास जाना चाहूंगी
एंगल तो है भाई एंगल
ओ
तो है
भाई
ओ भाई अरे यार क्यों उतरा पागल मैं सेंटिनल अरे वाह मास्टरपीस तू भी सेंटिनल ब्रो है क्या
ओ शॉट है
गया
बच गया भाई 4 सेकंड ओपी
समथिंग बैठा ही था कि आएगा पक्का
चलो भाई बस एक राउंड और
श्राप हटा इनके ऊपर से
Again, though, I feel like that's another scenario where PaperX have done well to go, okay,
Nice.
we'll set something up to have space initially. We've got the Vipers pit
भाई
on the other
इनकी
side.
गोलियां
We
पता
have
है एक ही
great
जगह
Viper
जाती है
pit
इधर उधर
on
फैलती
the
नहीं
mid, and that's why they
अरे
have
उनका
two
रिकॉइल
players
कंट्रोल बहुत
second
अच्छा है
of
ना
all.
ऐसी
The double flashes, as you
आप
mentioned.
एम लैब तो करो आप एम लैब तो करो एम लैब में भी आपका रिकॉइल कंट्रोल हो जाएगा
आज एम लैब ठीक करूंगा मैं पता है ये स्ट्रीम के बाद ये सारा दोनों मैच देख के
Leaving EDG now after what
यार
was
मैं देखने में रात 3 बज जाएंगे भाई
them turning this map around.
मेरा भी
They
एम
need
ठीक
another
है
4 in a
हाँ,
row.
तो
to
हाँ
लगता नहीं है वो
बिल्कुल
अलग
यार
बात
अगला
है।
तू ही तो जाएगा
लगता
कल
नहीं
एक
है वो
बजे
अलग
तक
बात
खत्म
है
हो गया था
करी के बाद अगला तुझे ही लेंगे सेंटिनल्स
अरे
वाले
अगर मैं होता ना कोई टीम में तो अब तक गेम खत्म हो जाता मेरी वाली टीम हार चुकी होती
सही बात सही
A main, B main fakes because Vipers pit
कौन
shut it
से
down. Now, that's not
चक्की
gonna
का
be there
आटा
anymore.
खाता है
मेरी
खाते
वाली टीम
हैं
पहले से
हाँ
अंदर
यार
की
सही
बड़ी
बात है
ये चक्की का आटा नहीं खाते इसलिए प्रो हैं भाई
क्या
एक क्या बात कर रहा है
ये तो
चक्की का यार
तू उल्टा बोल दिया ना थोड़ा सा
सही बात
वही तो गलत बोल रहा है भाई
भाई वो आटा ही नहीं
और
खाते
रोटी खाते होंगे क्या मतलब क्या फालतू बात कर रहे हो
भाई वो आटा ही नहीं खाते वो
हाँ।
खाते हैं फ्लोर
ये
मैं
अलग ही
अलग
मेरा
करता
कोई
हूँ।
बोलते फ्लोर खाते ठीक है वही है
राइस
सेम
खाते
सेम
होंगे
बट
भाई
डिफरेंट
हाँ भाई बर्गर राइस वही सब
एशियन
मैं
कंट्री
19 का बर्गर 19 का
हैं क्या सच में
मेरे को लेट आ रही है चैट मास्टरपीस प्लीज देयर
भाई बर्गर तो बर्गर क्लब का अच्छा है भाई
बर्गर सिंह
कौन
राइस
इसलिए
बर्गर
मैं
तो
टीम
मेरे
में नहीं
फास्ट
है
फूड कैफे का
बर्गर सिंह ओवररेटेड है यार
मैं बर्गर सिंह कभी खाया ही नहीं
मेरे को
इधर है ही नहीं ना बर्गर सिंह का आउटलेट
भाई तेरे उधर बर्गर क्लब है क्या
नहीं नहीं बर्गर क्लब भी नहीं, मेरे यहाँ बर्गर किंग नहीं है, क्या बात कर रहे हो यार?
भाई बर्गर किंग नहीं तेरे यहाँ?
नहीं 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 है।
बर्गर सिंह है?
नहीं कुछ नहीं है ना, मैकडोनल्ड्स बस है इधर।
अरे
अरे तू दिल्ली
मैकडोनल्ड्स,
आ,
केएफसी, पिज्जा हट।
तू दिल्ली आ, तेरे को मैं तीनों जगह लेके जाएगा, तू बता ये किसको
रायपुर,
अच्छा है।
रायपुर अभी भी डेवलपिंग स्टेज में है,
अबे अटक गया। तुम लोगों का
लेकिन
भी
मोस्ट
अटका क्या?
छत्तीसगढ़ का सबसे
हाँ
मोस्ट डेवलप्ड स्टेज स्टेट सॉरी सिटी रायपुर है।
आओ
तुम लोगों का भी अटक रहा है या सिर्फ मेरा अटक रहा है?
अटक रहा है,
नहीं
अटक रहा
मेरा
है।
टकरा टकरा।
गाइस सिर्फ मेरा नहीं अटक रहा, सबका
बर्गर
अटक रहा
किंग
है।
तो यहाँ शिमला में भी नहीं है।
ये
अबे अगर
चैट लीक
तेरा
कर रही
अटकेगा
है।
तो सभी का अटकेगा ना।
जीत गए,
Yeah, the
जीत
second player's
गए।
not expected, of course. It's
नहीं
my
लाइव
friend.
मैं नहीं कर रही ना
Although the
डिस्कॉर्ड पे।
poisons might be off, he's still got his
आ
rifle
डिस्कॉर्ड
ready
आप ही
to
कर रहे हो।
कौन लाइव कर रहा है?
मैं कर रही हूँ क्या?
हाँ तू ही कर
हम्म।
रही है।
ओ भाई साहब।
अरे वो सामने
fight.
ट्विच से ही वो हो रहा था,
Con with another death on the board. He
मेरा
has
भी हो रहा था, मेरा
struggled
भी लोडिंग ले
in
रहा
this
था।
series, but Mindfreak
अरे तो मैं
most
जीत
करूंगा
गए
certainly
भाई,
has.
जीत
डिस्कॉर्ड पे
गए।
And with
लाइव।
Forsaken dropping
पहला
nobody,
मैप अपना
it's
हुआ।
अब मैं
looking
हटा
like
नहीं
this might
पाऊंगी, अभी
be
रुक जा।
map 2 already on the
ठीक
minds
है।
of EDG. Chichu with another clutch that he won't win, and Mindfreak on the triple. That is the
कितने
first
10-15
map
मिनट का
for
ब्रेक होगा
Paper
ना
Rex,
कितना।
and a very promising start
ये
to
तेरा
this
पीछे
series.
चल रहा
Like
है
Forsaken said, they
लाइव।
were a 6 out of 10.
कोई नहीं, हम
Had
जीत
some
गए।
shaky rounds, but they're looking more like a 7 now, at least.
Yeah, they've got their first map on the board.
जीजी हो गया भाई,
and
जीजी हो गया।
I think many believe to be competitive,
Young
worried
GG.
about the form that this team was coming in on.
नजरुल भाई
in the first
400
round.
मिले,
Never know what
400,
it's
250 लगाया था,
fully
400
dominant,
मिले।
and it just took
अरे
a lot of his
यूनिक
time to get
कौन से क्रिएटर का देख रही है तू?
मैं तो वैलोरेंट का मेन देख रही हूँ।
ओके तो मैं करूँ क्या स्टार्ट?
क्या? अपने उस पे हाँ कर ले। अब तो ऐड आ रही है।
हाँ तभी कह रहा हूँ ना मैं, मतलब तेरा इंटरनेट थोड़ा सिर्फ उस पे लगेगा ना स्ट्रीम पे, डिस्कॉर्ड पे मैं कर देता हूँ।
जीजी हो गया गाइस, जीजी हो गया। ऐड आ रही है।
बंदे हैं लाइव पे।
हाँ 4 तो दिख रहे हैं मुझे।
अब कितनी ऐड आएगी? रुक तो डिस्कॉर्ड से बंद कर दे, मैं कर रहा हूँ।
चल ठीक है। आगे पीछे हुआ तो?
अरे क्या आगे पीछे होगा?
अरे तेरा लाइव तो आगे पीछे, लाइव कैसे आगे पीछे होता है यार?
अरे नहीं, वो मेरी लाइव थोड़ी चलाएगा। वो तो वैलोरेंट का चलाएगा ना।
अरे भाई।
ट्विच चला दे, ट्विच।
ट्विच ही चला रहा हूँ।
देखो
हाँ
सब
हाँ
दिखता है भाई, सब दिखता है, सही बात है।
जी आने आप
पर मैं अभी खोल नहीं पाऊंगा, बाद में खोलेगा, अभी मेरा स्क्रीन शेयर हो रखा है।
बराबर।
अरे
They pick up their first map win here at Masters Madrid and have now joined by their
व्हाट द
coach
फक, मैंने स्ट्रीम म्यूट कर रखी फिर भी आवाज आ रही है।
side half.
भाई मेरे को कहाँ से आवाज आ रही है? आईसी तेरे वहां
आईसी
से मेरे को
ये
आवाज आ रही है।
क्या बात कर रही है?
हाँ
You know, it's funny, right? You think a
म्यूट
common
कर
no
दो
duelist
ना
would be way
उनको
better in defense.
यार,
I think
उनकी
we
स्ट्रीम
just gave them too much
की
respect.
आवाज
रुक जाओ,
कम
यहीं आ
Played
जाओ।
really, really far back, and we're trying to like, guess where they're going. So in round 20, I think we decided that we just want to make sure that they work for B main, and
Stream
that's what happened. And found the
कौन
kills,
आ
and we
देख
managed to
रहे?
close it out.
Big brain
स्ट्रीम
plays
क्या
from you,
लिख रहा है?
Alex. Congratulations on map
टीम
one and best of
स्प्रिंग
luck for the
सेल
second one.
शुरू हो गई है। अरे वाह, अपन मैं
Coming into
गरीब
this
हूँ।
one, we were unsure of what was going to happen with PaperX, what their fate would be, but we didn't respect their game. And
Prediction
for
कर रहे हो
that, I
second half?
apologize. By the PaperX skin.
I got
मुझे
Bye.
लगा ये
I
जीतेगी।
TRX
was a little
जीतेगी,
worried
2-0
for a bit
से खत्म
there,
करेगी।
but that
नहीं,
first
कुछ
half
पे कर
was
दो
a thing of beauty.
prediction।
So I will
कल
give
किया
them the
था
flowers
और
for
मैं
that one.
जीती थी।
That being said, though,
अभी
EDG
एनॉनमस
certainly
ने
made
किया
it
था
easy
ना
for them, but you
पिछले
could definitely
मैच
see
में।
exactly what Coach Alex was saying.
Yeah.
They were giving too much respect, and they were
मेरे को
paying
400
as
मिले,
a result of
400।
that.
Yeah, exactly. You would think if they might have gone
250
मेरे
लगाए थे, 400
1.1
मिले।
के हो
Gecko
गए।
on a
सारे
but
लगा
it's
दूँ?
something that we have seen in the past from them.
मैं तो सारे
It's
लगा रहा हूँ,
definitely
PX
something that they need to do, as Coach Alex was saying.
रेड
हाय
आई
They
भाई,
do
अमर
not
जा
have
आ
to
गए।
need someone to
रेड
be
रेड
that
रेड, अरे
impact
अरे
player, and I
अरे
think that it is so
तरुण
important that
रेड आ
once
गई?
you
नहीं तरुण है।
ask the right question. It is
तरुण
round
मैं
20.
कह
It
रही
is the
थी
round
कि
that changes
मैकल की
everything
रेड
for
करवा
PaperX
दो।
because they were not finding success after getting that pistol round, and this is exactly what they needed to do. Just putting pressure
बैट कहाँ
in
लगाते हैं
every
वैसे?
side of the map, sorry, on the sides of the map, in pushing
वो
EDG
chat
to
points
push onto mid.
Yeah, just having that
होते
B
रहो।
main control is so important because you can stack
इन
plays
पॉइंट
into
से
the top
मिलता
section of
क्या
mid.
था?
And it's exactly what they were talking about. And as soon as this comes through,
वो
अमर
सारे
का
just
सोलह
क्या?
पॉइंट
beautifully with just a double
क्या
flash
लिखा
play,
है मरते
peeking
ने?
together, making sure they take the fights, not showing a respect anymore, just to
जी
try and get it over that
जी,
finish line.
अरे
in a
अरे
follow-up
अरे
round, which
अमरत्या,
we didn't actually
जो
pull,
भी
but
कहो
it's the exact
मजा
same
आया।
शुरू हो गया
scenario.
हाँ
मैच?
अरे यार,
नहीं,
अच्छा
अभी
इसलिए
Really
बोल
forcing
रहे हो
EDG
आप
to take control
यार।
of that one. They
भाई
never
क्या
lost EDG
था
on
वो,
their
मैं
attack
डर
side.
गई
Analyst
थी
वो
आज।
कर
मैंने
रहा है
आपको
अभी।
भी
That
कॉल
was the
की, मैंने
turning point for
शिवानी को
EDG to
की,
end up
मैंने
taking that
अपने
map.
भाई
But
को
there
की,
was some
मैंने
signs and
सबको
weaknesses, I
कॉल
would
कर
say,
दिया और
just at least
सबका
on
फोन
that
स्विच ऑफ
half.
एंड आई वाज
But
लाइक
definitely form
क्या हो गया?
focus-wise,
मैं तो
PaperX
लगा
come here to play. They got some shooters on their teams, man. They're going pound to pound
म्यूट
नहीं
with
कर
a
रही
team
हूँ।
like EDG. It was a
नहीं,
concern of mine, I think,
don't।
as well. But listen, the
ओके,
mechanical ability is
आई विल
all there,
टॉक
I think, for
लेटर
PaperX.
तरुण
Yeah,
अबाउट
it
दिस।
certainly has been. And you can even see them too, like they're laughing, they're having a good time. That is incredibly important because you got to keep the spirits high, especially when you're in these tense situations on that stage. But let's jump over to the other side, though, for our Aim Lab shoot around. We're going to check in with Kong here and talk about EDG going into their pick on Bind. This, you know, think that we were prepared to
PRX
see
के भरोसे
EDG supremacy.
लगा दिया मैंने पैसे।
And even though we didn't quite
एम
give it
लैब्स
one,
दिखा
I'm
रहे हैं
not
किसी
trying
के।
to sell the stocks quite yet here, Brent. I do believe that EDG
कौन है
can
बंदा?
very well bounce back. Bind could be the map that they do it, and
EDG
Kong
का।
could be the catalyst.
ये
Take
मूवमेंट
मैंने
ही
पूरे
नहीं
लगा
है।
दिए भाई।
I believe he plays the KO on Bind, and they have Smoggy playing the Wraith.
सारे भी लगा
इस पे
दूँ?
PRX पे लगा दिए।
मैं तो पूरे लगा दिया। मेरे पे 600 थे, 600 के 600 लगा दिए।
But it's about that setup as well
मैं
with the flashes
कितने?
and the plays. I
मैं
think we
500
might see
लगा
दोनों
दूँ।
की परसेंटेज
अबे
देखो
नीचे
पास
the
पास
win
के।
conditions. You know,
नीचे
how much
अमाउंट
we were
है
talking about
प्रेडिक्ट
respecting
करता
the
हूँ।
retake
शिट,
protocols
मैंने EDG
with
पे
the
लगा दिया।
util coming in. Bind when you're playing on the attack side is
Unique,
pretty
छी।
heavily, especially with the comps that they play
हेटर,
with initiating.
PRX हेटर
Make sure
मिल
you
गई
disrupt
हम
the
लोग को।
retake time.
What the heck?
Through B or A,
UniqueWorm
by
exposed।
side A control.
एक सौ
Unique
साठ
Worm।
पॉइंट,
That one was, you know,
एक
cracking
सौ
Post
साठ
Among Us।
पॉइंट।
foot. There's a shout out for you.
गया तेरा बुरा लगा। अच्छा हुआ तूने पूरा नहीं लगाया।
भाई मैं तो क्लिक करते ही गई।
Yeah, a long time ago now. No, you can't.
Karen wasn't playing the game.
Wasn't even playing. Wasn't even born then, apparently. Yeah.
क्या पता
Well,
EDG
let's
जीतता
go
है।
ahead and see what
भाई
comes after.
PRX पे 6000 तेरा भी आ जा
भाई
भाई।
एक मिनट, कौन बोला ये PRX EDG जीत जाए? एक्सक्यूज मी, मेरे 600 लगे हैं। मैं डूब जाऊंगा भाई।
कौन बोल रहा है EDG जीत जाए?
भाई
अरे मैं कह
6000
रहा
लगा
हूँ।
दी, 600 पे बढ़ रहा है भाई ये देख।
अरे
अरे मेरे पे इतने पॉइंट नहीं है ना, मैं तो सारे लगा देता।
भाई मैंने टाटा
वो
पावर क्या
मेरे पास
महिंद्रा एंड
CS के
महिंद्रा
जो
पे
वो
लगाया
है ना जो लाइव करते हैं टाटा पे।
हाँ।
हाँ। जो CS के अकाउंट्स थे मेरे उस पे तो पता नहीं
वही
1-1
तो
लाख
बात
पॉइंट्स
है।
पड़े हुए हैं।
भाई
EDG
भाई
लगा दिया यार।
पिच
रिवॉर्ड
अकाउंट्स।
होता है क्या? कुछ मिलता है क्या बाद में?
हाँ नहीं इस पे मतलब की चैट होती है ना चैनल।
अरे पर इससे क्या कुछ बाय बाय करते हैं क्या इससे?
हाँ नहीं मजे के लिए तो
ये देखो
सेफ है ना।
मुझसे से पतली लड़की।
असली पैसे
ओ
कमाना।
मतलब
तू भी ये चालू कर दे
क्या?
ऐसे चिल्लर बांट और उसके बाद ना ऐसा एक गिफ्ट विफ्ट बांट दे इसमें
यूट्यूब पे
41%
उसमें
रिटर्न मिल गया।
बाकी
वाह
चैनल्स होते हैं ना,
मर्दा, ये भी सही है।
वो लोग तो करते हैं कुछ ना कुछ, मतलब रिडीम कर सकते हो पॉइंट से।
हाँ हाँ, वही रिडीम वाला ही बोल रहा था।
लेफ्ट वाली का हेयर स्टाइल कितना
दो
अच्छा है।
टाइप के पॉइंट्स, बट
इस पे
एक
है
तेरा
नहीं।
वॉचिंग आवर का पॉइंट रहेगा, एक तरह ऐसा नॉर्मल पॉइंट जिसको रिडीम कर सकते हैं।
एक ना ट्विच अगर तुम देखने वाले तो एक वो आता है एक्सटेंशन क्रोम पे और एज पे, एक सेकंड, बेटर टीवी
Certainly something that they're going to need
बेटर
to have to
टीवी,
clean up
ओके।
to get ready
एक्सटेंशन
for
है
buying
वो
because PaperX
डाल लो,
it just seems like
उससे क्या
they're
है कि
just
तुम्हारा
vibing
ऑटो
out there,
रिडीम
so
होंगे
you really
पॉइंट्स,
got to try and
और
catch
कोई
them.
अगर ड्रॉप होता
भाई
है
Yeah,
तो वो
exactly.
भी
If we
ऑटो
think
रिडीम
that
होते हैं
attack
सारे।
and have that we saw in
अरे
the first
यार
map was
पीआरएक्स
something
पे
just
वोट
wait
ही नहीं
until you
कर
see 2 and a
सकती
half
अब, मेरे
initiators
गए
because I
160
count
रुपए
Pure as
पानी
a
हो
half
गया।
initiator with all
Sorry.
that utility.
Oh,
160 रुपए की ले रही है।
रेना आई है
लॉगिन
भाई।
This is something that I believe they ran
लॉगिन
something
करने
super
के बाद
similar to
मिलते
this,
हैं
if
पॉइंट्स।
not the exact same
एक
comp with the
सेकंड
Reyna
रुकना,
and
मैं
the
तुम लोगों
Hana.
की
Yeah,
थोड़ी
I mean,
आवाज
I
बढ़ाऊं।
love to see PaperX pull out the Reyna
हेलो
comp, especially like this double control with the
बाइंड
Hana
आ रहा है, बाइंड
and
आ रहा है।
the
अबे
Brimstone as
चीकू
well,
खेल रही है।
because they have some cool stuff that they pull out. I mean, it's been a while now.
वही कह
You're
रहा
gonna
था
hang a
मैं।
scout of VODs if you have
क्या
time
खेल
for that.
रहे
You're
हो?
gonna be jumping into the game.
चीकू
चीकू
But
चीकू
EDG are
चीकू
running
इस
their
बार ब्रिम
standard
ली
stuff
है
as
यार,
well,
साइफर
which
नीचे।
puts Kang Kang onto that KO as well. All eyes on him, I think, in trying to support that one. This is
चीचू
going to be
है
interesting.
वो।
I
साइफर
think this is really cool that PaperX are pulling back the
ब्रिमस्टोन
strap
केओ।
poker almost onto this one. With all the
सेम है,
discussion we've had
जस्ट वीक
around the
ब्रिमस्टोन
का
हर
map,
बार दो
41%
कंट्रोलर
गेन
ले रहे हैं
किया।
भाई,
way to
PRX
offset it
दो
is by pulling out an
कंट्रोल।
old comp
Nice.
that you've pushed
हमेशा
out
दो ही
before.
ले रहे हैं,
Totally,
पिछली
and you
बार
may
भी
not
दो
have a
लिए थे।
sentinel, but you do
I
have
see
एक
that
the
ability
इनिशिएटर
that you're going to
सेंटिनल लिए ही नहीं है भाई
support her
लोग।
as much as you can, especially when you're on the defense. But
मैं
if they
समझने
manage
की
to do
कोशिश
exactly
कर
what
रहे
they did
हैं
on map
क्या
1,
इससे
they
मेरे को
only
सीख
need to
सकते
have a super
मतलब
कौन सा
कॉन्फिडेंस
कर रहा
देख रहे
है
हो?
भाई, लाइव अटक
here
रही
on the
भाई
attack. I
लाइव
think that the
वाला थोड़ा
initiating power, it's still there. I think it lacks a little
गेम
bit,
मत
but
खटाओ।
probably if EDG
sorry,
were
sorry.
super keen to go into this map, if the preparation was there, something has to change incredibly fast
स्टेज
and
तो
adapt
बढ़िया है
if
भाई।
they want to take this to map 3.
हमेशा ही होता है इनका।
This is going to be quite
भाई
fascinating
लड़की
to see
अच्छी तो
how
है
this,
ना?
you know,
बढ़िया है।
crumbles or potentially rises up for both of the teams here.
कन्वर्जेंस
This is
देखा
going to
था
be
किसी
really,
ने?
really fun to watch. And good thing is, we're
उसका
going to jump
स्टेज
right
भी
into the
बहुत
action.
बढ़िया था।
And let's send it back over to Mitch and Tom.
भाई कौन
नहीं, नहीं
बनेगा
देखा।
करोड़पति जैसी वो है स्टेज।
बराबर बराबर। बस ऑडियंस नहीं दिख रही यहाँ पे, ऑडियंस थोड़ा सा स्टेडियम एडियम बना के बैठी है। अबे
एक
WWE
कंप्यूटर
नहीं लग रहा
ये
है?
कंप्यूटर
मैं
स्क्रीन बहुत
बोलने
ज्यादा
वाला था
है।
हेली में सेल का।
WWD है, ऊपर WWE है और नीचे कौन रहना करोड़पति है।
भाई पोस्टर देख रहे हो?
Gone downhill a little bit, so they've gone with the fade instead. But these are all
इसके
agents
फाइनल्स
that
वाले
they've
डे
run on this map before. It's
लॉन्च
just
होगा
this
ना नया वाला वो।
combination that
देखो
I
कैसे
think is
जा
a
रहा
little
है
bit
छुप छुप
different.
के।
Of course, something on this map on Reyna.
चीचू।
It doesn't matter the map. I'll be honest. He's always
3
terrifying.
सप्रेस हुए भाई।
चीचू को उल्टा कर दो।
I think Reyna in
हाँ?
general
जी।
is my least favorite agent, but there's certain players that can make me enjoy
क्या?
watching
Sorry.
them. Light was one.
कुछ नहीं, ऊंच नीच का
Something
पापड़ा
certainly
पूरा।
is another.
बहुत
Good control
ही
over the site, but long is left open for the side of PaperX. They don't know that EDG
उल्टा
have
करने
two
को बोला है
players
ना।
still stacked up there,
भाई
but it looks
साहब,
like
तू
they
तो
want to
भाई
take
समझ
some
रहा
control
मैं
of their
सेव
own,
कर रहा हूँ,
pushing
चुप
through the
रहेगा।
spawn smoke in towards Elbow.
अरे
बोल,
अभी
बोल,
बोल के
बोल,
बताता हूँ यार।
Rear
ओ
rotate.
ओ
O O H E I H C
Awkward position. These
वही
these
ऊंच नीच का
defenders
पपड़ा
are
भाई।
scattered, but they can clutch.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
ऊंच
Nice.
नीच हाँ रियल भाई।
Left it.
अरे
Still back down to a 3v3 already. Another
Nice.
kill coming through.
मर गए भाई, अब तक मैं होता तो
W
मार
key
देता
hasn't been let go for the
चुप।
majority of
अपनी
this round,
टीममेट
and
को।
now with an advantage device still
जैसे
left
आज
behind. I
मार
don't
रहा
even think
था।
they know that he's
सब
here with
नाइस।
the smoke fading. It's a
कोई
competition
competition
to come back from chaos
नाइस
in the
नाइस।
pistol round, but of course that's where
उनको पता ही नहीं
PaperX
था
live.
पीछे।
Yeah,
ये
chaos
flank
is
होता है।
exactly the right word. I mean, that was a hard one for me
हम
looking
मर
at all the
जा।
players on the mini map. I can see everything, and it's you're still trying to put together the pieces as they chop and
Oh,
change
bye,
different
bye.
parts of the map control. But I can only imagine what that looks like from EDG's perspective. You just do not know what the next step from PaperX's dance is going to be.
सही में
One
सुनने
इनका
लग रहा
जर्सी
है।
कितना कूल है यार।
side has found their legs. Now they've got some rifles to play with. One pistol.
PRX
That's
का?
going to be on something. Or EDG
हाँ, होली पे
don't
पहन
decide
सकते
to
हैं।
invest very
ये
much at all.
ग्रैंड
Correct.
फिनाले तो
Sheriffs,
24 तारीख
and
को
they'll
है,
try to
अभी
find
तो
value by taking that orb early on
स्टैंड
B.
ऑफ चल रहे हैं
Perhaps even push
कोई
down
नहीं,
on
हम
top.
देखेंगे।
कोई तो
Grab
रिलीज
another,
होना है ना
we'll see.
नया वाला वो एजेंट।
प्लेऑफ्स चालू होने 21 से
Yeah, of course,
25।
he was surprised by that.
नाइस नाइस नाइस। अरे वो रीना को मार दिया ना।
Something to take a risk. Of course, he was only with
How to
a
pronounce?
pistol in this round.
Da they
Actually,
they
Nice.
just to try and
die.
clear the
Oh.
close angles and go above it. They
पता
are
नहीं।
taking some casualties, and
वही
actually the
है,
weapon
रुक
has
Twitch.
Whatever it is.
मार दे इसको 27 एचपी है मार अरे बच गए
दवाई यार एक दवाई क्या नाम है उसका? डावी?
दवाई
हाँ दवाई
1% of what we saw there. I mean, this is just ridiculous. EDG certainly have some fight left in them, and the best part about it is that one of the most
किसी दिन यहाँ
valuable
लिखा आएगा
ultimates comes online because of that.
W0
Now has an
RM
orbital strike to play with. This could be big for this squad. I think for Paperex, they've got to be kicking themselves. Sure, the initial fight, something goes ahead of the smoke, gets caught off guard, but he had a pistol. It's whatever. Yeah, ideally,
अबे
another player
EDG
beside,
जीत
whatever.
गई।
We can look
अगर
past it,
PRX जीतेगी तो मैं
but
पढ़ना
everything
चालू
from
कर
that
दूंगा।
point forward was a domino
बीजी
that
की क्या बात कर रही है?
अभी किताबें निकाल ले फिर।
Luckily for them,
कौन जीतेगा
Sentinel did
PRX?
also do a lot of damage, so he's going to have the reckoning online.
Something is exciting
भाई
with an
I
outlaw
am back
arena.
रेस का भी लाइनअप होता है क्या?
अबे ये क्या था?
अरे भाई
ये तो हवा में क्यों फटा?
ये 2-0 है
First kill
PRX
going the way,
जीती
but the space already been taken.
हाँ
And of course,
हाँ
the
और
reckoning
फेंकेगी
just
तो
नहीं
वो
कह रहा ना
look how
EDG
close up.
अबे ये
PRX
मरेगा यार।
जीतेगी
Gonna
तो
be able
पढ़ने
to get
बैठेगा।
just cause them issues. This by not a particularly good one, but
मनी
now in
नोटी
the
हो रहा।
afterplant, very scary.
ये हार्वर के जो कॉल्स होते हैं वो
This is
हिंदी में होते
where
हैं क्या?
EDG can't really afford to swing an
हैं?
angle
सच
out in
में?
the open.
वॉइस
There's
लाइंस
not much
होती
of
हैं
a
कुछ
choice.
कुछ बीच
Looks
में
like orbital
हिंदी में।
strike being online early is going
जैसे
to be
कि?
used to try and give them an advantage, but it pushes the bookie forward into
इतना
their
तो याद
arms. And that's not where you want this to be. Up
क्या याद है
close
भाई
and
आपको?
personal, Munyet.
गया
Instead of a
गया
timing
कोई तो
to
गया।
worry about. These players on the
भाई
other
साहब
side, I mean, if
ओ
one
यार ये
sees he's in a lot of
कैसे
trouble, but
प्रैक्टिस
he's
करते
made it
होंगे?
out. Something's grabbed another from far away.
हाँ?
And it's as easy as can
Oh.
be. Already tagging
ओ
up.
ब्रो
Nice.
Classic.
ये प्रैक्टिस कैसे करते हैं बताओ?
13-0 13-0
After what I saw in the second,
लगता है आवाज नहीं आ रही किसी को।
I don't
कैसे
know.
प्रैक्टिस?
इग्नोर कर रहे हैं तेरे को सारे।
Kill the Bucky in a classic in the same round versus a full buy.
एक सेकंड
These
गाली
are
के
the
लिए
rounds
तैयार
as well that
करो।
just shake you. Like you're going into a map that has been
आ रही
strong for
है।
you within your
सबके आ
region,
रही है।
strong for you historically, EDG, but you've just been owned immediately by an outlaw, a Bucky, and a
भाई ये
classic.
आउटलॉ तो
Like,
मेरे से
you
चलती
can't
ना
really
कभी
feel good
जिंदगी
about a
में।
round like
ये लोग
that.
कैसे
It's
चला
so
रहे हैं?
ridiculous. As long as the teammate's done damage,
PRX
वो लोग देख के भी नहीं बोला हाथ मिला रहे हैं।
one shot you and
हाँ, बहुत
immediately
फनी
get
लगता
out
है
of
ना
there. I mean, you're already
एयर
moving
में।
quick with an outlaw. It's already buffed, but he's just going doubling down.
ये
on it.
आउटलॉ को बफ कह रहे
Paper X
हैं।
3-0, but EDG
क्या उसका
managed to
क्या
upset
बोलते
them
हैं
down to just one player
लोडिंग
left
टाइम
and
को
a lot
कम किया ना
less.
हल्का।
And oh, he's
He
gone
went in
through.
between.
That's perfect, like a scene out of Ocean's
कम
12.
हुआ है उसका रिलोड टाइम।
कितना 2 पॉइंट कुछ सेकंड था अभी 1.8 सेकंड है।
भाई क्या मार रहा है वो? गया भाई राउंड ही गया।
I don't know how these rounds are going down in the fashion they are. Howdom still alive.
ओह
Cleared the space
भाई
within the same position.
आए ये क्या था? फ्रीज हो गया वो।
इको में मार दिया भाई सबको।
हिंदी डब लगाओ। हम बोल रहे हैं ना हिंदी डब में।
50 कर दिया भाई।
There's a MasterCard thrift.
कमेंट्री कौन कर रहा है?
वही नहीं यार वो जो अपना रिएक्शन है ना वो भी वही दे रहा है यार।
Why do they even buy rifles? Look at this. 20
ऐसे
HP.
पिछला गेम भी ऐसे
Just
शुरू
once
हुआ
again,
था।
20 HP. And another player
भाई
goes
ये
out.
तो मेरी तरह
This is
शर्फ
the
मार रहा
first
है।
shot, immediately correct. This is disgusting.
क्या
This
बात
is
क्या
disgusting. It's filthy. You can't do that like.
हिंदी डब लगा ले अमरचा। हम बोलते थे भाई 160 का गिव अवे कर दो into 3। अरे 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 160 का क्या चाहिए आपको? Today I again lost my best friend. Where?
Now do have a buy. Munya going to be taking the space this
Lost
time. He
your
is
best
caught,
friend
but
मतलब?
not really anybody
फंस गया
available to
भाई।
capitalize off the back of it.
Ah,
They're using that cove again
गया
just
ये।
to take initial
Ow.
space. They're not stopping
Oh,
though. Running straight in on
अरे
Spoggy. I think that
बच
was
गया।
Munya battling for the sport.
ये भाई।
It was. He was going all the way through.
Yeah.
He's being caught, but Mind Freak.
Longo.
Catching nobody. This is a
विनेबल
big
विनेबल।
kill. They've got an extra
है
angle to
है।
fight from that. So
अरे
oh!
मैं बस तो मर जाएगा करके उल्टा घूम के मार दिया भाई।
मौली में बैठा बैठा
Low
वो भी।
HP on Mind Freak and Forsaken, but the post plant is the real danger.
Oh,
Lockdown, peeking one at a
PRX भाई
time,
PRX।
and ensuring that spike is not diffused.
दीदी how are you?
ऐसे
मैं तो
तो
ठीक हूँ। आप कैसे हो सिद्धि?
Surely this
ऐसे
is
आ रहे हैं
where
वो।
रिडीम
we
कोड
return
दे
to
दो
normality.
160 का। क्या खरीदना है आपको?
Good
फ्रेंड
one.
छोड़कर
Two
गया है
showstoppers
या
online.
गया?
I don't know what the hell I'm
है
thinking.
गया है या गया?
The Empress
आए?
as well. Oh wow.
Angie.
Oh yes, you're saying well, to be fair.
Eh?
Some-
क्या रिएक्शन टाइम है
It
इनका?
is the one and only time
मेरी तरह।
that actually makes sense.
तो
I can't
सपनों में
like
भी ऐसे
how
नहीं
they just
करता।
run through into a Molotov to try and get that kill.
ये जिंग भी कर रहा है
The
PRX
riskiest
के।
play of the round, and at the moment,
Like and subscribe guys, like and
चिपका के
subscribe.
खेल रहे हैं ना स्क्रीन से
ऐसे ही खेलते
मेरे
हैं.
को टेंशन हो रही है
तेरा जो चश्मा है वो जितना मोटा है उसका डबल मोटा हो जाएगा.
It must feel like you've turned up for like
वही
6th
तो
grade exams and you're a first grader. It's like, what the hell am I watching? My mind
ऊपर
doesn't
नहीं
work at
गया.
a high
अरे
enough
फ्रेंड
level
ने
to
छोड़ दिया.
understand
ऊपर नहीं
the
गया. अरे
chaos unfolding in front of us.
रूपा की
इसके
चड्डी.
चश्मे की बात हो रही
Let's
है.
hope they've
रूपा
got
की
an
चड्डी?
idea of the tweaks that need to be made here. It's only 4-1, but we saw PaperX run away with it in the first half. Last map,
ये
and
सारे
despite
चश्मे
EDG having
बनते
a
हैं
big
भाई.
resurgence, they were never
इतनी
really
पास
able
से
to find
देखेंगे
their
तो
feet.
चश्मा ही लगेगा.
This has to be a different story for them.
मैं भी लगाता हूँ ब्लू रे वाला.
तभी इंडियन प्लेयर नहीं बन पाते. मम्मी मार मार के
हाँ वही प्रॉब्लम आती है.
हाय करप्टेड नियो, हाउ आर यू, हाउ आर यू.
करप्टेड.
डू बाय बाय एंड से तू नहीं तो कोई और सही. हाँ हेलो थंडरब्लेड कैसा है? हाँ ये क्या चल रहा? मास्टर्स मैड्रिड, मास्टर्स मैड्रिड. अमरत्या भी मांगते शर्म नहीं आती क्या? अरे 160 का रिडीम कोड का लूंगा रूपा की चड्डी. अबे भाई रूपा की चड्डी के लिए गिव भी करूँगा.
You can end up coming up against Loud. Potential elimination.
मेरे पास पुराने रखे हुए ले लियो.
That's not a comfortable position for anyone to be in.
बस थोड़े बहुत छेद है. बाकी ठीक है. ओए ओह दोनों मर गए.
दोनों सुसाइड बॉम्बिंग हो गई भाई.
ये वॉच पार्टी हो रही. हाँ वॉच पार्टी हो रही. मास्टरपीस.
नाइस
अरे नहीं तो बता रहे हो. ओके.
अरे
व्हाट द हेक. ओह मरा.
नाइस विनेबल प्लान कर रहे हैं यार.
पहली बार आया हूँ स्ट्रीम पे. थैंक यू करप्टेड न्यू. आते रहा करो. आज तो वॉच
एक
पार्टी
शॉट
चल रही
एक शार्प है.
अभी सुन रहा है वो. हाँ
अरे तो दोनों मर गए.
ओके नाइस. ओके यू.
अरे यार.
This time someone was looking at him, but he still wins the fight. As a round will be found for EDG, that gap not going to be extending. PaperX have an opponent hot on their heels. Yeah, I mean, the other thing for PaperX as well, coming into this round, you've got some...
यार एक बात बताओ, मैंने क्लेम किया एंड टाइटल, किसमें मिलेगा ये बताओ मेरे को. एंड टाइटल
एंड टाइटल तो आधा घंटा देखना पड़ेगा स्ट्रीम. आधा घंटा
ठीक है. मैंने क्लेम कर लिया, लेकिन मिलेगा कहाँ पे ये बता. कब तक अकाउंट में मिलेगा?
टाइटल वाले में जाएगा ना तो तू अपने आप वो लगा सकता है. तेरे आईडी में आ चुका होगा जो उनसे कनेक्ट.
सारे आईडी
Smoggy's got a showstopper.
नहीं एक ही में जो कनेक्टेड है.
कनेक्टेड किया है. मेरे को क्या पता कौन सा कनेक्टेड है.
अरे
Big safety nets to fall into.
मैंने कनेक्ट कब किया ये बता मेरे को.
लॉगिन कराना ट्विच टू जिस जीमेल से उस जीमेल पर.
ओके आऊंगा कभी.
बेसिकली माही पे
लेना टाइम
आएगा.
डन टाइम मिलेगा तो पक्का.
यार यूजर आईडी से नहीं होता है इसका.
भाई मैं इतने दिनों से स्ट्रीम पे आता हूँ. मेरे को कोई हाय हेलो नहीं करता. यूनिक के अलावा क्या इतना बुरा हूँ मैं? अरे मैं करती हूँ ना स्ट्रीम में.
कौन है भाई अभी बता. नाम बता.
अमरत्या.
अमरत्या
वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम.
हेलो अमरत्या.
हेलो भाई.
साले अमरत्या तेरे को कौन सा भाई लग रहा है?
आज दिवान
लड़का है वो.
आया नहीं. ये गेंडा लड़का बड़ा क्यूट है. गेंडा लड़का जियान है वो.
भाई क्या हो गया.
इन लोगों को लगता नहीं. अरे भाई 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 भाई. ओ भाई साहब वो रेडी था कि वहाँ पे आया हुआ.
ये कुछ लाइनअप से जो सीखना पड़ेंगे यार.
ICYS.
हाय व्हाट्स अप, हाउ यू डूइंग? वेलकम टू द लाइव.
देखो हम दोनों ही वैसे हैं.
ब्रो व्हाट द हेक. गए बच गए.
2v2 भाई 13 सेकंड से.
उसकी हेल्थ 4 सेकंड की हेल्थ.
प्लांट देना पड़ेगा भाई जल्दी.
ओके
अबे रिवील हो गया.
प्लांट हो गया.
नहीं होगा प्लांट.
कहाँ हो गया यार.
खत्म हो गया भाई.
साला आधे घंटे से बैठा हूँ स्ट्रीम पे। भाई मेरे को भूल गया, तेरे को अमृता से अमृत्या बनाया मैंने। रिया गई। हेलो अमृत्या।
अमरत्या लड़का ही है ना?
हाँ लड़का है।
हाँ ठीक है भाई।
देख मैं प्रैक्टिस करेगा वैलो की और फिर मैं हराएगा चारों बंदों को जो अभी।
अरे कल से प्रैक्टिस चालू भाई।
कल से देखो, ये तो कल से कर रहे हैं ऐसी भाई, तो आज से ही कर रहे हैं।
हाँ
नहीं आज मैं पूरी नींद लूंगा 8 घंटे की। 3-4 घंटे सो के, मतलब सही नहीं हो पा रही।
गाइस
मैं भी ऐसे ही मारता हूँ यार।
अरे मेरे को लगा मोए उसने मारा है, अनित ने मारा है।
स्वागत तो करो हमारा। हाय वैभव, कैसे हो वैभव? उसने वॉल ऐसे क्यों करी हार्बर्ड ने? उसको पता नहीं है राइट साइड में हो सकता।
उसको कुछ तो हमसे ज्यादा ही पता होगा, इसलिए किया होगा।
अजरल भाई ले तुम अपना मुंह बंद रखो यार।
गया कोई तो गया।
तुम्हें ज्यादा पता है यार।
कौन सा मिलता वो? अरे निकलना।
भाई वो स्मोक कर रहा था।
मार देगा।
हाँ मुझे लग रहा है।
वो 3 पे यार, 3 पे अल्ट मत मार। गया गया।
भाई क्या चल रहा है? खास मत। ओके कोमल सॉरी।
ओके तो देख रहे हो ना, प्रेडिक्शन जिस पे किया वो जीत रहे हैं।
सॉरी शक्तिमान बोल दो।
यूनिकवॉर्म छाया चैनल पर आपका आपल स्वागत आहे वैभव। थँक ब्रो। अरे तुला मराठी येलो येते? या येते, मी येते। ये चीज कहाँ चल रही वैसे? लाइक ट्विच पे देख रही हूँ यार, वैलोरेंट का ट्विच में वैलोरेंट का चैनल थंडरब्लेड। कहते ही जहर राउंड था। अबे कोई जहर राउंड नहीं था, हार गए हम। तुम्हारे माला जपने का फल मिला आज।
इतनी बढ़िया टीम है क्या?
तू येते।
We saw it on a Gecko in the past, but it does seem like the mantle has been passed over to Smoggy, which
मलपन मराठी येते। कोई सब्सक्राइब किया गाइस? समर थैंक यू फॉर सब्सक्राइबिंग।
movement to try and get out of there. On the other side though, we are seeing that reckoning. Now this was one of the major issues in some of the early rounds, is that reckoning for Forsaken. It just gives all the information and causes chaos.
इज्जत नहीं मिल रही?
अरे भाई सही में चलेगा।
Makes sense as well for Kankan not to be running that
उसकी बात का कोई
operator,
प्लान
just
नहीं
because
दिया।
even last round,
नहीं तो हम लोग उसकी इज्जत लूटे भी तो नहीं ना यार।
किसकी? क्या हो गया? कौन गया?
मयंक यार, हम लोग तेरे को इज्जत दे नहीं रहे थे तो इज्जत हम लोग तेरे से लिए भी थे।
अरे मयंक हम मजाक करते हैं भाई, क्यों चला जाते तुम? यूनिक तुझे मैक्स सब्सक्राइबर मराठी आहे तो यू शुड लर्न लिटिल मराठी। आई नो मराठी पोयम। मस्त। केशाला तुम्हाला मराठी। मराठी। ये रे पाऊसा। मराठी नहीं, अरे मराठी। डार्क शैडो हाय A to Z, ये क्या बोल रहा है? हैं? ये रे पाऊसा तुला दे पैसा। हाँ बताई वॉर्म।
PRX मार साले।
अरे भाई मारा क्यों नहीं है?
पता नहीं।
मार दे भाई। हाँ? अबे पागल हो गया।
मर गया PRX।
अच्छा ये तो इनका EDT का ही बंदा है।
अच्छा ये इनका है यार, मैं उसको मार क्यों नहीं रहा भाई? छी भाई छी, कितना गंदा आदमी हुआ है।
गए भाई करने वाले।
सब रोटेट मार लेंगे इतने में।
अच्छा ये तो प्लांट करना है।
वो रोटेट कर रहे हैं पीछे से।
भाई लाइनअप तो है।
बहुत आला मोटा। मुझे अपना बेस्ट फ्रेंड बना लो। अरे सिजी। हरे कृष्णा कोमल। आई जावली अरे आई जावली माने
It's the doubt as well.
Can I
Like,
follow
he's
you
not
because my
necessarily
parents says to
moving
follow
to
me?
It's just the doubt in his opponent's
Huh?
mind. They have to face the
Kiski?
other direction as well. Damage done
Ai
by the
जाओ,
guy, but not
जैसे
quite enough.
मम्मी आ गई।
Forsaken needs to pull off an absolute miracle on low
Ayo.
HP. And it's not going to be happening this time out.
Somebody
Oh,
tell
मेरा वाला
Purist if they win,
In the
I
first few
treat them
rounds,
मुंबई
EDG
से वड़ा
now
पाव।
take the lead.
अरे वाह तेरे मुंबई से वड़ा पाव का ही तो वेट कर रहे हैं वो लोग मुंबई का वड़ा पाव तो मेरे को खाना है
मेरे स्किन
And
से
a lot of
जीता
things
है
going
वो,
right
याद
for them.
रखना
They're
ये।
starting to get that control over the map, and even
सही
seeing
बात है
nobody,
सही बात
nobody
है
right now has one kill.
अबे
He
पागल
hit so many high
रीस्टार्ट
impact
करके
plays
आया
on
नथिंग
the previous
सीरियस
map,
आजा भाई
but
आ
they're still
जल्दी
able
आ
to put these rounds on the board. And I think how
ये क्या
Dom's
बोल
setup,
दिया
really, there hasn't been a solution
भाई
from the
इनसे
side of
ऑप्शन हो
Paper X.
यार
A couple times they've been able to send Munyet in, and he's able to make it ahead of these traps,
अरे
just
डार्क
barely
गाली दे
dodging them.
रहा
I can almost hear the Alamont playing in the background, but now they're starting to get caught because these
तो
traps are
गाली थी
moving.
ये
You're in
अबे
different
गाली बोल
positions
दी
each
थी
time,
मैंने
and that setup just isn't one that you can go
कौन
blitzing
सी?
into, which is what
पता नहीं
Paper
कोई
X
तो
very much
मराठी
like to do.
And it's
हम
what
मरते
they're going
अभी
to do
फ्रेंडशिप
again.
से मेरा
Early
भरोसा
nade over
उठ
the top will
चुका है
actually clear
अरे
out the trip. Trying to adapt
भाई पर ये
themselves.
नेट का लाइनअप भी अच्छा
Again,
था
though.
बुरा नहीं था
Don't have any ultimates on
सारे
live,
उसके
so
वो
it's
तोड़
What's
दिए
your
ना
age
ट्रैप
and the
cover?
null command. The trip, the second
अरे
one.
ये हर बार इसमें क्यों फंस जाता है
Free kill, how done
उफ,
again though?
यार ये लोग
An
ऐसे क्यों
audacious
कर रहे हैं
attempt
मेरे
trying
को
to
तो
catch them
समझ ही
off
नहीं आ
guard.
रहा
Chichu not taking the same risk. Waiting
क्या
for
कर
a
रहे
मेरे
little
को
bit of
लग
support.
रहा है
And already they're going to
कि ये
counter
लोग
out
ना वो
anything
कर
on the
रहे
other
हैं ट्रोल
side with that null
फिर एकदम
command.
से जीतेंगे ना
Yeah, no danger of those more aggressive
अरे
flashes coming through, and if someone
अरे
taking your
यार
sight away,
प्रो प्लेयर
not leering onto them.
भाई
No smokes for Mind Freak as he's down and out, and Divide does well to at least find one, but that player is resable.
गया
भाई
Well, that can pull Divide out into the open to attempt to
अरे
deny.
इसका
Down
ऑफ
to a
हटाओ
4
भाई
versus 1 with 11
हाँ
HP,
यार इसको
and
ऑफ
he's
हटाओ
even detected. Got ahead of the off at least.
वेरी नाइस ऑफ गई
But there's still
वो तो
3
उठा
more
लेंगे
players
तो
waiting
ना
for him. Spike in
ट्राई
Forsaken's
मी
possession at
तेरे दो
least.
स्टोरी
XP
लिखा ना
बहुत कम
तूने
है
कि
And now I've ran out of
EDG
time.
will win because I want to see
He
split
was trying to pull a rotation
Okay,
with the TP, but
masterpiece.
nobody.
कोई नहीं मेरा
never
पैसा
left
डबल हो
that B
जाएगा
side.
EDG जीत गई तो
This could be a
Nice.
free draw though. It's starting to get a little bit messy for the side.
अरे देख ना भाई क्या कर
VDG,
रहा है
they've given up a
चक्कू में
couple of
घुमा
kills,
रहा है
not quite knowing where he is. The time is the issue, and more so, nobody on the flank. Like to get anything here.
गया ये
you
गया
need pretty much a miracle once more.
थोड़ा
Just
चुप
trying
चुप
to
बोल
find a
भाई
safe place to plant, and
ये
that doesn't
देखो
exist.
गया
Nobody's going to
आओ
be coming in from behind. Chicho with the wall bang, and it will be
अरे
EDG
अच्छा
extending that lead
पर वो
even
11
further.
किल
ऑफ
में
ले
एक
ली
लेके गया
और फेंक दी
That's 5 in a row. The timeline looking convincing. They've come up with solutions, and this comp gives them so much to fall back on. The ult out of Concon, you can see why you want him alive late into the round.
इसकी
Even as he
option
gets
है
res back up,
Diana
immediately lobs out the knife and
आप
finds
नहीं है
exactly where that final player is, nullifying any potential for Forsaken to catch them off guard.
भाई मैंने 600 लगाया
6-4 on the scoreline.
बाय चल
When Paper X
रक्षा
might even have
अरे
gone
भाई
coming into this round, but they haven't. And
आपने
there's a lot
बोला
of
था मेरे
weaknesses
नुकसान
for
का
them.
भरपाई
भाई ये
कौन
बॉल
करेगा
किस काम की जो
मैं-
इन्होंने
मैंने की
लगाई
थी
The wall
तुमने वो वॉल
कौन
देखी
सी?
ये वाली
but they still
हाँ
have
हाँ
to swing
देखा
in
अबे
to
फिर
smoke.
भी तो मर ही
And
गए
that's
क्या
where the
फायदा
real trouble begins.
इको चल रहा है इनका
ओ भाई
या
Okay.
क्या मारा बे
भाई वो भी
नहीं।
हेडशॉट था
ऑफ ले ली ऑफ
क्या
ले ली
ये
भाई हेडशॉट
क्या
था भाई
मतलब 50 होने वाला है
Something down.
या भाई
They've gone
साहब
for the TP, but this is somewhat of a ruse.
पाइथन हेलो
Left
पाइथन
Monyet
कैसे
behind.
हो
It seems like
सिजुका
it's
है
being
आप
watched
अरे
for, but the other two players
नॉट रियली
looking to try and
रोटेटर है
head
ये लोग
ये गए ना वो
potentially
लोग
into the A side.
टीपी
Only
करके
ए
one
पे दो
defender.
बंदे
कौन?
हैं बढ़िया
Second.
नहीं
How
Slowly
are
बी
you?
पे
being
दो
pulled
बंदे
in.
हमसे तो नहीं पूछते
बी
हाउ
जा
आर
रहे
यू
हैं
हम बढ़िया आप बताएं
Good lob
वाओ
on
व्हाट अ
it,
शॉट
caused
वही
problems.
तो
You can see there's one in play, but now the
3v3
second comes
अब
down, and it's buying space
अरे
for Munyet to close the
रे
distance.
बस
Stinger
बस
in
हो
hand. This is
जाएगा
a perfect fight for
Ah!
him. But he goes into the
अरे
smoke for a moment. Two players ready and waiting. Molly through. That'll buy
वो
time,
बता
buy
दिया वो कि
space.
वहाँ पे दो
They now
बंदे
need. The advantage sits with EDG. Little tag onto mine.
ओपन अप द स्काई कर रहा है क्या
Smoke down as you
पैसा हो नहीं है इस पे
But
पॉइंट्स ही नहीं है
ultimately, a kill
अच्छा
needs to be
हाँ
found before EDG can amp back up to fight through. They're inside the cage. The
बाहर
finish is
अरे
तो
there.
है
भाई क्या
अरे
Better.
क्लाइंट
So
के ना
gorgeous. Another late round where you see the benefit
पेड़
of
बना
having
दिया है
Concon online. That flash was clinical.
Yeah, his
ये पेड़
utility's
वाली
been
स्किन का क्या नाम है
fantastic. Again, showing
गाया
Avengers
गाया
what is a player we know can run around
आंगली
and outgun
में
pretty
कैसे जैसे तुम है वैसे मैं हूँ आए
He's been in the setup. This
भाई ये शॉट
Wow.
हेड शॉट है वो भी
Absurd. And then the second one, it did It just shouldn't be allowed.
Nice
They
one.
must be happy they killed him through
वहाँ
the
पे
smoke.
रेज अगर
EDG.
किल निकाल
Otherwise,
लेता
I
ना
think
तो
something might have
हो
just
भाई ये मैच अगर
Yeah, with the way he
EDG
was
जीत गया ना
going,
मैं चले जाएगा
to
क्यों भाई?
headshot someone with his sheriff.
फिर मैं
Double
प्रैक्टिस करेगा
blast
ना
packed up in the
अरे
air.
नहीं थर्ड
अरे
राउंड
फिर
देखते
वो
हैं
अरे
ना।
वो फिर वो 4 सेकंड में जीताएगा ये सब बोल रहा है
But it is par for the course. At the
My
same
मैं
time,
अपने
favorite
despite some
meme
good
is
shots from something, it is
Gianna.
और आप
Apple.
दीजिएगा उसको
It's still
जिताने का
7-4. The advantage now doubled
Nice
up on
अगर
in this
Fabrizio.
final round for
एक
EDG. They
मैच को
claimed an
EDG
aura
जीत
and
गया
an
तो क्या
orbital
होगा?
strike on the
कुछ
back
नहीं
of it.
होगा तो
Cheat
स्प्लिट में
shoot.
टेंशन
Have
बनी
that to work
रहेगी।
with if they end up in a post plant, but hold on to fight.
Ah,
Rushing it
nice.
down,
Nice,
trying to take
nice.
these duels. In fact, it's
31,
Cheat
31.
Shoot. The ult
मारो मारो।
is now left on 30 HP. Panic plays it just to buy a little bit more time.
अबे
So they
यार।
go on the side it works. But Con
नाइस
is
क्या बोल
Nice
रहे हो
क्यों
भाई दो
बोल
बंदे
रहा है?
मर गए
There's no long push anymore. Cheat shoot. Oh my god, those bullets are coming so damn close.
ये भी गए
But they think he's dropped
गए
out.
गए
They
गए
spam too
गए।
much for him to still be in position. And he might just get the jump.
ओ भाई
The
ओ
second
भाई।
player
दो
in
बंदे
this
हैं
one.
भाई
They're gonna
गए।
burst in the smoke. Cheat shoot, the sacrificial lamb, and the trade through the smoke.
ट्रेड हो
And
गया
he almost doubles up.
Nice।
Con is shut down.
विनेबल विनेबल
To a 2v2.
इनको पता नहीं है साइड पे
He's
बैठे
managed to dodge it. He's always been a snake in the
Nice.
grass. He gets the
अरे
perfect
ये स्मोक डालते डालते मर
Oh shit.
जाएगा
goes to the
ओ,
repeat.
अरे
What the
यार
heck? अबे यार इसकी ऑफ छीनो भाई।
Deficit. It has been a complete
भाई मैं जा रहा हूँ मैं जा रहा हूँ
अरे नहीं
मेरा
रुक
हो
जा यार।
now onto the
अटैकिंग
board.
देख के जाओ भाई कहाँ
हाँ।
बिरयानी तो खा ले।
मेरा आइडिया चुरा रहा है
बिरयानी खा लो भाई
गया। हाँ मैं बिरयानी खाने जा रहा हूँ भाई बाय बाय
Aggressive, sneaking his way behind these players again and again. It's time for us to toss it over to the analyst desk to see what
एंड
they
मिलता है
make of
डिडू डिनर
EDG's
हुआ।
chances.
मेरा तो नहीं हुआ सिसी।
मैं आता हूँ यार
Angel
15 मिनट में
Chances looking
ठीक
pretty
है।
solid so far if they keep playing like that, Kukuka.
Angel can I
exactly.
follow
I
you
think that
because
there's been so
you
many
because my
like
parents
turnarounds.
says
We were
that
seeing
follow
how
your
they were
dreams.
interpreting the map, how
Okay.
they have all these ways of acquiring that information, but they were
हाँ
committing
हो
the
गया।
same mistake that they were making in the previous map, and it's leaving PaperX with a lot of space. Then they will take it, they will use it against you, and that is the reason why they were getting on those rounds. But Howdong, as we were saying, and as Mitch was highlighting, he was key to the turnaround. Not only because of the clutches that he won, is actually being at the exact right moment, right time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see numerous moments him holding down for the showers control, making it really awkward for PaperX to try and go for that big A exec that was working all the time in the first half, basically the first half of the first half. And he was just an absolute monster. I mean, an absolute difference maker. But got to give credit to EDG with the right adaptations in terms of their macro ideas. They decided to push up the aggressive offensive angles, out through showers, out through belong at the same time. Howdong was contributing, doing his piece as well. Really good moves by EDG to recognize what those weaknesses were, and they've set themselves up now with an 8-4. I mean, after losing
मेरा भी हो गया डिनर। क्या खाया सिसी डिनर में?
EDG, they're going to be going into
रिस्टार्ट
the next
करने गया था मेरे को
round.
आवाज
Set
नहीं आ रही
themselves up
थी।
for that map.
यार ये लोग
Yeah,
क्या
exactly.
इशू
And on
होगी
the other
इनकी?
side, we saw PaperX that started up super well. They were
छोटे।
aggressive, you know, a lot
21-22
of
साल
good
के होते हैं
utility. The
ज़्यादा
से भी
नहीं
कम लग रहे हैं मुझे
was
तो।
going a little bit
नहीं,
wrong.
इसके प्राइस नहीं है
Exactly,
भाई।
the things
Around
that
20
PaperX
तो
like. But I didn't see the effect.
काला
that
जादू
Arena
इज
was
रियल।
able to
ये
have. So we need to
मास्टरपीस
see
जितवा
what
रहा है
they
भाई
intend
काला
to do
जादू
with the
करके।
defense. Are they going to be extra aggressive?
काला
Are they going
जादू
to put a
करने
lot
वाले
of
तो
pressure
चले गए
onto EDG? And if that happens, what is going to be
अमरता
EDG's
आपकी
response? I
आज
think
स्कैम
that
हो
again,
गया।
we
क्या
look at
स्कैम
how
हुआ
the
देवांश?
Cypher. If those pushes are going to come in, of course we need to keep
काले
मैंने
जादू
करी राइस
Yeah,
खाया।
and, you know,
करी
listen, I'm with you. I want to see some
Nice.
aggression. I want to see PaperX just come out of the
करी
gate,
तो
punch
आज
them out,
TH
see
को
what
खाएगा
happens.
I think you will.
अरे
Yes.
करी तो आज
Have to
खेलेगा
at
ही
this point.
नहीं।
Otherwise, you're kidding
अरे
yourself
हाँ,
here.
वो
We'll
तो
see
नहीं।
what PaperX can pull up together. 2 rounds are right back in this bad boy, but EDG don't want to give him that time of day. Let's send it back over to Mitch and Tom.
Well, GB wants to see PaperX come hot out
कौन
of the
सा
gates. Punch him
स्कैम
right in the mouth.
देवांश
That's what he said, Tom.
की?
Are you expecting to see that face after such a
ये क्या
devastating
लाइन
first
पर है?
half?
Yes,
Because
yes,
you're getting
yes,
it
I am.
anyways.
Yes,
ये इतना आगे कैसे आ
just
गए?
immediately. Be sure is being pressured. Going to see some utility faked out, but again, they're just going to go running back. The thing is, the slow pace of EDG in the last map might just run true again. Being patient to try and garner extra space. There is a nade available for Munyet to slow them down, but once more, it's not just going to be the immediate run-through. Almost a complete opposite to what we saw from PaperX.
EDG are extremely patient, perhaps knowing that
ये
if
हवा
you leave that
ये हवा में
clock
कूदते हुए
run
कैसे
down low
वापस आ
enough,
रहा है?
PaperX are going to get
Jump
aggressive.
peek
TP is
कहते हैं
heard
इसे।
towards A, steps are made, but the flank is underway.
बेंच
Trap
को
is watching
सुबह
it.
तो भाई हर मैच
That's
में जाते ही
something
जाते हैं।
for them to work on. And the trap is destroyed. Here comes
Nice.
the quick
इतने अच्छे
triple
से
blitz on
मुझे
the
भी
back
नहीं।
as the players desperately hold on to control over the
Nice.
site. Reinforcements are on their way and just now arriving, but a quick switch from EDG sends them towards the defenders.
Oh,
okay.
Mistaken,
मिस कर दिया।
Second.
बात
strong
लगे भाई
inside of
क्या
labs. 4 4 kills on the frenzy.
Frenzy से
And
है
another pistol round for Paper
मेरी
X.
frenzy
Normally,
ऐसी
Tom,
नहीं
this is
चलती
where
पर
we'd be getting the violins out for EDG. They lost the
मेरी
pistol
तो
to
कोई
start
second
with.
की
They
तरह
lost
नहीं
the
चलती
3rd round to follow up. And now they lost another pistol. For most teams, that's a
तेरे
death
वीडियो कर
sentence.
दिया
Yet here they are with a 3-round lead.
Yeah, I think Forsaken
आवाज
just
तो आ
with
रही
his
है ना
frenzy,
भाई ये एक ही
unable to
जगह
हाँ,
कैसे
हाँ,
मार पा रहा है फिर मैं तो नहीं
he's
कर
just able to
पाती
take everything over the line. A much needed pistol.
ये बीसी किसको बोला आपने हमारे घर के पास एक प्रेस वाली है
EDG
भाई
though do
बस
an
है
awful lot with very, very little. But this would have to be one of the best of them.
Well, that pretty much puts a pin in
भाई
that
दो
one. He still
मर गए
has
एक ही
another
साथ
bullet.
में
That was a collat to start us off. A little bit of a longer reload now that he's
एक ही
fired both
गोली में
shots.
दो
But
मारती
he's
है
right
उसने
back into the fight just in time
अब
to
हाँ
catch
सही है
Con.
सही है
The ace, well, it's not
अरे
gonna
रुका क्यों
happen.
ये
Device
बीच में
swept in to
खत्म
steal it
भाई
away. But you know what? Forsaken's already got his ult online, so
तेरा
he
ही
doesn't really
है
need
तेरी
any more
मम्मी
kills.
का
Might as well
भाई
give
आई
them
एम
to
नॉट
someone else.
पीडीएफ
I don't know.
फाइल्स
Munyet with a showstopper?
Nice.
That sounds good, but that's only his first
चलो
ult.
बढ़िया
Nice.
बढ़िया अटैकिंग में निकलेगा ना
He
मतलब
has done that in both halves.
डिफेंडिंग में
डिफेंस कर रहे
सॉरी
हैं
डिफेंडिंग में
भाई ये
Result in
फिनिशिंग
round
फिनिशिंग
3,
वाला अच्छा
which
था
kind of makes you think maybe he hasn't done that much else for the
लस्सी
rest.
के बच्चे
Because if
हैं
you're getting enough kills to get your ult in round
लस्सी
3
के बच्चे
twice, but
मेरे को नोबेल
keeping
प्राइज
these
मिला
rounds
है
nice and
देवांश
clean,
हैं
नहीं देख
again, it's a flawless round to
मेरे को भी
ये तो
ऐसे
बैटल
ही
पास की
Paper X in
स्किन
a
लगाई है ना
decent
इसमें
spot. I am looking at their two
अभी
duelist
लेटेस्ट
matches
बैटल पास
आउटलॉ
में
की
ये
भाई
है
एक ही
स्किन
having
स्किन
a
आई है
judge for
नहीं
this
नहीं
round.
पहले बंडल भी आया
I
था
feel
एक
like if you're on the
आउटलॉ
EDG side, you've got to be so damn careful. Now, they normally are. I'll give them that. They're normally very slow, methodical, using their utility. But I feel like avoiding both of these players is not going to be easy.
No, most certainly not. Just taking a look at EDG real
कोई
quick
है
as
ही
well.
नहीं wrong.
Damage doesn't even need to be done to cheat you before he goes down to that
Cheat you.
Outlaw of Forsaken. And I think that's something that we'll see manifesting in how this round breeds. That smoker can't be the one that's going out to take those wide approaches, to check angles. Instead, it's got to be much slower, relying on things like your Sova drone, your recons to clear those angles. Forsaken is posted up and ready to duel, same spot as before. And for EDG, that could spell a disaster. Add to that, as you said, Tom,
गया
you've got to be
Judge लेके
careful of
बैठे हैं
those
भाई
judges.
ऊपर पे।
Mind Freak is not being caught, and so they'll look for the B site control, and that's when they walk straight into Munyet.
कितना
अरे
स्लो
भाई
खेल रहा है
टाइमिंग
ओके नाइस
And pops up for a
Nice.
nasty surprise.
Yeah, doesn't even need to switch out the weapon, really. Will eventually do it.
Ah,
Been able to
anonymous
escape
की
as
तरह।
well, but Forsaken has been lost.
अरे ब्रो
Munyet's done
नाइस
well. There isn't really a reaction either. There has been a push through. I'm just looking at the
एक
position
HP
that's
है
been
Teleport
taken from
किया ना?
Haldon. He's completely in behind. They've left a gap, and that gap has been exploited. Such good positioning from him.
मरा
A quick
अटक गया
rotation, looking to come back through from the other side.
आयो
Haldon taking as much space as possible, but this battle
अच्छा हुआ
between
ब्राउजर
Mind Freak and
हाँ,
Chichu's
जाते
doing
गया।
everything, and again, Chichu
अरे
just
यार
getting in behind his opponent. The advantage
2v3
swinging
हो गया
into the favor of this attacking side. Sure, it's a bonus, but for a second it was looking really dangerous.
Dangerous indeed, yeah. In fact, it looked like they had it more or less locked down. But again, it's Haldon to bail
अमरता तो
EDG on
कितनी
this
dirty
map. He
मायने
has
में
just been
लड़का है वो
spectacular.
अमरता
And
लड़का
in
है
inspector form almost, never.
मरेंगे
These
यार
players able to
ये
actually take the fight
क्या
on the open.
मतलब मुझ में प्रो प्लेयर की
Take the duel
क्वालिटी है
against him. He's always
और
slipping
है
behind.
ना
9-6, and it's Paper X slipping behind now. 3 rounds down.
जीता हुआ राउंड हार गया
A nice recovery from them. And
अरे
again, it's been
उसने
mentioned. You're looking
गाड़ी
at
से लिख
how
दिया
long on the
था
leaderboard. You're like, oh, he's having an all right game, but his impact
गलती
has
से
been
लिख दिया था
paramount. The amount of space he took there, cleared out something's aggressive position, because that was the thing. Something was cleverly sort of moving himself further and further forward, sort of cause issues for his opponents. But then gets caught from the one spot
ये
that
लड़का
wasn't
है
really checked
हाँ
on.
लड़का है
9 to
अमरत्या
6.
इस लड़का
Still plenty available for this round. You can see the operator in onto something. Judge still
what the
online.
heck
Mal making.
सप्रेस हुआ कोई
There's nobody in this aggressive position. Now the Prowler is going to give things
Huh?
away. Nobody is going to wait in the TP. I don't know how long this is going to stay for.
भाई बैठ
I
गया
mean,
मजा
nobody's had a tough game. Last map, I'm thinking he had a 4K, a 3K, a 2K. Right now, he has 1K. One
क्या
kill
लगता है
on the
अगर
board for this whole half. And he was bailing them out of these situations that now Haldong is taking up that mantle. Again, 9-6 in the lead. Couldn't give a damn if he had
अगर ये
0
यहाँ
kills.
से
But
spam करे
for
तो बढ़
nobody,
जाएगा
I want to see him bring that back out. We know it's in the
झगड़ा
tank
मत
at some
करो
stage.
गाइस मैच देखो
Paper
यस
X
गाइस
right
मैच
now,
देखो प्लीज
as we said, There's Munyet on the judge.
मरने के बाद बताते होंगे कौन कहाँ पर है।
मैं जा रहा बेंटन क्लासिक देखने। क्यों भाई?
ये पार्टी में नहीं होते क्या?
Must have another idea on how to play that
पार्टी
part.
में
And
तो
in
होता है।
fact, they go towards B.
तो
They see
वैसे
all
ही
this
डैमेज
utility
वगैरह
come
देते
their
तो
way.
बताते तो होंगे ना।
And they're starting to maneuver their way back towards the A site, which has thinned out slightly.
The reckoning though, we're getting down to the last 30 seconds.
बिना कॉल्स
Going
के
in this
तो इम्पॉसिबल
direction,
है।
leave
गाली
them with
देने का मन
not a
क्यों कर
lot
रहा है?
really to play with. They're going to try and just almost run their way through it, but they're slowly being revealed every single time they try and make their way through.
भाई वो अभी भी
Finally,
टीपी में
the
बैठा हुआ है।
reckoning will fade, but Mind Freak now in position. A code for
निकल
Forsaken
गया।
to try and almost fight
Nice.
within, and they are falling
Nice.
like flies.
Yeah.
Forsaken winning every
Bro.
battle, leaving just Chi-Chu remaining. 8 seconds and 5 members of the other team still to find. There is no shot that he gets anything from this one, and finally, well, Munyet will fall, but Divide immediate on the
भाई
reaction.
इनका एम एकदम
Yeah,
हेड
you know,
रेट में जाता
initially
है।
I thought Forsaken's probably put out the reckoning because when they
Practice
push on the
makes
side
the
of
man
EDG,
perfect.
they're like, well, first of all, information. Secondly, when they push, they're likely to be blitzing in towards that position. Utility coming his way if Chi-Chu gets an orbital strike, but Smoggy could be on you in a second. In fact, I think he just put it out so he could farm up some orbs and pick it up. He's almost halfway
Forsaken
to
भाई
having
के
it
आगे
online
कोई
again.
बोल
Just
सकता
a
है
lights
क्या?
out performance from Forsaken, but still 2 rounds behind.
Forsaken
EDG,
bye.
weaker weapons. This is where they've been scary at times.
इंजन
And an
गई
orbital strike
हार्वर्ड
online,
में
as we
माता आ
mentioned. So still
गई
a lot of danger if this attack side can find ground.
Forsaken looking for a little bit of early control, and the same from something. Starting to really lock down avenues of the map. You can see Divine doing
Pico
the
पे
same
भाई,
on the
थोड़ी सी।
extremities of B.
सिर्फ कर
Does
दिया
leave a little bit more of an opening, but the thing is, Munyet has completely switched up his position. He was playing the judge over the last couple of rounds. The flash is sublime
Behind
once
you,
again
okay.
from Kankan, unfortunately, unable to really capitalize on it.
How
अबे
Dong
इसका अंदर कैसे आ
again.
गया? अबे भाई क्या कर रहा
How
था
does he
ये?
keep doing this? It's
गन
unfathomable. This
लेती
is
है
a
ब्रो
classic lure. I've seen Nats do that, but he had an orb and a
Oh!
wall. Come on! Again and again, 2 kills for Howdong, and I said they've been scary.
उड़ा देंगे।
Goddamn
आयो
terrifying.
आयो
Forsaken.
आयो
He's held this position with a frenzy, but that was against pistols.
आ
They know
And
where
they're
he is.
he's completely surrounded. Nice spray. It was Divide to finish it off, but Howdong has a 3rd kill. He started this with a goddamn classic.
यार
Wow. And there's only one man left.
अरे
And it's gonna
यार
be Howdong. It is
हाउ
gonna be another
इको
mastercard
राउंड
through
निकाला
P-Ball.
ना
This makes absolutely no sense.
गन्स मिल गई ना उनको।
Man, switch over to I like
मतलब पहले तो ये
I like
बता
the
दो आप
representation
बॉय हो या
you
गर्ल
use. We've
एक
seen Nats
आम
do that.
बच्चा
That's a
देखो
great
कितना
cipher. I
खास
don't know if
बन
we've seen
गया
him just
अरे
manage to walk his way
ये तो
down
बेंटन
mid.
का गाना है।
And that was the thing that was some initial
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah,
there.
very
Forsaken
good.
really watching for this spot, but he just catches a timing every single time. It is absurd how well this man is playing. Well, maybe a little bit of frustration
ये कैसे मोटा खुश
for
होगा
Paperex. 10-7 in the lead, and while
क्या करेंगे इधर
वाला ऐसा
there's a
घूसा
leather
मार
bound
दे
notepad,
स्क्रीन
otherwise
पे
it's
तो
going to be
सही है
snapped
ना।
in two.
You know, it's an interesting contrast as well, because if we think back to half number 1, the real issue that Paperex
फिर बाद
ran
में
into
पता चला
again,
फाइन लग
and
गया।
I think they got lucky with some of the rounds where Munyet was able to bypass the utility. It could have been an opening pick for the side. But one of the main challenges that they had was playing up against Howdong's utility, was having this guy consistently being able to put through these traps that are slowing you down, and it was the A side that he was holding onto control of. And how poetic that when they swap sides, it's Howdong coming through and going, yeah, you know, you should probably play the agent I'm playing, guys, because I can just walk up behind you if you don't. It's unreal how much space he's found. He did it on A bat. He now has done it on laps.
यूनिक
with a
4 बार
classic and
गाली
nothing
देने
else.
दूंगा बस क्यों
I
गाली
don't
क्यों
know
चाहिए
what else he can
देनी
do
है
to surprise his opponents, but I'm certain that he will be doing more of this because the consistency is off the charts.
Yeah, and it's got to be
अमरदा
infuriating for
जल्दी
Paperex.
बता
Way
कि
back
तू
into the
बॉय
map,
है या गर्ल वरना
with
मैं
your
तो
opponents
दोनों
on a
का
weak
मिक्सचर
buy.
समझ लूंगा
and you lose to one man in his classic.
यार।
A free gun, by the way.
ऐसे क्यों बोल रहे हो
I think it was his
दोनों का
spacing
मिक्सचर
more
भी
than
गलत
anything
बात
else.
थोड़ी है
Look at the aggression, though. This is the W gaming. We were expecting to see an immediate push all the way down B long, but again, it doesn't really come with any rewards. Having to fall back and use and burn a lot of utility in the early stages of these rounds.
okay,
And they
done,
won neither of
nice.
those fights. Can't come.
नाइस क्या कह रहे हो?
He's got both
अच्छा
in his
ईडी क्यों नहीं
locker.
मारे
Just
आय
takes
हाय
down
छी भाई छी क्यों
वाह भाई क्या रिएक्शन बदला है
There was a third piece to the puzzle, unfortunately. Manya
भाई क्यों पढ़
is now
रहे हो
just
भाई,
sat in a corner
पागल हो
with the
गए हो
judge.
क्या? ये समथिंग को कुछ आता नहीं है क्या?
Very best of luck to him in the battle to come.
इसलिए और समथिंग ही
Because
बेस्ट
by the
खेल
looks
रहा
of
था
it, that
गेको
judge
में
is going to have to find 5
मेरे
players.
को नहीं
EDG
बता
are
रहा यार
definitively
ये
with no intentions of being
चार
picked
बार
off
का फ्री
individually.
पास हो गया
They're moving together,
जान
making
कहाँ
their way into
है?
this
सॉरी
side. There's a
मास्टरपीस,
drone.
थोड़ा सा
Really
गलती हो गई।
They've given him a gap.
Oh, hold on.
PRX ओके
He might actually be in the
Oh.
position to get this.
No!
And only one perfect from EDG.
Yeah, nice work. I like the idea from Forsaken. Just create a little pocket in the corner that he can hide with him.
करेगा क्लच कर भाई।
I think the fact that he shoots
Save
at
कर रहा है।
Save कर रहा है वो। The game away might have been spotted anyway. And for Mind Freak,
मैं ऐलान करता हूँ ये अमरता, अरे देवांश छोड़ता है।
problem though is that this
मेरा
wasn't.
कमेंट डिलीट हो रहा
You
है,
might be looking at
समझ
this and thinking,
जाओ
oh, well, the way
मैं
that
क्या
round went
बोल
was
रहा
probably a low
हूँ।
buy. No, that was everything. PaperX threw the kitchen sink at that one and have now just got to try and hold on to this rifle. An 11th round for EDG inevitable, and I don't know if they're going to have much to play with in the next round. Luckily, both teams.
रिवेंज हो तो ऐसा
also
भाई,
something
मास्टरपीस
that has
चुप
been able
कर,
to do a
लड़ाई हो
lot with
जाएगी
these
नहीं
low
तो।
buys. So maybe we'll get something magical once
क्या
again,
हुआ?
but it is at the
EDG को
stage now
support
where
कर रहा है।
PaperX
देख रहे हो एजरियल भाई, देख रहे हो एक काला जादू देखा आपने?
हाय
इन्होंने
गगन, कैसे हो?
प्रेडिक्शन लगाई ईडीजी पर, ठीक है?
With 11 on the board, a 4
उसके
round
बाद से ही
lead
डाउनफॉल
and
चालू हो
2
गया।
भाई
rounds to
मेरी तो
close
गलती
this
से
one
लगी
out.
थी भाई।
Bring us to split.
मैं तो श्योर थी मेरा 160 का रुपया चला जाएगा।
Swap over. You know, the shoes on the other foot.
Be
ZDG
respectful
lost
और
13-8.
अमरता यार बता दे तू गर्ल है या बॉय।
You said they invested everything in that last one. They do come out of it
मम्मा
with
ये
still
देना
2
एक दो।
ultimates to work with. Manyet and Devai will have something, and you know what? Literally their teammate, but they'll have those ults to work with.
खाने में क्या है?
A couple rifles, stingers there.
खाता?
They're going to rush
Tom,
mid.
it's not looking great, but the element of surprise is the best thing that they can hope to rely on.
It's not surprising at this point, though. They haven't had much
Obe
more in
yaar.
terms of depth. Mind Freak's going to get one, but that's all she wrote. Look how ready EDG were. I know you've got a slightly lower buy. I wonder what you're going to do, lads. I wonder if you're going to push something. Just the cam out immediately from Howdong to get
तूने
his
बोला
team
था
ready, and
थर्ड
then
राउंड तक
everybody,
जाना
the
क्यों नहीं
firing
देगा?
squad, just watching.
PRX
Very
मेरा फेस
easy round
डूबते
for
हुए
EDG.
दिख रहे
Sure,
हैं।
something's still standing.
इनको
He's
टाइम
gone
आउट
as
दो
well.
भाई,
Smoggy
क्या बात है कर रहे
winning
हैं
that
भाई?
fight out once again. And what can Devai really hope to achieve here?
भाई ब्लॉक दे दे, पर अब
Left with
रिस्पेक्टफुल नहीं
a
होगा।
close range SMG and 4 full HP players.
Say Danoni भाई, तू गलती से जीत रही भाई। हाँ वही तो गलती से जीत रही यार
Punch him
मैं।
in the mouth, but they've ended out more like Aldo. 5 chances now for EDG to close this map.
Turns out they had grills. That's what it is. They punched them in the mouth and it's left in
मैं
their own
ट्विच आज
hands.
तक खोला ही नहीं जिंदगी
And this is exactly what you're talking about, Tom. Like at this stage of the game, you're just like, oh, are PaperX pushing? Oh wow, I'm shocked. And
No
there's just
way.
भाई मैं नहीं देख सकती ये होते हुए, मेरे को डर लग रहा है
EDG
अपने
a
मैप
step
का।
ahead on Bind. This was a map that we had some question marks around. Playing against PaperX on this, I would say before this, it's
अमरता ये
never
सब मत
easy.
बोलो
But
भाई,
EDG
मैं तो
are
इनोसेंट हूँ, मेरे
certainly
को
trying
टाइम
to make
आउट
that
नहीं
look like a
थी।
foolish statement.
Well, it's especially you lose both pistols and you're 12-7 up.
ऐसी
That's a
अमरता
pretty
को
damn
समझाओ
good
वरना
showing.
मैं
And
बोलने
they've
लगा
had
तो
some
ज़्यादा हो
rounds as
जाएगा।
well where something popped
अमरता
off.
गलत मत बोल भाई
They've
प्लीज।
managed to weather that storm. It's something that many teams have tried and many teams have failed. And within their matchup versus PaperX, it's never gone their way. I believe they've had a map before in the past, but I think if they head on to Split, it's been one of their best maps within the region, although it's been great for PaperX. It is the perfect place to end it, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Already we're seeing Forsaken with an Odin, so Mitch already believes.
If there was a round to win, Tom, this would be the one. You know, normally on this map, you're going to have traps to play off, but there's not going to be those easy reveals to play around. Instead, it's more to do with spamming. And, well, you're going to have to get the head of Smoggy, and he's crouched down behind that box. It's not too easy for now. The suppressive fire really about to be tested, as if you fire away, that rocket will come right back at you, but somehow the rocket's done nothing. The show not stopped just yet. With damage onto Mind Freak, there's still a showstopper on Manyet once this ult fades. I like the spams, I like the attempt, but nothing's been found.
Oh, they've got Nightfall as well, but Smoggy's managed to dodge it, needs to hit the shot and won't be able to. In fact, Kong goes down instead. An advantage at this stage for PaperX, but they still have to get back into the site. Chichu sprinting around, hasn't been isolated yet. It's left down to just one man, but that one man is Haldong. Getting that a little bit more aggressive. He's using his opponent's util, even has the cam, and it's just about going to reveal. Knows that they're no longer on this diffuser, but desperately needs a kill, and he isn't going to be able to find it. That diffuser will come through.
But अब फायदा नहीं है ना, एक भी मैच जीत गए तो हो जाएगा जीजी.
Nice comeback. नहीं होगा comeback होगा.
लग रहा है तेको.
Every time this guy's on the screen, it's just unbelievable. But this time,
Story में हो गया ना,
put a stop to him. That's the first out of 5. 4 more needed.
खुश है ना story mode अब.
And look, you have the showstopper there buying them the kill. Good.
टीम इतने पीछे क्यों चल रही है? हो गया क्या 12 है? ओके ही
who was already dead at that point.
टीम पीछे चल रही है क्या?
ड्रीम में तो अभी लास्ट राउंड हुआ ही नहीं है.
हाँ.
Chichu's about to have ult online as well, but look how much PaperX have.
इसको रिफ्रेश कर ले ट्विच को एक बार.
All it takes is one, but not yet back on the judge, but that's not really too much of a detriment for him. And I actually feel like it's fairly important for PaperX to clear out that cam. Every piece of utility out on tower has had impact.
एक भी
though it's the slow walk up. Looking to potentially get that orb online, as you mentioned. One
खत्म हो गया ना मैच से.
Free Fire और Minecraft किसी में तो दोनों ही नहीं खेलती. IC सुन. IC तेरे को चैट पे बुला रहा है.
अभी लास्ट राउंड बचा है ना.
हाँ लास्ट राउंड चल रहा है.
अरे भाई क्या?
He hard checks him. He's prepared every single moment. And they've got that advantage again. Something he's going to try and make a hero play.
ये क्या हुआ? अपने बंदे को मार दिया भाई.
He probably gets a couple, and Divide holding the line on the other side. It's now a wraparound for EDG. Look where they are.
मेरे से इंस्पायर्ड है भाई वो.
They expected the B-side to be open at this stage.
घटना है.
They have to get the kill onto Divide, and he is low.
Well, with Chichu down, Divide really has it all stacked up once the spike falls. 16 seconds left. No chance for that to go their way on EDG's side. They have 3 more chances now to push this across the line. And we're starting to see different facets of PaperX come online. This is what we were hoping for. But this guy just...
Look at this. So, he gets orbital strikes by the opponent. He's like, I think
that ये क्या था? 8 बना दिया.
That's easy for us to see.
In that moment, he's like, oh dear.
You know,
एनिमी के हल से बचने के लिए वो अपने बंदे के
but he also wouldn't have been able to move. Probably would have had to jump and check it real quick. Wouldn't be ideal. But yeah, the double orbital strikes, they don't happen too often.
कार्टून का नाम.
So understandable. 3 more chances for EDG. Rifles out again. So I'm expecting them to win whatever the eco, but it might be hard to even push them there. PaperX. Same old buy. It's the big
Naruto किस क्लैन से था?
What? Nice.
Naruto किस क्लैन से है?
पता है क्या?
भाई सब इग्नोर कर दे.
Sorry.
अरे उजुमाकी बोला तो.
उजुमाकी हाँ क्या?
नहीं Naruto गूजर है.
क्या? गूजर बना दिया
Getting dangerously close to a reload. I think he's even going to have to just fall back. Give this one up for now.
1 मिनट बचा.
Left, right? He had to pop that reload.
अरे
but he's ready to fight again now.
अरे
100
ऐसा
bullets.
पूछा.
Primed and ready. Something on the
मैं
other side of the
अभी
map. As the
देख रहा
flank
हूँ
comes
वो
down, he's going to take a
चियो और
while to
साकुरा
get there.
लग
But
रहे हैं
Forsaken's not willing to give up the space.
से
Now
सॉरी
he's being spotted as he sees the cam
Yo.
towards, and this might be the
Last
average.
story. अरे सिपिडन पहुंच गए आप.
Damage. That's deterred Haldong from actually taking the peak. It's allowed for that cam to be completely negated. The swing is good for some. And he spotted both players.
कर दो भाई लोग.
4 bullets now. It's not looking good. This could be EG pushing it across the line. Another dismiss into a heal reload, and something's got a chance. No Lear to work with. The defuse being stopped down, but the swing is and Conjure to close the map. 13
अरे वाह. बोनस मिला.
उसके पास कहाँ से आई मांगी थी? उसने किसी को मारा था क्या दोस्त?
अरे आप देखो.
तो बस शारिंगन थी ना, बस आगे देख लेना कैसे आई.
ये बोनस मिलके भी 1.1 पे क्यों है?
1.5.
ओए 468 पॉइंट्स है. अनोनिमस.
वैसे इन पॉइंट का होता क्या है वैसे?
पता नहीं. नाइस फिर तो मैं
मजे के लिए
नहीं खिलजी भाई बोले ना बाद में
छी
रिडीम
भाई
होता है
छी
ये
क्या
किसी चीज में तो।
मुझे लगा
खिलजी
कुछ
तो
होता होगा।
म्यूटेड है भाई।
अरे पहले बोले थे वो
हाँ
पहले
नहीं पेटीएम
बता
वॉलेट
रहे
में
थे।
जाते हैं ना, कर लो।
ये झूठ
अच्छा
बोलता है आधी चीजें।
कर लिया भाई।
अरे भाई
ये सेंटिनल और कौन है सामने?
नहीं गलती इनकी नहीं है, पेटीएम वॉलेट बंद हो गया ना 15 तारीख के आज।
रियल भाई वॉलेट बंद नहीं हुआ, बैंक बंद हुई है।
अरे वॉलेट में ऐड भी नहीं होते।
निकलेंगे भी नहीं क्या?
निकल जाएंगे।
थर्ड
हाँ
पार्टी
तो सही है
लाइसेंस
यार,
मिल
मेरे
रहा है,
हैं।
सिर्फ यूपीआई चलेगा पेटीएम पे।
हाँ यूपीआई चला।
हाय, क्या प्रेडिक्ट करते हो अब अगले मैच का?
खिलजी भाई थोड़ी पीएफपी आपकी मतलब
कैजुअल है क्या?
क्या किसकी?
हाँ,
खिलजी भाई की?
ये क्रेशिया शक्तिमान है, दीपक कलाल कौन है ये?
कौन प्रोफाइल पिक्चर पे है?
देखो एक सेकंड में दिखाता हूँ ये कैसे लग रहा है।
प्रोफाइल पिक्चर।
हाँ हाँ
हाँ
इट्स
ये
जस्ट
इस
मेरे को
बंदे
कोई
के,
तो बहुत
इस बंदे
पुराना
की आप
मीम
वीडियोस
लग रहा
देख लोगे ना, प्लेस देख लोगे।
प्यारे
कौन है ये?
हार गई क्या?
कौन है ये?
हाँ
जॉर्ड
प्यारेक्स
जॉर्ड
हार गई
हैं?
मास्टरपीस।
जॉर्ड जॉर्ड
क्या खेलता है?
जॉर्ड नाम
CS।
नहीं है उसका।
अरे मेरे से करवाओ कभी 1v1।
अरे तुम सीएस कब से खेल रहे हो?
एंजली मेरे
16 से।
उसके,
फ्यूचर।
इस बंदे के नाम
टेक
में ही
इट
कैरी है।
सीरियसली।
JOD जॉर्ड।
अरे नहीं कैरिगन।
अबे
अरे
जॉर्ड नाम नहीं होता बे।
कैरिगन कैरिगन।
ये अब मजा आएगा
तुम सीएस
स्प्लिट्स
अरे
कब
में।
से
चैनल
खेल
का
रहे
नाम
हो
बताओ
खिलजी
ना
भाई?
इसके।
चैनल का नाम क्या है यूट्यूब पे? कर लो इसके, क्या बोलते हैं, कैरिगन बेस्ट प्लेस, यूट्यूब पे मिल जाएंगे।
ए मेरे घर वाले कहाँ गए भाई?
कैरिगन पे
नसीब है
कैरिगन
खराब
निकलाया।
है, बाहर आना पड़ा। आए आजा, तूने बोला था थर्ड राउंड, अगर थर्ड राउंड तक जाएगा तो तू बीसी ज्वाइन करेगा। दीदू आपका डोरेमोन एनिमे में से फेवरेट, डोरेमोन एनिमे हम में से फेवरेट कैरेक्टर कौन है?
मतलब बचपन में देखा तो कार्टून, बड़े
डोरेमोन
होकर देखा तो
एनिमे
एनीमे।
में ही आता है।
हाँ काइंड ऑफ हाँ। मेरा फेवरेट है जियान का कुत्ता
मोकू।
मोकू।
मोकू? मोकू सुना सुना क्यों
यार
लग रहा
का कुत्ता
उसी
था।
का नाम है कुत्ते का।
है?
जिसको वो
किसका नाम
बहुत
है मोकू?
मारता है।
जियान के कुत्ते का।
अरे
इसकी
हाँ
बहन का नाम क्या था?
क्या था?
जय को।
जियो।
जे
जैको, जियो को
वाह,
बोल रहा हूँ।
हाँ,
बड़े सिमिलर
जैको।
नेम है कुत्ते और बहन के।
बहन के
अजीब से।
कुत्ते हैं क्या?
अरे वो सब ठीक है, डेगी सू के क्या नाम होता है?
तेगी सूगी।
नोबिता भी क्या नाम होता है यार।
नहीं नोबिता तो फिर भी ठीक है भाई।
देगी सूगी।
ठीक है भाई।
हाय सुब्रेश, कैसे
ऐसा
हो?
लग रहा है वो
सुनियो।
श्री कृष्ण जी के
अगर
फादर
इंडिया में
का
किसी का
क्या
नाम
नाम
सुनियो होगा
था?
तो ऐसे बोलेंगे ना, सुनियो इधर सुनियो।
श्री
नहीं
वासुदेव
नहीं
जी
ऐसे
था, अब तो याद हो गया
वो
यार।
लगा ना, राज का।
मेरे घर पे आज भी टीवी
हमने नहीं
नहीं
सुना,
है।
सुना
आए
के दिखाओ।
अरे वो सुनियो गाना नहीं था यार।
सुनियो।
सुनियो
अरे अरे
ओ सुनियो।
यो।
बस बस बस, हेडफोन लगा रखे हैं मैंने।
तुझे देखता हूँ तो।
सोचता
एक
हूँ।
सेकेंड।
बस यही।
बस
इसी
यार।
गाने पे जियान और सुनियो की वीडियो ऐसे और मीम।
ये बुड्ढा मेरे बीच में, अरे अरे ये
अरे
क्या
हाँ
लगा रखा है इसने
बताओ
आंखों
ना,
पे?
तुम बताया नहीं कितने टाइम से खेल रहे हो तुम
हाँ,
सीएस?
16 से
हाँ,
भाई। बताया तो था कल परसों।
है? नहीं मैं
हैं?
नहीं होगा, परसों में नहीं था।
कब
सेकेंड की
कब
आवाज
से
कम कर
खेल
रखी
रहा
है
है
क्या?
वैसे तो
अरे
सही
आपकी
में?
आवाज कम आ रही है आईसी भाई।
16 17 की ऐसे कुछ था, 16 से हाँ।
अरे मेरा आवाज यार वो पुश टू टॉक कर रखा है मैंने।
कासुला जी के कितने
टोला
अरे
में
वो
तो
फुटस्टेप
वाली
मैं
बात
नहीं
सैन
पता
एंड्रियास
मुझे,
खेला
सुबेश
आवाज
करता
नहीं
वैसे भी कम
पता।
है।
प्रॉपरली तो 16 में नहीं तो 1.6 तो मैंने आई
यार
गेस
16 में
बचपन में खेली थी।
क्या खेलता था? क्लैश ऑफ क्लैंस खेलता था।
क्लैश ऑफ क्लैंस।
2016 में ये बहुत छोटा था,
था।
10 साल
मैंने
का।
भी बहुत क्लैश ऑफ क्लैंस खेला पहले।
कितने अकाउंट्स हैं आपके?
एक ही है भाई, मैं नहीं बनाता पागलों
किसी
की
ने
तरह 2-4
एस नहीं
अकाउंट
किया ना
और
अभी
मैं
तक, नहीं
सबको
अभी
मेरे
तक एस
15-16
नहीं हुआ
अकाउंट हैं
मास्टरपीस।
डाउनलोड 13 के।
अब होगा इस
क्या
मैच
क्या
में।
फायदा क्या हुआ उसका?
ये चैट
जो
इतनी
सपना
सुनसान
था वो
क्यों
तो
है?
पूरा नहीं हुआ।
कहाँ सुनसान है सिजी? हो रही है चैट तो।
डॉक्टर मुजातावा की तरह बनना था, मुजातावा ऐसे ही कुछ नाम था,
क्या?
लेकिन नहीं हो पाया।
अरे प्रेडिक्ट प्रेडिक्ट बताओ।
PRX कर दूं?
अब PRX नहीं किया तो अनोनिमस मारेगा पकड़
6000 का नुकसान हो गया।
6000
500 लगा दे पूरे।
10
किस्मत
10.5
अच्छी
पड़े
है
हैं।
वॉर्म फैंस।
10.5 पड़े हैं। चलो और नहीं यार अभी नहीं, ऑल इन नहीं करूंगा अभी।
ऑल इन कर लो PRX पे, मैं तो
कितने
बैठा
कर
हूँ।
रहे हैं?
PRX पे मैंने सारे लगा दिए।
700 लगा रही हूँ मैं।
पक्का?
मैं तो कह रहा हूँ
750 लगा रही
500।
हूँ मैं।
मैं तो कह रहा
पक्का?
हूँ 500 जीती है, 500 लगा दे।
मैं
अरे नीचे भी कर।
10,550 पड़े हैं ऑल इन। कर दूं?
ऑल इन कर रहा है, मैं तो 700 लगा रही हूँ।
देखा जाएगा। एक बार ऐसे CS में ना मैं ऑल इन उस पे था, स्ट्रीक पे। ऑल इन करते करते लाख से ऊपर पहुंच गए थे पॉइंट।
अबे भाई ठीक है, मैप स्टार्ट हो गया क्या? क्या चल रहा है ये?
क्योंकि वो
नहीं
2020 का टाइम था
क्या पे
ओके, ये चैट
जब
इतनी
सिंपल रूल
सुनसान
कर रही
क्यों
थी।
है? हो गया,
अरे वो
750
CS की
लगा
कौन सी
दिए।
क्या टूर्नामेंट से आप बता रहे थे 1-2 दिन में आने वाले हैं?
मेजर अभी आएगा।
हो गया, पास खरीद लिए?
पास तो नहीं खरीदा अभी। आज फ्राइडे है ना, कल सैटरडे या संडे को खरीदूंगा। संडे लास्ट दिन है, प्रेडिक्शंस भी करनी है उसमें।
पास का है क्या? पैसे ही नहीं है, क्या बेट करूंगा? अरे बेचारे के पैसे खत्म हो गए।
मैंने सारे लगा दिए और
किस पे करे है तूने?
PRX पे ऑल इन 0 पॉइंट्स हो गए मेरे भाई।
भाई अगर मैं ऑल इन करूंगी और बाय चांस ऐसा होना नहीं चाहिए, तो फिर मैं कल सेंड पे नहीं लगा पाऊंगी।
वो तो तू देखेगी तो थोड़े बहुत तो मिल ही जाएंगे। इतना ही है लगातार
देखते
तो
हैं।
मैच देख 500-600 ऐसे ही बन जाते हैं।
नहीं नहीं, 50-50 मिलते हैं।
हाँ तो बहुत है। जब
अरे
जब
नहीं,
से
10
अभी
पे
हम
होना
लोग
चाहिए।
देख रहे हैं 550 ऐसे ही देखते देखते मिल गए मेरे को।
मेरे को
अरे
450 हो गए भाई देखते देखते।
वही तो।
दीदी चूज वन, मैगी और रामेन नूडल्स। यहाँ पे बहुत लोग रामेन बोलेंगे, बट मैं हिंदुस्तानी हूँ तो मैं मैगी बोलती हूँ।
यार चाउमीन यार, क्या ये मैगी वैगी।
ऐसे ही है इतना
गिलगिले भाई।
गिलगिले
आईसी की आवाज बहुत कम आ रही है।
अरे पुष्पी लोग क्या मतलब है, आवाज ही नहीं आ रही।
एंजल एक पिकअप लाइन मेरे ऊपर भी मार दो, कोई मेरे ऊपर नहीं मारता।
But maybe they didn't go that deep, but maybe it could be the Euro, and it's actually going to be
भाई
back.
उस लायक
It's
बनो।
triple duelist, and
अब
no,
ठीक आ रही है
if
क्या?
I'm not mistaken, on the side
हाँ
of
बेटर है।
EDG. I mean,
भाई 3
now that
डॉलर्स के
nobody
साथ
is
खेल
on
रही
the
है
sky,
पेपर
maybe he's going to have a better time.
Yeah, maybe. I'm really going to be paying close attention
दो
to PaperX
कंट्रोलर और
because
3
if you only just watched their T1 game
Healer
when they
नहीं
were running
लिया
this
इन्होंने।
comp, it looked like they were just cavemen
Healer
banging
भी
their
क्या
heads
होता
against the
है
A side and the attack side. They were going for the 5-man, 4-man hits over and over again. They threw nuance
देवांशी
into it
पिकअप
actually
लाइन रुको,
when they played against
मारता
Gen G.
हूँ एक
And
पिकअप
one of the
लाइन।
things that
भाई
in the
मैच
EDG are going to have to
परसेंटेज
master
हाँ
is
हूँ
actually
एक
keeping up
पिकअप
with that
लाइन,
tempo
ये
game.
मेरे को लड़का
Like,
लगता है, ठीक
making
है।
sure that they
और
can
जब ये
always keep
इसका
it
वो
back in the
पकड़ा
lines.
जाता
PaperX
है
could
तो
be
बोलती है
in
मैं वो
really deep
कौन सा
positions
बॉय,
really quite quickly.
जेरी
Tomboy.
टॉम बॉय।
Especially because they're not running like a typical
मोमोज और
sentinel. They
स्प्रिंग
don't have
रोल।
trips to try and slow
मोमोज।
down the big hits. It's going to be a difficult ask for them, so I'm putting a lot of attention on that.
Yeah, exactly. And 3 out of 3 maps, PaperX is going to be starting on the
तूने
attack.
ब्राउन
On the
शुगर
first
के
one, it was
मोमोज
definitely
खाया?
what gave them the win
Brown
and the
sugar?
room to
GK
have
में
that
ही है।
comfort. But on the second one,
नहीं।
it wasn't like
बढ़िया
that.
है,
So let's see
खाइए।
what this map takes.
मैंने GK में
Edward
सिर्फ ब्रेड
finally
पकोड़े
gain
खाए।
his way to a
अबे।
victory over PaperX, or will
OG
W
snap.
Gaming reign supreme? Let's send it back over to Mitch and
उसके
Tom.
अलावा
Silly.
क्या ही कहा
Well,
यार।
Tom, it's time to
कहाँ
find
पे
out
ब्राउन
the
शुगर
answer
कौन
to
से
that question. EDG, they've
पता
tried
नहीं
3
यार, कहीं
times,
तो
they've
घुमाया
failed
था,
3
मेरे को
times,
इतना
but the
याद
4th,
नहीं है।
it's looking
बट
better.
बढ़िया
We're on
था।
map
It's in the
2.
name though.
आटे के थे।
They don't lose. That's the problem. I don't know. The thing
अरे
is, this
लक्ष्मी
competition
नगर
is
पे
one we've
सबसे
now seen
बेस्ट
a couple
मोमोज
of
खाए थे
times. The
मैंने।
surprise
लक्ष्मी
factor is
नगर।
gone.
भाई
हाँ,
लक्ष्मी
दिल्ली
नगर, लक्ष्मी नगर की
अरे
मोमोज
लक्ष्मी
अच्छे
नगर।
हैं।
It's very
दिल्ली को,
competitive.
दिल्ली में
And these are
सबसे
also
बेस्ट मैंने
agents
लक्ष्मी नगर ही
where
खाए
I
थे।
think
भाई
like something, one of the
245
best gents in the
रुपए
world,
के
Forsaken,
कितने
personal
मोमोज
opinion,
हैं?
best Euro in the world. it's so
तरुण थे ना
difficult
साथ
to
में
play against the
टेंशन
chaos that
नहीं
is
थी
क्या
created
भाई
by
क्या
this side.
8 पीस
And that's the storm that's
वो
going to have
चालू
to
हो
be
गया
weathered. The fun
मैंने
thing
200
about
के
this as
8
well
मैंने
पीस
is, in my
हाँ
opinion, both teams
245
have
के
started on
8
their better
भाई
side.
60 के
So it's
60
going to
के
be,
8 आए थे
the first half might actually
रुको मैं
decide
आता
it.
हूँ एक
भाई मैं ऐसी जगह
सेकंड
जानता हूँ जहाँ पे लिटरली 20 रुपए के
They'll be happy
12
with this
पीस मिलते हैं भाई
attacking
10
side.
अरे
अरे
They're already
ये
setting
कहाँ
up
आप एक
पे
बार
भाई
है?
मत रहो
तुम
आप एक बार मत रहो
तुम इंची के खाना उसके भी मतलब सेम रेट है 200-250 कुछ के, पर भाई क्या मोमोज है उसके।
सेम इसके भी बहुत टेस्टी थे।
अरे लक्ष्मी नगर भाई जैसे
गाइस
स्टेशन से नीचे
नाइस
उतरते हैं
देखो
ना
क्या
मेट्रो
हो रहा
स्टेशन
है।
से वहीं पर है
देख
भाई
रहा हूँ मैं
सही में लक्ष्मी नगर प्रीत विहार बहुत बहुत बढ़िया शॉप्स है।
गया गया यो
भाई
ये
अरे
कर
अरे
लो बस
पीछे ही है
That spikes down on site, and he's got 3 players to pick off. No from the shadows either. That'd be impressive. Yeah.
डिप
टाइम तो
The
देख
whole team would have to be dead.
And then some.
We go. Just hoping to try and find an
अरे
isolated duel. It
यार
isn't going to be happening.
मेरे को तो ऐसा
भाई
धक
ये
धक हो
क्यों
रहा
नहीं
है।
चलती
And doing well as well.
कोई
I like
नहीं
the
जब
fact
जब
that
ईटीजी
you
पहला
almost
राउंड
see the
जीतती है तब
PaperX
तब पीआरएक्स
doing this
मैच
blitz
जीतती है
play. I
सही बात
think they
सही
almost
बात।
expected there to be no one on site.
ये
Because they had
क्या
multiple
स्ट्रैटेजीज
players
लगा
trying
के
to
बैठे
fight
हो
through
तुम।
in towards screens.
अपने
And it
टीम
almost
को
seemed like
जिताने
they
के लिए
forgot
क्या
that
काला
Conco
जादू भाई
could be
क्या
पहले
घिसोट
मैच
के
भी
उनके
ऐसे ही
side.
हुआ
So
था पहले मैं
off to a
पिछले
flyer.
पहले
Good
2-3
start
राउंड
from
ये
individually.
जीती थी
Sad.
यार ब्लू कट
Well,
मैं भी
not the
मंगाऊं
best
क्या
first map. An
सच
okay
बताना
second, but
हर
this is
एक
where
अकेले
Conco
पे
can
तुम
take
एक
the
नींबू
lead.
तो नहीं काट रहे।
They'll be happy.
Just in the nick of time, right?
बकरा काट
And
रहा
you
हूँ
can
पूरा
understand why they don't expect to be
अरे
on site, giving a good opportunity. They saw
भाई
2
रमजान
players
चल रहा है
screens. Those players seem to be
अरे
panicking to get back in.
अभी नहीं
Now
करता
Dong
आपको कैसे नॉलेज
headbutt the
इतनी
nade to start this
रमजान
round.
में तो
अरे
भाई
इंडिया में रहता हूँ भाई
जामा मस्जिद जाओ भाई।
Fight around mid, 3 players from EDG
मैं
want to maintain
कबाब
that
वबाब खाता
control.
रहता हूँ
The
यार
luck of
कुछ
something is
वेजिटेरियन
left to
बात
try
करो
and pick them off when they
ये
do.
भाई
वांटी
Con
लोग
walking in.
रमजान
ऑफलाइन
में
हो
ना
गए।
इफ्तार के
Once they
टाइम
took
पे
him on
जाओ
the
जामा
low
मस्जिद,
spot, Nade will
गया था
cover
पिछले
his
साल
retreat, you'd imagine.
क्या
गया
बढ़िया
Sticks
खाना
around for the
मिलता है।
kill
यार ये लोग
instead.
क्या
एक नंबर
कर रहे हैं यार।
सब
That could be
खाया
rounding the corner.
शाही
When
टुकड़ा
he gets
खाया
out,
कबाब
Smoggy
अरे
खाया
gets
जेट
something
मत
to try to
करो
cover his retreat.
अरे
फ्राइड
तुम्हें मैं
चिकन
उधर
खाया
एक
Have to be a little
तुम्हें
bit
मैं उस
अरे
पे
भाई
लेके जाऊंगा भाई,
ये
एक है
चार
चूड़ी वालान
अरे
करके
अरे
पीछे,
अरे अरे
हम्म,
ये भाई
उसका
वो
उसका
स्कोपिंग
भाई
करके
बटर
मार
चिकन,
रहा है।
क्या
एम ही
बटर
नहीं
चिकन
है।
है
Just an
उसका।
extra player being dropped here could
भाई
cause
एक
a few
सेकंड
कबाब
issues.
इतने
As
सेक्सी
we
थे
move
दोबारा
into the
जी भाई
next
क्या
round, you
गंदा
can
मार
see a
रही थी
much more
कबाब
passive sort of
कबाब तो वहाँ
crossfire.
के है ही, पर
Just
चूड़ी
waiting
वालान का
for
बटर
those to
चिकन
pop
खाना
up
तुम,
that
थोड़ा
ladder
अंदर
point
जाके है
once again.
दुकान पर,
अबे
बहुत
भाई
बढ़िया।
For nobody
वो
on the rotate as
जब
well.
कुरेशी पास
And
करते हैं आगे
EDG,
जाके लेफ्ट कट
they'll
जो है
convert, pick up a couple of
बाइक
kills as
मार्केट
well.
से अंदर क्या कहते हैं लेफ्ट जाके है।
हाँ
Yeah,
वही
it's
है
nice.
पूरी
They
दिल्ली
came in
घूम
with 2
ली।
pistols, I think. It's why you see Smoggy play ahead of
अब ये
that.
तीसरे
He's,
राउंड के
he
बाद
literally
ये
is
तीसरा
covering the
जीतेंगे उसके बाद
retreat.
कम
He
बैक
can maybe
इधर
pick
गए
off
हो
one
क्या
with the
शाहीन
pistol.
बाग
नहीं
गए
नहीं
If not,
जीतेंगे नहीं
he
अब
loses the
अब
pistol.
पीआरएक्स
It
जीतेगी।
really
शाहीन
does
बाग
end
इतना
roll.
नहीं गया, थोड़ा
For
मतलब
EDG,
कभी
I
एक
mean,
आधी बारी
flyer
गया
on the
होगा तो
side.
शाहीन
पता
बाग
नहीं।
का खाना
5
मतलब
kills on Concon. The
मतलब क्वालिटी
rifles on the
बोलूँगा
side of
जामा मस्जिद से
PaperX will
थोड़ी
be
सी
facing off
कम है
against what was
बट
one of
वहाँ
the
पे
more
ना एक चाय वाला
terrifying
है
buys that EDG pulled out. Once
ओके
they've got these pistols up
भाई
against
चाय
जामा
rifles,
पीना
the win
मस्जिद में,
rate has been
भाई जामा
insane.
मस्जिद में ना वही
Some
बाइक
very
मार्केट
important
से
rounds
थोड़ा
as well.
पहले
Mind Freak
सुबह
stunned
सुबह
them
लगाता है
and
बंदा
tucked in the
4
corner.
बजे
गया
This is
गया
a
बिरयानी
great
की
way for him
शॉप।
to get out. I mean,
नहीं नहीं
he
वो
can
उस टाइम
use his
लगती है सिर्फ
abilities
क्या
often,
कहते हैं
but not this time.
रमजान में
There's
लगती है
none online, no shrouded
नहीं
stack.
नहीं, अरे बिना
There's one
रमजान के
way,
भी
so
लगाता है वो
probably being held.
सुबह 4 बजे क्या
Just
करेगा
trapped
भाई
for now.
भाई वो सुबह 4 बजे लगाता है और 8 बजे तक खत्म हो जाता है उसका।
They just
भाई
look to try and
4
actually
बजे
retreat
तो
and
अभी
get an
लगेगा
all
ना जब रमजान चल रहे हो
one off that
वैसे नॉर्मली
dimensional
क्या
drift.
करेगा
I think
कोई
that's
आएगा ही
probably
नहीं
the scariest thing with this
कौन
paper
जा रहा है
पता
4 बजे
is
नॉर्मली
they've got
पता
so
नहीं, बट
much
भाई हम
आज
नाइट
क्या
आउट
भाई
पे
क्या
हम
बात है
हमेशा उस पे जाते थे खाने,
रमजान पे ही गए होगे
ज्यादा
could
पीते हैं
almost help
जाते
the
हैं।
individuals on the other
हो
side.
सकता है, बट वैसे नहीं यार, हमने हम सिर्फ रमजान में थोड़ी करा है नाइट आउट, हम वैसे भी कई बारी गए हैं।
Nobody looking to try and come in on the flank. This is a round where as well EDG they can
लगाता होगा
afford
फिर
to take some some risks with the weaponry that they've got.
Gay.
Monyet, though,
Gay.
this might be a nasty surprise, but never mind. Chichu's
गया
found
ये
him,
भी
and
गया
I don't think they're going to expect nobody in the corner.
Bye.
No, it's Half-Ject as well. This is going great for
खत्म
EDG.
मैं
It was. It
कोई
really
नहीं
was.
अरे सी भाई
Nobody with 3 kills. And now it's just one
2v1
standing.
2v1
10
2v1
bullets and it's only one
ये
needed
तो
for
कैजुअल हो
Smokey.
गया
What?
भाई
ऑलमोस्ट दे दिया था
भाई
सुनो
क्या क्लच
एडवर्ड
करा
को
भाई वो
एडवर्ड को वो करो क्या बोलते हैं cheer करो जीतेंगे फिर
एडवर्ड एडवर्ड ये
एडवर्ड कौन है?
वाओ क्या खेला
EDG.
Unreal. And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, nobody had 1 kill for most of it. He finished on 2?
रिवर्स साइकोलॉजी लगा रहे हो तुम
Finished on 2.
3 times more
हाँ
kills
काम
already
करती
as
है
Well,
this
even
map.
that in that round, he
Edward.
had more kills than the last map alone.
चलो
कोलेट्रल
मैं
भाई
एडवर्ड
तो
के नाम का
भाई
रिव्यू काट के आता हूँ
मास्टरपीस
Half-Ject as well. Like, that's the thing. I just feel like they
He
get
right.
so much
Right.
lineup of a
अबे भाई
भाई ये रो देगा भाई कोचिंग का।
सही बात है भाई।
ये फ्रिज में से रेड बुल निकाल के
ये
सर
देखना
पे ही मार के
जियान
जियान
कहीं
के।
का।
यार इसमें नहीं होती फनी चीज़ है, पता है CS जब पहले ना एक बंदा था आलू, उसका नाम लिटरली आलू था।
आगे
मेरा बाइक चल रहा है, अच्छा
हाँ।
हाँ, तो उसका नाम आलू था। तो ना अब उस टाइम ना कैमरास नहीं होते थे, वो पहले की बात है जब ऐसे जैसे कैम्स दिख रहे हैं ना इसमें, उस टाइम कैम्स नहीं होते थे, सिर्फ वॉइस होती थी। मैच चल रहा है, मैच के बीच में पूछ रहे हैं कि ये जो ड्रिंक्स पड़ी है पीछे, रेड बुल पड़ी है, पी सकता हूँ क्या?
भाई क्या चल रहा है ये?
आप एक बार ना बस अपना गूगल खोल के सर्च करो, उसकी शक्ल देखो।
आलू की
ALLU आलू याली, ALLUJALI ऐसे कुछ होगा, आलू याली। अरे 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 यार मैंने बोला था भाई काम करती है बस शक्ल।
नहीं मैं तो खुश नहीं हुई।
नहीं आ रहा यार।
हाय हाय यार
बहुत बुरा लग रहा है, बहुत बुरा लग रहा है
यार, कैसे हार गई, एक ही तो बचा था।
क्या जीती थी यार ये मैच?
और ना एस किया,
एक राउंड जीता ना, 4 सेकंड में निकाला।
अरे ये तो अंग्रेज है पूरा।
आलू ना
हाँ
एस मैं बोला था मास्टरपीस बस। ब्रो व्हाट द हेक।
आंखें देखो इसकी।
किसकी?
इसकी आंखों के बारे में कुछ बोला तो थोड़ा रेसिस्ट हो जाएगा।
ओके
मैं भेजूंगा डिस्कॉर्ड पे।
फेच मी माने अच्छा उसको ऊपर लाना मास्टरपीस को। हेलो
अच्छा समझ गया मैं पतली आंखों का बात कर रहा था। क्या हुआ, किसको लाना है ऊपर?
मास्टरपीस को
ला रहा हूँ।
I feel like the only appropriate thing is to replay Brand's desk from
देखो
earlier.
जनरल में देखो ये बंदा जितना भोंदू इस पे लग रहा है ना, उतना भोंदू गेम में भी था।
What a round. I was thinking earlier
कहाँ भेजा जनरल में?
really curious that with a judge he gave up that control. He took screen.
क्या मैं लाइव में देख सकती हूँ?
भोंदू होके ये क्यों खेल रहा था, मतलब कैसे इतना ऊपर पहुंच गया?
हाँ खेलता था कभी कभी, मतलब इस आप YouTube पे सर्च करोगे ना, लिटरली वीडियोस बन रखी है आलू याली बॉट और गॉड। कुछ ऐसी वीडियोस है जिसमें बॉट की तरह खेल रहा है, लिटरली बॉट NPC। और कुछ इसने ऐसी क्लिप्स बना रखी है जो गॉड बोलते हैं।
अभी पिकअप लाइन खराब ना कर।
EDG still lead by 2, still have a decent amount of money. There's some
तुम
weaknesses
गेम्स
there.
काफी खेलते हो ना खिलची
भाई
भाई?
समथिंग को मार दिया फिर से।
Right away, one of the duelists
आ
with
ज़्यादा नहीं,
Con. You can see
CS बहुत खेली है,
अबे बहुत खेलता है
GTA खेल रहा हूँ
मुझसे।
आजकल। कहाँ खेल रहा हूँ अभी यार?
अब नहीं बट पहले।
इतना टाइम हो गया, 1 साल हो गया तो छोड़ दिया।
भाई 1 साल काउंट नहीं होता जब 16 से खेल रहे होते।
हाँ उम्र हो गई है,
ओवर हो गई है।
50 साल का हो गया।
Why are you sounding like my mom?
At least he's got the pin to work with, which puts him
Nice.
back.
हाँ दे
These
रहा
kind
भाई।
of clutches surely can't be happening.
भाई
Too many players, too many guns.
इस मैच में ये
This
होगा।
time they will find
दवाई
EDG,
इज नॉट
a
इक्वल टू
fourth
4
round on the
सेकंड।
board
हाँ
with the
मास्टरपीस
defuse coming
तेरी
through.
वजह से
Passive
निकला भाई
play
एक
around A
राउंड।
seems to be working in
भाई
the
ये
early
क्या
rounds.
चल रहा है? 4-1 हो gया।
Nobody as well. A really impressive
अब देख तू,
resurgence from the
अब
previous
देख
map. I
तू।
think his comfort level on Sky
मम्मा
is
खाना
definitely
दे
up
दो।
there. But most of it doesn't seem to be anything to
जीतेगी
do
तो
with the
PRX
agent
ही।
Never
itself.
watch any
And the
tournament
thing
of
that's worth
Valor.
noting
Tell
is,
me who
I
is
believe
pro
Mindfreak
in
was
this.
1 HP,
I
1 hit for
Hello
sure.
Eren.
हाँ क्या
ये
पागल
रहा।
है?
When,
अरे भाई रुक जा।
चल भाई चुप कर साढ़े बज रहा है ज़्यादा।
अरे ये जो EDG है ना, ये प्रो टीम है भाई।
इसको टाइम दे दिया भाई,
घंटे
टाइम
की
आउट दे दिया।
प्रोटीन है।
There's a good reason for them to be excited.
लाउड थी शायद पहला जो इन्होंने भी जीता था मास्टर्स।
भाई लाउड को कल मैं चीयर करा, वो जीती ही
लाउड
नहीं।
तो हार गई ना।
अब पहले का वो अलग था ना, क्योंकि उन्होंने उस टाइम काफी मेहनत करी, बट बाकी टीम्स इतना जल्दी जल्दी उन्होंने मेहनत करी कि वो फिर आगे जीतने
इनको
लगे।
पहले से पता होता है
मैंने एम लैब्स डाला, पता है मैं भी प्रैक्टिस करेगा।
भाई कहाँ से मार रहे हैं? मुझे कुछ समझ सा क्यों नहीं आ रहा। अबे भाई छी भाई।
यार कल मैं सेंटर फर्स्ट लेके आऊंगा।
अनोनिमस कहाँ है भाई तू?
on the low HP Munyet. This has
बिरयानी
left
खाने
Devi
गया था
alone.
हेलो
He's being
रजत,
watched.
कैसा है रजत?
It's an ambitious thing
पिकअप
to try
लाइन
and
देख के
flank
तो मैं
Howdong.
बहुत
He's
आया
never
हूँ
gonna
बट
let that
भूल
happen.
गया.
But of
अरे
course,
अरे
it was Con to find the kill, a showstopper and a rolling thunder online for EDG, moving into round number 6. This was a great
भाई
farming
ये तो
round
बहुत
for this squad.
गलत
And
सीन
now
हो
the
रहा है.
Paper X come in with rifles. There's a lot
वैसे
for the side
स्प्लिट
of EDG to
डिफेंस
fall back
ओरिएंटेड
on.
मैप
They do lose those opening duels.
I think this is the
Still
thing now.
5-1.
EDG have done amazingly well to
कुछ
not
ज़्यादा ही हो
play
गया.
Paper X at their own game. They're
नहीं
not
9
giving them
हिल
those
तक
early fights.
9
They're
हिल
not
तक तो
giving
कर
them
सकते.
any battles that don't have the opportunity for a trade. Supportive
मैं
flashes
भुलक
from the likes
करूँ.
of
अरे
Smoggy
अरे
have been
अरे.
fantastic as well.
कैसा है रजत? क्या हाल चाल तेरे?
And Paper X is rinse and repeat. If at first you don't succeed,
अबे कैम लगा था, मुझे लगा बंदा खड़ा है और
try
मारेगा
and
ऐसे.
try again, because they're heading back into this A site once more.
Hey, look, they got the ult again. Why not? And it's actually
He's
just
got a judge again as well.
it's
Ayo,
well, now
ayo.
it's dangerous. It's only going to be used to clear the site, get
Ah.
the spike plant. Good timing. Chichu in trouble now. The showstoppers found him.
good.
But it's only trading out the kill from Smoggy.
जस्ट
Some nice rounds of his own, a good shot, but it's traded again.
नीट का
From
जवाब
the grave,
पूरा
Con takes
अरे
down
आना
Life
5 मिनट पहले
Low
मेरा
HP on
लैपटॉप
one yet.
साउंड पे
Eight
था
still to
स्पीकर
work
पे
with.
मतलब हेडफोन नहीं
Forsaken
डाले थे
in a nasty spot, ready to
कोई
play.
आवाज ही
That
निकाले
judge
थी
from
भाई.
down below,
अरे
but he's
भाई.
worried now because the A side
This
being
is not
lost.
the
They're going to
Gatti one.
swing in, and he's only got a classic closing the distance on the back of the smoke. He's evaded their detection, and he's up close with a judge.
Nice.
Forsaken, buying them time and space, but now he's dropped. The
La
low
la
HP
la
one yet
la
is
la
lost
la.
alive. Nade buys time, runs that
अरे
clock
भाई
down.
क्या?
And nobody has
कोई
nowhere
नहीं,
to
जीत
go.
गए
They
जीते
tried
जीते
to
जीते
get the
जीते.
defuse in.
बढ़िया
ये
ब्रो,
होगा,
राजमा
हो गया।
चावल
अब
खा
नहीं
रहा
हुआ।
हूँ. अरे
A lot of
वाह.
damage done to
बढ़िया
EDG's
EDG.
economy. They've got decent credits left.
Yeah, no, the
वैसे
damage
बढ़िया
isn't
तो
done
खेल
to
रही है
EDG's
EDG.
economy at all. It's done
Nice.
to Paper
भाई
X's.
जीतेगी,
They've
भाई
won the
जीतेगी.
round with
यार
0 players surviving, so they're
EDG,
still
EDG.
in
इतने
well, right in the
confidence के
thick of
साथ.
it.
Blade Storm though.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to
जीतेगी.
pan up a little bit, but
कुछ भी कर लो
they
जीतेगी
lose
तो
this
EDG.
round. They're completely in the bin. They
EDG
are
on
not
top.
out of the woods just yet. And if we've seen
EDG
anything
best
thus
भाई,
far
यार
this
साउथ
game,
हो
it's
गए
that
हैं.
EDG
It's been
नहीं
Forsaken
पेपर
के
लाइक
EDG
जीतेगी.
and then an instant resurgence. They've been
EDG best है.
fantastic in a lot of
EDG
those
Forsaken
games. I
के
think a couple of jewels not going
पे.
their way. The showstopper as well. So we finally see a hit
Oh,
towards this B site. The early flash is already going to give that information over to nobody, and the cavalry is full sprint. I think after he slowed
नहीं
it
नहीं
down,
नहीं नहीं मत बोल
he
भाई.
decided to go back.
Look at that damage. When he gets down to 50 on just the straight
तो
spam
ऐसी भाई को
through
पीछे
those
छोड़ दिया
big money
प्लीज
points
तू
already
आगे
gone.
निकल
That's
गया
a lot lost in
फाइनली.
terms of site
भाई साथ
coverage.
ये
में
दिन भी
एक
देखा
बहुत
मैं.
interesting भी
आगे
खेल
निकल
With
गया,
Paper
क्या
X,
हुआ?
with Munyet low,
What?
Divide.
चैट देख.
अरे
कौन
He's
got
got a chance
Top
to do
power.
something,
हाँ?
and it's actually
अरे
something to
top
find out
power,
to
top
Chichu,
power.
but when he's dropped, it's Divide.
टॉप
alone
पॉइंट्स
on the
भाई,
other side
टॉप
of the map.
आवर्स नहीं.
Maybe he had a
हाँ
chance
हाँ
लाइक
to
वही.
get
कर
something
रही
टॉप
done
आवर्स में भी
if they
नहीं.
were able to plant that spike, if they were able to keep
अरे तू
eyes towards
तू
B main.
जीजी है रे.
Instead,
तूने निकलना ही था आगे.
yeah, this might even be a better clutch than what we saw from Forsaken.
I don't know if that exists.
ये शिवांशी ही बोलना.
अबे
So much
मेरे
utility
को
though.
पॉइंट क्यों नहीं मिले?
Congratulations,
ये मैं स्ट्रीम देख रहा हूँ भाई.
No, it would take
वो AF के काउंट
equally
नहीं
the
करता.
amount of
AF के थोड़ी ना
hero
हूँ.
power, and they're already
Side by
short.
side चल रही
They're
है
ready
stream.
waiting. Not
शी
gonna let
भाई,
that happen
शी
twice.
भाई.
नहीं
It's
मैंने
gonna be another round
एक
for
दो
EDG,
दिन
and
पहले
as I
देखा
said, it's
था
an
तो वो
instant
सिर्फ
resurgence once
वॉचिंग
more.
काउंट नहीं
It's
करता
an
है.
attempted
चैट
fast-paced
करना
play.
होता साथ.
I think EDG have done
चैट
fantastic
करना
as well
पड़ता
to
है.
not go in for
हाँ
those
हाँ हाँ
early
एक
fights. They're
सेकंड.
happy to sit back. They're happy
क्या
to
भाई?
sit in their
मर
crossfires.
गया यार.
And when the opening
ये
kills
इतना
aren't
तेल
going the
क्यों
way
है
of
इसमें?
Paper X, when advantages can't be garnered,
भाई ये बंदा मर्डर कर देगा
it's
किसी का.
just not going their way.
गाली दे रहा है ये.
Oh, you
सुनाई
don't see
देगी मेरे को
Alex
इनका.
getting heated like that
मैं
very
लाइक कर
often.
दूँ.
Really?
हैं?
Well,
ये
last
क्या
year he
कर
did.
रहा
They
है?
were always winning.
Well, yeah, I don't
Watch
know.
का
I
BPI
think he
हो
was
गया.
वो
angry when
भाई
they were winning.
वो अपने हाथों का स्वेट सोख वो पोंछ रहा है.
वो सब ठीक है लेकिन इनको कितने
Yeah.
FPS मिल रहे होंगे?
Different
Oh,
story.
he's up there with Barber. The second you get him in that room with a
Outsource,
desk
outsource
and a
कर
monitor
दो.
watching
रहते हैं.
Paper X, it's
तो ये
like,
क्या
right, well,
4K में खेल रहे होंगे?
the desk's
240
getting-
में लॉक होता है.
Well,
वो तो
the
monitor
desk
पे
of
lock कर
Alex is
देते
there
हैं.
240 तो
because
मॉनिटर का होगा ना.
हाँ वही 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 वही.
of how much damage he does to it.
वैसे तो
Well, I
क्लाइंट
see.
FPS तो बहुत
No,
ऊपर
I
जा रहा
would have
होगा.
debated that somehow. Talked to Alex a lot behind the
मेरा चले जाता है भाई 900 तक तो मेरा पीक गया है इनका तो बहुत जा रहा होगा
900 तो मेरा भी गया है 900 तो हाई में ही चला जाता है यार
मेरा सीएस पे नहीं गया पता है कभी भी मेरा सीएस पे क्या कहते हैं मतलब 300 से ऊपर नहीं गया 300 400 से ऊपर
क्या मेरा 350 मैक्स रहता है
नहीं मेरा 300-400 से ऊपर सीएस में जाता ही नहीं, पता नहीं सेटिंग का चक्कर है, क्या चक्कर है।
अरे हैवी गेम है
not
भाई।
been able to get behind them this time. He doesn't bloody need to. It's
यस तो
defense as
लाइट
well. Wait
गेम
till
है
the
भाई।
attack.
इसमें का
Yeah, you're seeing the flexibility.
हेवी मतलब तू साइड
मेरा
से बोला
सेटिंग
तो
का
साइड
इशू
से
होगा
तो
फिर।
साइड से बड़ा है, लेकिन वो फ्रेम रेट से ज्यादा जनरेट करके देता है।
हाँ मेरा
हाँ
सेटिंग का
नाइस
इशू
नाइस
होगा, मैं
नाइस।
सेटिंग उसका कुछ ऑप्टिमाइज नहीं
मरा
करा।
मरा सबसे खतरनाक ही मरा। तुम लोग मैच नहीं देख रहे क्या?
कौन मरा? कुछ भी नहीं मरा, लेट देख रहे थे।
हाउ डाउन।
More aggressively, they're giving opportunities. That might be a mistake.
Device flying this time.
अरे छी भाई, आय हाय।
Wish I didn't see that.
Well,
Well, it wasn't as late as before, but it was just as successful. At least the trade is found, and we're left into a 2 versus 4 with weaker
रियल
weapons
नेम
from
क्या है
HyperX.
वैसे?
This is something way beyond what you could have expected. Forsaken has ult
होगा
to
कोई
work
चीज
with.
होगा कुछ।
If they need the
पैरासिटामोल
information,
होगा।
more likely it's just about winning those duels. Both players very isolated and spotted. They know where these EDG players are, and on the side of PaperX, that's going to let them group up. A brave play from something that didn't quite work out, but he's got plenty of teammates there to catch the ball when it's fumbled. 6-3.
भाई ये कूद के कैसे मारते हैं?
They're on the board. But it's been back and forth, and if it keeps up
Jump
that
and
way,
fire.
EDG going to be very happy.
This is
Wow.
the thing, the MasterCard Thrifty almost comes
बस
purely
यही
off the
जानना
back
था
of
मुझे।
Forsaken again. Like just 2 entries into the site, a little bit of an overpeak through the smoke as well. I think this
जंप
is one of
करते
the
हुए
times
जिगल
you
पिक
can
करना
sort
सीखना
of
है यार।
go the opposite of what we've seen from EDG so far. They've been very happy to
वही
give up
तो मैं पूछ
control.
रहा हूँ, एक तो जिगल पीक और ये जंप करते हुए ये मारते कैसे हैं भाई?
Well, actually, the TP into B main was very aggressive.
Yeah.
And they got punished for it. That's not how you want to play against this
और
PaperX.
एक वो बनी हॉप।
Oh, nearsighted, but he's got a close range gun.
Man.
Kankan, good to find one. And the heal is coming right on through. So it's only the shields that he's lost. A fantastic start again for that side of EDG.
Gaya.
Although Smoggy does go down, the B site's open and they bypass the Viper's pit. This could become a problem.
नहीं पता चल गया उनको कि है
He's
ऊपर।
already taken full control as well towards the spawn. A massive flank as well from Device. He's got to get a move on eventually as
9-3 होगा।
retake will be beginning, but if his
नहीं
teammates
भाई,
can
क्यों
buy
होगा
enough
भाई
time,
9-3?
something on that aggressive AWP, always a problem. Leaving things now with an advantage.
अच्छा पर प्लांट का लोकेशन देख रहे हो इनका?
Chichu needs to try and choose his moment to find some
जितना
space
दुख
back in
8-4 में
front.
नहीं होता ना,
But
उतना
But
सुकून
he's still
9-3 में
very,
मिलता है।
very far away from this. Chichu eventually pounces, but he's got no support. No teammate to be had. The flank eventually starting its way back around. He's going to have to
गया।
pull off something ridiculous
Nice.
here and definitely not jump in the face of your
Oh,
opponent. I believe
please.
that's a mouse wheel. Nobody now has no time. No opportunity to turn this one back
हाँ,
around.
हारा, हारा,
It's
हारा।
made it incredibly
भाग जाओ।
costly once again,
हारा।
but he will be forced to retreat and save.
Firing on a whole different cylinder than what we saw before.
Somebody
You
is
say that might be
better
a
than
mouse
nobody.
wheel. Either that or they've been watching Vitality VODs. I'm not sure.
Something.
Shout out Sender.
That little bunny hop spray.
Nobody.
You weren't watching EMEA? That's
Nobody?
worth a watch
Too
back.
nobody.
It was a fun one. Yeah, it didn't work out as well for Chichu. Of course not. I'm not even joking. It is of course just a mouse wheel, just an unlucky mechanical failure.
Spacebar gang.
Exactly. My spacebar is to crouch, but we don't need to talk about that.
No, we don't.
I
6
view
to 4.
Japan because
EDG.
I just
Some ultis to work with as well.
Tokyo
This could
Heart.
help out.
Okay.
Seekers from nobody. Grab that info
ठीक
late
था
round,
वैसे।
but it looks
मैं आ
like
गया। Hi
might be getting
friends,
something
कैसे
early
हो?
round. EDG pushing up close, stun being held, but the
Nice.
shot lands a little too quickly. And now there's an isolated breach on this site. Smoggy is going to be feeling lonely for a while. Kankan a little too far
Nice.
away. Smoggy's going to have to hold this all by
मेरे
himself.
को यहाँ पे देखना है ये कहाँ पे प्लांट
The
करते
grab
हैं?
two. They're back in
Ah.
contention. And now
Hey,
Kankan's
bye.
here.
What?
No room for PaperX on the site. With Munyet on 70 and the spike in the open, this is going to be a very difficult
अच्छा है भाई, हेडफोन
clutch,
लगा
and
के
he's found the
सुनता हूँ।
first.
साउंड पे सुनूंगा तो घर वाले कुछ अलग ही समझेंगे।
Chichu goes peeking in. Howdong's able to close the distance. As you said, he's had a quiet game so far. Showstopper
Chichu,
online, but
right.
with half HP, might not
Don't
be
you
worth
think?
popping. Munyet
Am
just
I
trying
right?
to isolate the angle, find out where his opponent is, and now
हाँ,
just
कभी-कभी।
standing with rocket in hand, not quite knowing where his
Ayo.
opponent's currently coming from. It is a TP into the side, and Howdong eventually gets the job done.
ये शायद
Plenty of
नशे
time
में है।
left on the clock.
रेड विल पिलाओ उसको।
And EDG are going to
बच
increase
गया
that
बच
lead to a half
गया।
victory.
निकल गया भाई अल्टीमेट।
That was actually really impressive that I didn't see the showstopper just shot at the floor.
चलो मैं AFK
Power
हुआ,
came
आया
through.
मैं 10
I think
मिनट में।
Howdong repositioned perfectly. He couldn't have played that
अभी
any
स्वैप होगी
better.
ना?
And
Side.
in fact, I think with most players, he would have baited that showstopper out and left
एक
him in a
round
very
है ना?
tough position. Kankan dropping the spike,
7-4,
buying the
11 हो
time,
गए, 12
setting him
round
up for
बाकी
that
है।
success. Hao Dong finally having his round. This
कोई
is
है नहीं क्या?
7-4 for the
सब
side of
गए क्या?
EDG. Map 3, a long and hard-fought series. And this half is going to come to a conclusion. Is it 8-4 or 7-5 for Paper X?
पुराना
That's
दिन
going to make
याद
a
आ गया
hell of
मुझे
a big
अपने।
difference.
अरे
The initial
पुराने
pace
दिन
is there
कैसे?
again, but it's meant to be a ruse.
अबे?
The thing is that fake has not been sold. I think they were hoping that Monya would at least do a little bit, get something from it, but a showstopper straight at his feet. The rest of the team looking to go in. That's a flash, a blind, completely left in the dark here is Howdong. Now looks to come alive. He's had a quiet start, but the close to the half might be exactly what they need. Mind Freak has made some space, but well, he's going to need quite a bit more from this one. Another 1v5 needed, and it isn't going to happen twice. 8-4.
Paper X who?
Again, showing they can go toe-to-toe with Paper X, and this might be the best chance they've ever had to beat them.
EDG का सामने कोई बोल सकता है
3
क्या?
times they failed, 4th time lucky by the things we're seeing. You got to remember, Tom, you opened this up by talking about how we started on the better half for both of these teams, and EDG have certainly come out on top, double the rounds of their opponent. And they've already shown us they've got
Sentinels के
the
टीम में कौन-कौन है इस बार?
momentum is high on their side, and the hope's even higher for EDG to finally best Paper X on the international stage. Let's toss it over to the desk to get their thoughts.
भाई 5 bullets
Only
से
a
2
few
में
rounds
headshot
away
इसके
for
बाद tournaments
EDG,
कब होंगे
but
अगले?
for Paper X, they're a team that you
होते
simply just
रहते
can't
हैं,
count out quite
बट
yet.
इसका
That
मेजर
being
पता
said, though,
नहीं मेरे
EDG
को।
really
ये सारे
close.
क्वेश्चंस के
Here with
आंसर
the decisive
तुम्हारे
finish, Kukuka.
जनरल
Finally,
चैट
after
पे हैं।
4 times, this might be the time that EDG is going to
अरे
close it. And
मतलब
the
ये
way that
खत्म हो
they're
जाएंगे
doing it,
ना
it has
इसके
us
बाद
very surprised. Can come in
वो तो मैंने देख
alive
लिया
there in this last map, but actually it's the protocols and how well studied they have the map and the effect
Sentinels
that
में
Paper
कौन
X
है
composition is going to have
आंसर्स
onto
पे?
it, right, Bran?
Yeah, they've had some amazing answers, I think, for these big A hits, which is the bread and butter of Paper X when they're running this comp and this map. Their attack side is what's looked always better, but like you said, it's the protocols. EDG here taking their time, making sure they hold on to ramp control. Nobody being a difference maker here in this particular instance for the bonus round conversion, and then multiple rounds after this as well. Always having the right ideas in mind to either play a full retake like this, the flash peek coming in, just making sure that they fight for that heaven control while the plan's still going down, so they're making sure they hold on to that crucial positioning, and even later than that as well, playing for the flood defense or playing for the hard anchoring positions. They always had the right answer for what was being thrown at them, and it just shows to me clear preparation, I think. You understand what the weaknesses of this comp were. It was one of my concerns, I think, for Paper X. I was constantly talking about how weak their map pool could potentially be, and Split was the one that I was putting a focus on it on, because you can't just replace the Euro with Sky and expect it to work to fruition. You're going to have weaknesses, in particular, trying to fight in instances like this, and really just...
मैच नहीं खेल रहे क्या?
I think EDG, you can tell from this, they've done their homework.
Yeah, exactly, and you need to think about Paper X. Now they're going into their defense half, and we need to think that they're coming to this event, the ones with the worst retake percentage. They're not going to be able to do the same as EDG did in this half.
Yeah, and that is going to be quite scary for Paper X. Can they find that next gear? They're going to need to, or else this match is done and dusted. Let's send it back
मेरा
over
तो
to
daily
Mr.
data
Tom.
consumption 30 GB रहता
Thank you so much to our wonderful analyst desk one last time in this series, because we're into the last half, Tom. We've gone the distance, and Paper X have now found themselves quite a distance behind their opponents. EDG on the attack side with a very quickened pace, and the A side is their target. It's wide open for Paper X with just a Vi holding it. He's got a wall, though, to play back in.
Well, Paper X, for the most part, they've been good in their pistols. Didn't go great in the last half, but we'll see if they can get this one over the line. Already losing the control of the site, and nobody is not going to allow any shenanigans from the TP of Forsaken. Now they do have a quick flank, ready to sort of surround their opponents, but with something already going down, I believe that was through the smoke. That is not the start PRX were looking for.
Nice fake by Forsaken as well. He put his TP down, faked it out, and nobody's gone looking for him. Well, much to his surprise,
सही है
oh no! The martyrdom comes into effect in EDG now. Stam with a very good chance. Low HP on a few players though, on both of them. In fact, the Mind Freak capitalizes. The first is his, and 20 HP left on Smoggy. A big play with the frenzy is not going to happen. Paper X have found the pistol, and this is a lifeline for the defense of Paper X.
Yeah.
Okay,
we got it very quickly, but something I wanted to mention is you look at
तुम
the
लोगों
last
ने
couple
देखा वो
of
लोग
times
पिछले मैप में मोस्टली ए ही है.
they had 8-4 attack sides. So for the majority, they were really putting up numbers in that first half. They had high expectations for it. And as it was mentioned by us and the desk, it seemed like EDG weathered the storm, came prepared. And also, you've just seen the individuals shining. Kankan 22 and 10, nobody 16 and 5. They've been on form.
भाई रोता तो है कोई
On the
ना
other
कोई.
side have been a bit quiet. Something 5 and 12 on that Jet. That's a rarity. That's something you never really see from him. Now he's got a chance to farm up some orbs here.
तुम लोग बोर हो गए क्या?
हाँ.
सबने बोलना छोड़ दिया.
Shields on the other side.
अच्छा ठीक है.
Should be a good
Intensity बढ़ गई है.
Very aggressively around the orb. I don't know if he will have realized how far nobody has. Luckily, he has support. I'm also looking at Chichu.
Yeah, he has managed to sneak his way a little further than you'd expect. The downside of not playing with a dedicated sentinel is that your back can sometimes be a little more open. It looks like Chichu is going to be cosplaying Haodong with a nice easy kill and a recovered weapon that makes everybody a one-hit. This... Oh, no. Yeah, of course. Don't let them have it in the next. It's costly.
कम से कम एक kill तो लेना ही चाहिए.
What a shame. He could have one-hit every single player top.
Oh, and they're going to get it anyway.
ले लिया भाई ने ले लिया kill.
A little bit unlucky, like both players close enough. But for Paper X, that's kind of what you needed. Get yourself some of the weaponry through to the next round. Is Forsake really going to go for an operator? This would definitely sort of pad the gap a little bit.
Split op and outlaw, Tom?
Hey, I'm not saying it's...
मैं जा रहा. क्यों?
No, I don't know.
Split,
genuinely.
op, outlaw, Bucky, Spectre, Bulldog. You know...
Round win incoming.
Sometimes you just... you can't use your own logic, because it ain't the same as theirs. Paranoia, nade, and play through, and yet up close with a Bucky. Okay, this is great value for this weapon. Massively strong angle to play around, and one they're not likely to pop a close sky flash on all too often.
Oopsies.
Not finding its mark.
Neither did the outlaw.
To B. Look, A is very much open now, so is middle.
Yeah, they've lost something in a very audacious position. I imagine that was with the dash online. Forsaken is now in a good spot, but he's lost his life as well. This man just isn't missing at the moment. The main character of this matchup
इनको sticker लगाने का time
had a rough start to the series, but has come alive at the perfect time.
Someone tried to pronounce that right.
Even with the heals to support him here, Vi under pressure. And he's going to go down for the same man as well.
What hope is there? A save is called as Munyet has retrieved the operator. He would very much like to have that expensive weapon in the next round, having invested so much. You see Forsaken's credits 350, and even that shot from Munyet, it's not as valuable as you think. It's a kill and a dent in the economy that is decently low for EDG. It helps to manage their money. The problem is they know where the op is now. Sure, it might not be back on B site, but they've cast a wide net, and as this round comes to a close, they'll look to close that net and catch him. It looks like they've done just about enough, and yeah, indeed. Oh, never mind! Munyet's got it! He's out! He's out! He was out! But he stayed around for another kill. I guess they might have caught him as he moved through spawn anyways, so it's not that he was guaranteed a free run. But that op is lost.
Yeah, and that is going to put a dent. It's going to be Forsaken who takes it. They're going to just give him a stinger. Obviously, when you're playing that Yoru, you can take some risks, play some aggressive angles. But it's definitely not ideal, especially when he has been one of the major players in this game so far for Paper X when they've had success. Munyet, showstopper online. Kanka, no surprise, his is one away. They're already going to just try and play with some of the sound cues. It doesn't seem like there's any real interest from Paper X with those early initial sounds made. They've gone and taken the orb anyway.
पता नहीं इंडियन टीम का
There was a player close, but he's TP'd out. I think they might even have heard that sound.
There's no one on the A side.
Yeah, it's wide open.
They're just playing into middle. Yeah, I guess, again, with some slight vulnerabilities for the side of Paper X, they're just willing to completely give that up. And with how the lurks have been, that's somewhat surprising, but it looks like they might actually get this spot on.
He comes in, Chichu's
What the heck, yaar? What the heck?
But you would think wrong. That, I'd love to see Coach Alex's cam as that one comes in. Weapons picked up, they hear them backing off, the paranoia is there. And the flash out from Forsaken, he's not going to give it up. This is the right play. He wants to pull the advantage back into their hands. With the spike down, he sticks around after turn.
Another
huge round He doesn't need backup. Not when he's playing like this. Mindfreak closes the round. Well, it was very close to being 2 aces for Forsaken. Kismet is single-handedly keeping the team in it.
किसी और ने मार दिया
हाँ मैं वही तो कह रही हूँ फिर ज़्यादा जरूरी था इससे उसे देखा उसने मार दिया
ट्रिपल लिया ना
4-4 ये वाला देखना कितना क्विक था
something. Munyet joining the team, and somehow this guy always still looks like the superstar. And what you can see for the other side, they've got to try and almost center themselves because it's just ridiculous. Bear in mind, he picked that rifle up off the corpse of a teammate midway through that battle. He only had a stinger to start the round.
And because of him picking up that rifle, his teammate
what the
they heard the
hell?
sound cue and they swung it. Now, though, there's a little bit of a different approach from the side of ENEG. Just shoot him in the head with Sheriffs, and it's worked out perfectly. 9-7, double digits on the line, and they have so much control. The ult is going to be used, finding out Chichu. Good flash!
Naughty हो रहा है 4 second
4 HP left.
शॉटगन से मारने आया
He's
था
made it well. Oh! I thought he made it out. They pulled him right back in. Mindfreak, 1 versus 5. And if you thought this was the round we were going to look at when barriers went up,
इनसे कहो Red Bull पी के खेले
no, they picked one rifle.
Managed to get any of the guns. It was just such an absurd round. And the thing is, that is
but
Chichu
Red
now
Bull doesn't
realizing
give
how
you
much
wings,
space he
it
can
gives
take.
you
He
wings.
walked straight into that A side. But I don't even think he broke stride the entirety of the round because of how Paperex have been playing. And because of that, it ends up being their downfall. EDG consistently spotting the openings of their opponents. And it's been Lux on both of the maps that they've won. Haodong in the last map, and now Chichu doing the same on this one. It's a problem that Paperex are going to have when they run these sort of comps.
They came into this round up against an Eco. On the side of Paperex, they had full rifles. And the call in the end is to save before they even find a kill. 1 rifle that they get out of that situation. Utterly ridiculous. That also already done some damage to him, but he was quite low himself. And for Paperex, yeah, that is very much what you expect to see. Disappointment and anger. As EDG have stolen this out from under Paperex's nose. 3 rounds in the lead, and they need 3. Send Paperex 0-1. You can have a Paperex versus Loud game, and well, Munyet doesn't want that.
No, no.
जिस तरह पिट रहे हैं उसके लिए इतने wings ही लगेंगे.
Teams have had mass success with weaker weaponry. And Chichu does have a Viper Spit. If they can get him into position, it could be problematic. Something
नहीं गया यार हो
has been
सकता है
spotted, but just runs away with the information.
क्यों डर रहे हो 4
You
second है
can
ना
still see the Tiger being thrown out over on the A site. Information being garnered by EDG, and again that walk up, but this time there are players there.
4
Even the
second
TP
तो है
available onto site for Forsaken if he needs to go back and support. Instead, it's this fight, and again,
What?
something has been having a rough time in individual battles, which is not something I thought I'd say today.
उम्मीद बहुत कम लग रही है मेरे को
देखते हैं यार 3 राउंड है इतना तो हम भी निकाल देते हैं
First 2 maps. Concon had a pretty tough time in individual battles, but there's no signs remaining. Lots of players from EDG ready to run into A site. That's going to be the role.
What the
point of contact close already is Forsaken.
अबे यार 4 second मर गया
Sprays too good. Quick rotate by Mindfreak straight into a stun. He's kept back for a moment, and that wall is buying space and time. But as they cross it, they're lower.
Nice.
Easier to take. And Mindfreak catches all 3.
आंटी जी को चरण स्पर्श नमस्कार आंटी जी नमस्कार चरण
The gap is
स्पर्श
down to 2.
सुखी रहो जीते रहो
Somehow
और
the
क्या बोले
gap is within touching
roll.
distance for Paperex with
Zinda
others
row.
have gone.
जिंदा रहो
A solid start with the showstopper. I also like how we see Forsaken
मम्मा ये बहुत
just
ज़्यादा
delay
heavy हो गया
that
मेरे
hot
लिए
flash aggressive spot. It kept his teammate alive on the site. That surely would have been him going down with the Rolling Thunder. And that also bought time for Mindfreak to be able to TP to the other side of the map. So impact even without the numbers. Still though, economy on the brink. An aggressive push that has had very little success so far.
Oh, something's even going to give it up. You can see the respect being given to the side of EDG. Oh, by Forsaken, that's for sure. He's
19
just swinging out
round.
looking for long-range battles.
Maro.
It's a decoy going through, and Chi-Chi's realized, oh, he was screens a second ago. I don't think he's up in heaven. The rotates are coming through, and they'll fight for heaven by the looks of things. I like this wall on A. Oh, no. Oh, it looks like I'm incorrect. There's going to instead be a bit of a poke by Con up towards B first, and that is keeping players in position. Mindfreak's pushed up 3 players towards B, and it's the fight on Con that could decide it for Forsaken. If he loses control there, the panic, and they stay on B, but instead the rotates are underway. The A side is now definitely the target. The info is there, but Devi is so desperately low, he won't be able to hold on. And as they rush into the site, Con realizes he might have a timing, but Forsaken realized that too.
Viper's pit though is definitely going to make things more interesting.
भाई इसकी Viper pit देख रहे हो
Every player
कैसी
within it,
है?
at least for the moment, heals available as well. Nobody won't be able to help himself, but he can help everybody else. Utility-wise, not a whole lot to play with, and that's not the start they were looking for. Every member falling. Forsaken again is going to have to ace it for them to take this round.
Oh
and
shit,
Aldong is
man!
ready and waiting as he
Shit,
looks to wrap back around. 11-8, lead extended once
अग्रैल
more.
भाई गए?
And now the
हाँ,
problems
पता नहीं कब
really
गए।
are there. Look at the economy for the side of PaperX.
अरे बस एक सुंदर सुशील बहू मिल
This is
जाएगी ऐसे
crushing. If it
आशीर्वाद
was
दे दीजिए।
EDG, I'd be expecting us to see 11 to 10 on the board, but the thing is, it's not. PaperX have struggled on some of the lower buys. EDG have been so disciplined. Is the main
win one.
भाई ये ट्रेनिंग कैसे करती हूँ?
सुशील के लिए तुम्हें भी संस्कारी होना जरूरी है।
I do feel like right now, even though like Mindfreak is up there, I feel like I'm just looking at him every round. I'm like, okay, can he give them something to play with? Because otherwise, I just don't see a way that through. And Mindfreak's already dead.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Description में दे भाई।
Paranoia. Although it's often used off early contact, Forsaken is going down to take a close range fight. TP is to B, and he's out. It was just a quick recon jump. But the info, unfortunately, is that the stack on B is incorrect. The A site's under threat, and they're going to be very late to the party.
He's got no flashes to play with, so it just has to be off skill this time. Too many targets. Not going to be able to get anything, and just look how far the remaining players are. It might even be a scenario of just going down to the spike. The only thing against that is for something probably wanting to get
Devi as well. You know, he's about to get the Viper's pit into play. Could be huge for
क्या
that
कह रहे हो
defensive side to
anonymous?
cut down
इसमें
angles,
पैसा लगाना
especially
चाहिए
with
था।
A main, where they've been so quickly bypassed
नाम का
again
4
and again.
सेकंड भाई।
अरे यार
He's going up
यार
to
मैं
try
वो
and
गाना जब
he'll get
स्टॉप
an
करना
order
भूल
one way
गया।
or another.
काश काउंटर स्ट्राइक
Looks
वाला
like it's the
होता।
other. Shot in the head.
अरे
Going up
हैक
for the same.
लगाता हूँ।
And it's just a formality at this point. Smoggy's picking them all up. The wall goes down, and here's the push. No kills for something. Blade Storm. Viper's
अरे
Pit have
EDG
been
के आगे कोई
acquired
बोल
by
सकता है
PaperX.
क्या?
But the cost they paid is that
तीन करवाई
EDG now
तीन
have
यूरो
4
को।
chances to
भाई
put
मैंने
them
तो बोला
0-1.
जीतेगी।
Put them up against
ये
possibly
मैच देख के
FPX,
ना
the loser of the next series,
मतलब
or
मेरे को अब सेंटिनल से भी उम्मीद कम लगाने का मन कर रहा है।
अरे यार ऐसे मत बोलो यार।
नहीं सेंटिनल्स आर
नहीं पर मतलब अब PRX खत्म बाहर हो गई टूर्नामेंट से।
पता है क्या सेंटिनल्स हारेगी भी ना तो मैच देखने में मजा पूरा आता है।
वही है भाई टेंस निकालेगा बंदूक निकालेगा ढंग से।
10 सेंटिनल में?
हाँ।
हैं?
सेंटिनल्स में 10।
कौन से घर से आया है भाई तू?
भाई पहली बार देख रहा हूँ मैं अभी।
पहली बार देख रहा बेटी के।
हाँ।
I've heard 3 is the magic number. They're looking at 4. But there's a lot of ults online for their opponents right now. That is where PaperX have done their best work.
कुट के भरे हुए हैं
And
भाई।
especially thinking about this A site setup,
अच्छा
if they play
कुट के
retake,
संस्कार भरे
Viper's
हुए
Pit can get
हैं।
online using that wall to block a lot of the angles on the way back through, even towards elbow. And it is somewhat of a retake. Fight for heaven for sure.
भाई मेरे को नहीं देखा
PaperX want to keep
जाएगा
control over that spot.
भाई इनमें करेक्टर्स में हाइट डिफरेंस भी है।
Are big players. Manyet's had a good game, but Forsaken
नहीं
rated
ज़्यादा
as
नहीं 19-20 का।
6 out of 10 right now. He's being
19-20
10 out of 10.
हाँ तो मतलब हेडशॉट में इशू नहीं पड़ता ना।
Thriving. The challenge is about to
मेरे
come
आईसी
through.
भाई
The
आप गेम
flash is
खेलोगे
caught
क्या?
up, but he's turned, and it's nice. Two quick kills.
गेम नहीं यार आज मैं प्रैक्टिस करेगा।
The advantage
अरे तो
Nice.
extended even further. As
नहीं
PaperX
नहीं मैं
wants to
एम
put
लैब्स पे
another round
करूंगा
on the board,
प्रैक्टिस
buy a
आज।
little more
Okay,
time.
fine,
Forsaken,
done.
another 3K,
दवाई
another
दवाई
big play from this man, and he's waiting for his teammates to
Nice.
round the corner. before he takes that
भाई ये
fight.
चीज अगर ये
3
स्टार्ट
more
करते तो जीत
chances
जाते
for
यहाँ
EDG
पे
before they
PRX
hit it
जीत गई
overtime.
तो भाई तो वड़ा पाव पक्का।
I've heard a strat back in the day,
ऑडियो भाग
played
रहा
by
है
many a
ओरियो भी
time,
हाँ बोल रहा है।
What's that
called
talk?
Avoid CNED. And I think
ओरियो
that
भी
they
खुश है
may
इस
need
विन
to
से।
try
भाई
and
क्या
incorporate
डॉज
that
किया यार ये।
on the EDG
ऐसे ही
side,
टेंस
because
भी करता
genuinely,
है।
Forsaken has been the one thorn in their
टेंस
side.
का
They
मूवमेंट ज्यादा
look like the
फास्ट है
better
यार।
team throughout this map. Epistolally, the side that
यार
show
एक PRX
excuses in
सोम
that
है,
regard.
सोम नहीं खेल
Fake
रहा पर
Winning
comeback.
इसमें।
hero rounds,
Fake
Concon
comeback.
back online, nobody as well. There hasn't been a weak link, but when they run into Forsaken,
झूठी
well,
उम्मीदें
9 times out of 10 they lose
जीतेगी
the round.
EDG
He is the sole defender
अरे
of this A
जीतेगी
मैं
side
तो
right
कोई
now.
कंफर्म है
A
यार, वो
little
तो
bit of
कंफर्म
support
है।
coming.
EDG
Showstopper for Concon could put the end to him, but
देखो
it looks
कितना
like
मिला
he
था
just wants
लास्ट
to take a
टाइम?
firefight.
मेरे को लास्ट
यूनिक
टाइम
Cleared heaven, but
450।
look at the space taking by Munyet. It's
बताओ भाई,
perfect.
150 लगा के 450 मिला। मैं तो
Finding the
250
count.
लगाया था तो जाके 400
अभी
मिला
मैंने
था।
700
To
गवा भी
work
तो
with
दिया।
TP towards screens, he's going to try to get the kill. No, in fact, he's not.
अभी
The
का?
flash is just used as he falls further back, and now here
अब
comes the
सब
big
मैं कुछ
ol'
नहीं कर
rocket.
सकता।
Forsaken's dodged it nicely.
मैं
Spray
तो
good
पूरी
for
बची कुची
something.
पूंजी
The
लगा दिया
rolling
तेरे
thunder
इस
going up
कॉन्फिडेंस
towards
में।
heaven. It's not caught the players, but
ये
it's
तो
still under threat.
थर्ड
Something
हाँ
maneuvers around.
10.5 यार।
Into Concon. Eventually he'll fall.
10.5
Forsaken on another
क्या?
low HP
हाँ
on
इससे पूरे लगा
Spike
दिए।
on the A site. And a very tough one for them to retrieve.
मेरे पास
They
ना
don't know
13
where
रुपए
that
थे, वो
second
मैं
player
Oh
लगाने
is.
का सोच रहा था।
God, oh God।
It's all on
ओके
Forsaken.
4 सेकंड में भी
2
1v2 करेगा।
kills, but the spike is at his feet. He
मैं
knows
नीचे हैं
these
जल्दी।
players have to push him. The utility 2
Okay,
flashes
done।
will now no
Oh
longer.
अरे भाई
Bullets in the difference, but that's enough
बीट
for
बीट बच गया।
EDG. Fourth
भाई डूब
time
गए भाई
around
आपके
the
पैसे।
charm as they finally
भाई
bested
मेरे पे कितने मैं
PaperX.
देख के आता हूँ अभी, कुछ तो मिला होगा मेरे को बोनस बोनस।
The W Gaming will take a loss for the Chinese #1, and what a great start to the tournament
173
for them. We said both teams came into this one
तूने
looking a
किसको
little bit
लगाया
मेरे पे
था?
बचे हैं भाई।
they were vulnerable, likely could be beaten.
सबसे
Well,
लोवेस्ट
for PaperX,
4%
that
चूज
has
किया था
become a
लोगों ने
reality.
EDG
They finished
तेरी
second place
उसमें
within the
टीम
Pacific
पे।
region, and now they finished second place to EDG as well.
I feel like nobody's just had a magnum level
स्टार्टिंग में
performance.
किसी ने बोला था ना EDG का तो नाम भी हम लोग मतलब
But still,
खेलते नहीं है ढंग से।
even able to
कौन
shine
था
a
रे वो?
light on Concon. An
ये
unbelievable
इंटरनेशनल
map
में
for him.
इनमें कौन
And
अपने
after
को
a
इंडिया से
shaky
गया था
start
क्या?
on Sunset and Bind, it's fair to say
ये
EDG
PRX में
are here
सोमू
to
क्यों नहीं
हाँ
खेला?
ये खेले हैं ना
0-1.
ग्लोबल
PaperX
स्पोर्ट्स
go
खेलेंगे।
down, and they'll wait to find out who's going to be facing off
चला
against
जियान
them
जीत
later
गया।
on.
It is a scary 0-1 bracket already.
जियान को तो पीछे लगाई थी, बताओ।
जियान लोग
That's the thing.
जियान
Even a
हार
matchup
गया।
like PaperX, FPX, there's going to be some of the
जियान
craziest
हार गए।
comps and ideas you've ever
Ferrari
seen.
भाई,
The fact is though
क्या
today
हुआ?
EDG proved that they can not only swing with the big
ठीक
boys,
है
but
भाई,
they can
मैं
also
लाइव बंद
पैराडॉक्स
कर
आया
दिया।
तो ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स में ही है ना।
हार गए पर हमें क्या?
they have throughout this definitely won't be as
फिर
ludicrous
सही
as that
बात है,
one.
सही
But the
बात
fact
है।
ये
they
भी
survived
सेंटिनल्स का भी तो है ना
thrived
10 मिनट
was
में।
fantastic. Now
हाँ
though, we're going to be heading it back
बट
on
मैं
10
लाइव
का
तो
आधा
बंद
घंटा
कर
हो
रही हूँ,
जाता है
बट
भाई।
लाइव तो बंद कर रही हूँ, बट मैं जुड़ा बुड़ा बांधने का है मेरे को। EDG जीत गई यार। हाँ जी सिजी, EDG जीती है। और गाइस अब अपन चलता है, अपन मिलेगा कल, ठीक है? सब बाई बोल दो, बाई।